popcorn? Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile. Popcorn? Yi Qingjiu looked at him in surprise, his eyes wide open. This was the children's meeting at school. Did he think it was a movie theater? And eat popcorn? Yi Qingjiu looked at him steadily with a pair of eyes. Her gaze was scorching and bright. Of course not. Jiang Cheng nodded thoughtfully. Oh no, forget it if you don't want it. After saying that, he reached into the school bag he brought with him. I felt around inside carefully. Yi Qingjiu's eyes widened. Hey, this is a children's meeting at the kindergarten. You don't want to eat popcorn, do you? Hearing Jiang Cheng eating popcorn, the person in front couldn't help but look back at him. Seeing that he was dressed in ordinary clothes, his eyes looked a little strange. He turned to his wife and whispered, "See, every day I complain that I don't have time and I'm not at home with you. What kind of person do you have at home? A pretty boy who has never seen the world, eating popcorn at the school children's party. It's really embarrassing." His wife glared at him and said, "You are the only one with a valid reason. If he can come to school, his conditions must be good." The man looked disdainful. Yeah, how can the conditions be bad if she is taken care of by a rich woman? Maybe the children she raises are from other families. Their voices were so low that neither Yi Qingjiu nor Jiang Cheng heard them. Jiang Cheng rummaged through his school bag for a long time, took out a pack of tissues, and handed it to Yi Qingjiu. "This is Niu and Yanyan's first time on stage. I'm afraid you'll be so excited that you'll cry." Yi Qingjiu smiled helplessly. "Don't you want to eat popcorn?" Jiang Cheng glanced at him and said, "I said I'm going to eat. I'm asking if you want to eat." In fact, he just wanted to distract his wife from thinking about useless things. Niu and Yanyan are already over 3 years old, and they need to learn to do some things independently. Yi Qingjiu looked helpless. Why was this person so naughty? Why could he never change this bad habit? On the stage, the lights came on. The MC came out slowly, wearing a champagne-colored evening gown that was very elegant. She looked to be in her 20s, and her makeup was beautiful. "Welcome all parents to the children's meeting held by Monley's kindergarten. Next, please enjoy the dance performed by our kindergarten's first-grade class, the Little Bear Dance." As cheerful music played, several babies dressed in teddy bear costumes jumped onto the stage. The camera in front of the stage began to move forward. To be honest, Jiang Cheng likes children, but he only likes his own children. Looking at these little cuties jumping around on the stage, I have no other thoughts except that they are cute. The children's parents were so excited that they began to applaud wildly, and some even stood up and took videos. Jiang Cheng looked at them and couldn't help but smile. He moved closer to Yi Qingjiu and said, "Wife, I bet you will be the same as them later." "How is that possible?" Yi Qingjiu glanced at him and said, "Go away." Jiang Cheng chuckled. The shows went on one after another until the penultimate one, when it was finally Niu and Yanyan's turn. I heard the host announce that the next program was a piano piece, Chopin Waltz, performed by Jiang Niu and Jiang Yanyan from Class 1. Yi Qingjiu was nervous, but even more nervous than her was Jiang Cheng. The two of them couldn't help but sit up straight. Then the lights dimmed, and the spotlight shone on Yanyan and Niu. "Wow, these two babies are so beautiful. Yeah, whose child is this? You can play Chopin's Waltz at such a young age." There was a lot of noise from the audience. Although Niu is usually very brave, he became a little nervous when he saw so many people. She was eager to see Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu, but there were too many people. The audience was so crowded that the harder I tried, the less I could see. Niu was a little scared. Yanyan looked at her sister's tense face and couldn't help but become nervous too. The two babies sat in front of the black grand piano, not moving for a long time. Jiang Cheng looked at the child, his heart in his throat. "What's wrong?" "It's not stage fright. You know your own children best. Niu and Yanyan have never performed in front of so many people since they were young. They must be nervous." Yi Qingjiu's face was full of worry. "What should I do? The child is stage fright." Jiang Cheng didn't care whether the people behind him could see him or not, and stood up. He hoped that the two children could see him, which would more or less ease their tension. Niu and Yanyan were already panicking, and the distance was so far that they couldn't see Jiang Cheng's face clearly no matter how hard they tried. This time, I became even more anxious. The MC finally couldn't wait any longer because the TV station was recording a video today, and it was going to be on TV, advertising for the Montley's kindergarten. She walked up and said gently, "Babies, can we start?" Niu and Yanyan nodded nervously. "Okay." Niu was so nervous that he pressed the wrong key at the beginning. After she realized the problem, she stopped immediately and dared not continue. Jiang Cheng frowned as he looked at Niu on the stage. He knew best how many times she had practiced and played the instrument at home. It seems that the child is really nervous. This won't work. With so many people watching, it will cause psychological trauma to the child. Please move aside, sorry. Jiang Cheng apologized as he walked. He wanted to go to the two babies. Jiang Cheng walked through the rows of seats to the stairs. He almost ran up the long staircase. Look at my wife, what's going on? It's probably because of the kids. This should be the finale of the show. When these two kids came on stage, I really thought it was a high-quality show. The crowd began to stir again. The stage was about 80 centimeters high. Jiang Cheng pushed himself up with his hands and climbed up lightly. The two babies were in a panic and rushed over to Jiang Cheng when they saw him. Daddy Tilda, Daddy Tilda. Each voice sounded more pitiful and aggrieved than the last, and Jiang Chengson felt so heartbroken. He touched the two children's heads and said, "Don't be afraid, Dad is here. Can Daddy stay with you?" When they saw Jiang Cheng, the two babies were no longer afraid. As long as their dad is around, they won't be nervous about anything. Okay, the two babies said in unison. The MC was about to collapse when he saw Jiang Cheng suddenly jumping up. What was going on? Which class is this child from? Does this parent still understand things? She walked over with a stiff smile. This parent. Jiang Cheng took her microphone and bowed deeply to the audience. Hello, everyone. I'm a father of two children, and we are going to perform Chopin's Waltz next. After saying that, he returned the microphone to the MC. The audience immediately became restless. Are you going to play it with 6 hands? I've heard of 4 hands, but I've never heard of 6 hands. You can't even find the tune and you want to play it in 6 hands. How is that possible? There was a noisy mix of voices, some questioning, some envious. Jiang Cheng pulled the two babies to sit on the bench. He said in a gentle tone, "Come, Daddy will accompany you, don't be afraid, we will take it slowly." Jiang Cheng's voice sounded like great encouragement, and the two little guys were no longer afraid. 2 pairs of chubby little hands, and a pair of big hands with distinct joints, were jumping skillfully on the piano keys. The heavenly sound of the piano gradually came to mind, sometimes cheerful, sometimes melodious. In an instant, the entire art hall fell silent. Yi Qingjiu looked at the 3 people under the spotlight, and suddenly his eyes became moist. Oh my God, this is amazing, 6-hand piano. Whose child is this? What's the name of the parent? No, I need to take a video. This father is a piano teacher, no wonder, look at the 2 children. They play the piano so well. Especially that little girl, she must have been stage frightened just now. The kids in the younger class must be scared when they see so many people. My kid didn't dare to go up to perform no matter what. Instead, he sat in the front and ate potato chips with his classmates. The performance was over. Jiang Cheng looked at Niu and Yanyan with a smile. Look, isn't it very simple? Will you not be afraid next time? Yanyan pursed her lips and looked at him. Daddy, you are so nice. Niu rubbed his little head against Jiang Cheng's body. Nanyu likes Daddy Tilda. There was thunderous applause from the audience. Jiang Cheng held the hands of his 2 babies, slowly walked to the front of the stage, and bowed deeply to the audience. Then he walked down. The couple sitting in front of Yi Qingjiu were stunned by the piano music just now. It wasn't until he saw the family of 3 walking towards him that he came to his senses. See, that pretty boy you mentioned, how well he plays the piano. The last time you took me to a concert, it was by some famous pianist in the country, but he couldn't play as well as him. The man was dreaming. This guy looked ordinary, but he actually had such ability. How about playing the piano? No matter how good you are at playing, can you make a living? No matter how good you are at playing the piano, can you earn tens of millions? His advertising company makes tens of millions in profit every year. Just shut up. All you do is think about money. What? Sun Ming was sitting in the audience waiting to watch Tang Tang's performance, but he was deeply shocked by Jiang Cheng's family's 6-hand piano performance. Seeing them coming, he stood up quickly with a look of envy on his face. Mr. Jiang, you are a hidden talent. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, There, the child is too young and a little stage frightened. Sun Ming smiled and said, Is Mr. Yi here? Where are you sitting? Why didn't I see you just now? Jiang Cheng pointed in the direction of Yi Qingjiu. Inside. The couple who were talking just now saw Jiang Cheng pointing in their direction, and then noticed Sun Ming beside him. Then his eyes lit up. Isn't that Mr. Sun? The woman asked curiously, Which Mr. Sun? I can't explain it to you. He used to work for Yaochen, but now he has changed jobs and is working at Tengsing. I didn't expect to run into him here. He just gave me a small order, which is enough to support us for a year. After saying that, he walked over with a smile and tried to get closer to Sun Ming. Mr. Sun. Sun Ming glanced at him. You are. The man smiled flatteringly. I'm Zyro Wang from Lemon Advertising Company. Sun Ming thought about it and asked uncertainly, Are you Mr. Wang? Hey Tilda, what Mr. Wang? You can just call me Zyro Wang, it's like this. There's a bidding in Tengsing and our company is also participating. Can you give us a chance? What? Jiang Cheng pulled the two babies to sit on the seats. When the two children saw their mother, they lowered their heads. Yanyan looked guilty. Mom, I'm sorry we didn't behave well. I'm sorry Nyunyu wasn't brave enough. Yi Qingjiu touched the heads of the two babies and opened the small bag she was carrying. There were actually 2 lollipops inside. Chapter 149, Daddy is looking at Auntie's legs. She took the lollipop in her hand, handed it to the 2 babies, and gave them an affirmative smile. Nano and Yanyan performed really well today. You will always be Mama's pride. This is a reward for you. Because Yi Qingjiu was a little strict, the 2 kids were worried that their mother would be angry. Now they saw that their mother was not angry and even gave them candy. They were so surprised. The light in Nyu's eyes flickered. Mom, can I really eat it? Yi Qingjiu's eyebrows curved. Of course, eat. Today's babies are all very brave. Mom wants to learn from you. Although she doesn't like giving candy to children, it is okay to use it as a reward, especially at this moment of witnessing growth. The 2 babies were so happy holding the lollipops in their hands that they immediately turned around to look at Jiang Cheng, both plucking their little hands and asking Jiang Cheng to help them tear open the candy wrappers. Jiang Cheng took the lollipop and helped them tear open the candy wrapper with a smile. The candy's faint orange scent wafted out, and it was very sweet. The 2 babies were holding lollipops, their little faces full of satisfaction. Jiang Cheng took out a lollipop from his pocket, tore it open, and handed it to Yi Qingjiu. Here, it's yours. He gave himself a lollipop. Yi Qingjiu blinked, confusion written all over her pretty face. What do you want me to do? Jiang Cheng smiled widely. My dear, you performed very well. Of course you should be rewarded. To be honest, I didn't expect Yi Qingjiu to give the children lollipops. This girl hates children eating candy the most. Yi Qingjiu stared at the lollipop in his hand in a daze. Reward. Jiang Cheng teased with a smile. It's very sweet, sweeter than you. Yi Qingjiu subconsciously glanced around. A blush immediately stained her earlobe. This is a children's meeting, and so many parents are watching. Don't talk nonsense. That's nonsense. My wife is the sweetest. Jiang Cheng chuckled. Damn it. Yi Qingjiu quickly snatched the lollipop from his hand. The taste of lychee spreads in my mouth. It's really sweet. After the performance, Jiang Cheng came out holding his 2 children. Yi Qingjiu pulled at the corner of his clothes and said, Wait for me, I'm going to the bathroom. Okay, Jiang Cheng nodded. While Yi Qingjiu went to the bathroom, Jiang Cheng held his 2 babies and looked at the musical instruments on the first floor. There are many types, such as erhu, gazhang, and pipa. Hello, a clear and polite voice came from behind. Jiang Cheng turned around and saw a young woman who was about 23 or 24 years old. She was pretty, 9 points, excellent. What's up? Are you a teacher? You play the piano so well. The young woman had nice legs. Although not as outstanding as Yi Qingjiu's, the pair of black stockings added a lot of points to her, making her look very charming. Unfortunately, Jiang Cheng is not one of them. He smiled, sorry, I'm not. Hearing that it was not the case, the woman was a little disappointed. It's like this, my daughter is about the same age as your child this year. I just saw your child playing the piano so well, and I also want my child to learn. I'm not a teacher, you can go find some training courses. There are many. The young woman was obviously disappointed when she heard that Jiang Cheng was not a teacher. Then, where did your child enroll in the class? I'll enroll my child in one too. As she was speaking, a child ran out from behind. The child ran very fast and bumped into the young woman's legs. This caused her to lean forward suddenly, and her high heels were almost sprained before she could stand properly. Yi Qingjiu walked out of the bathroom. Seeing her looking around, Jiang Cheng quickly waved at her. Sorry, we have to leave first. After saying that, he walked over holding the babies. Yi Qingjiu was wearing a black one-line skirt today, and her girlish legs were long and slender. Hiss. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but take a few more glances. So beautiful. Yi Qingjiu felt embarrassed by his unscrupulous gaze. Hey. Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smirk on his face. Huh, what's wrong? You ask even though you know the answer. He definitely did it on purpose. Yi Qingjiu stared at him with a burning gaze. You. Yanyan has been looking at his dad for a long time. Just now he looked at his aunt's legs, and now he is staring at his mom. Why does Dad like to look at legs so much? He looked seriously at Nuanyu, who was also in Jiang Cheng's arms. Sister, do you think my legs are pretty? Nuanyu said with disdain, what's so good about legs? But Daddy is looking at Auntie and Mama's legs. What? Time has stood still, so Jiang Cheng just looked at someone else's legs. Nuanyu blinked, her little face full of confusion. She looked at Jiang Cheng. Dad, why are you looking at that aunt's legs? Is it because her legs are black? It's over. He clearly took a look and saw that she was about to fall. Who wouldn't watch if such a grown-up person suddenly looked like he was about to fall down next to you? It was really just a glance. The other person was standing still, and he was not looking at him anymore. He stole a glance at Yi Qingju. Sure enough, one face had changed color. Yi Qingju had a cold face and clasped his hands. So Jiang Cheng just looked at someone else's legs. Or stockings black. Shameless. Rogue. Yi Qingju walked forward with an angry look on his face. Nuanyu looked at Yi Qingju's back and said, Dad, why did Mommy leave? Jiang Cheng, this is probably the legendary pitfall. Wife, listen to me. Jiang Cheng put down the two children and chased after him. Yi Qingju walked very quickly and was almost at the school gate in the blink of an eye. Jiang Cheng grabbed his hand and said, Wife, I didn't. She was about to fall just now, so I took a look. Is that so? Yi Qingju looked at him suspiciously. My wife's legs are more beautiful than those of a supermodel. How could I possibly look at anyone else? I don't want to look at anyone else except you. You are my favorite. He said he was his favorite. The favorite is the one you love the most. Yi Qingju stared at him with a burning gaze. So who do you still love? Women are truly amazing creatures. Jiang Cheng smiled helplessly. Wife, you have checked me, haven't you? I am innocent and alone, and it is obvious that I only love you. Well, that's more like it. Yi Qingju pretended to think and raised his eyebrows. Then how do you prove it? Jiang Cheng was stunned. How could he prove this? He couldn't just catch the person and explain it to his face. Yi Qingju looked at his embarrassment and secretly laughed in his heart. Who made him bully me every time? Let him have a taste of being bullied. Jiang Cheng poked his tongue against his cheek, looking innocent. How do you prove it? Yi Qingju thought about it, pointed at his face, and looked proud. Although everyone had left, this was a school and Jiang Cheng had to pick up the children every day, so he didn't dare to do so. We have to give him a hard time. Jiang Cheng narrowed his eyes. This girl actually let me kiss her. This is really progress. He walked over, held her head, and pecked her on the mouth without hesitation. Wow, it's so soft and sweet, and has a hint of lychee flavor. Yi Qingju's pupils suddenly dilated, and her long eyelashes curled up into a beautiful arc. Is he crazy? After a moment, their lips parted. Jiang Cheng, this is school. Yi Qingju's face flushed. This guy is so brave. I know, Jiang Cheng grinned widely. He didn't lose his memory, so of course he knew where this was. Yi Qingju's eyes widened, her gaze blazing and bright. Then why are you kissing me? Jiang Cheng shrugged, his eyes as innocent as they could be. Didn't you want a kiss? What, are you not qualified? Do you want to do it again? Why don't you let him kiss your face? This guy is so annoying. Yi Qingju blushed and said, I'll wait for you in the car. After saying that, he almost ran to the car. Damn it, he always bullies me like this. I will definitely pay him back next time. What? In an upscale residential area, Du Yuan had just finished taking a shower and was shaving in the bathroom when he heard a beautiful piano piece coming from the TV. Just as I was listening intently, I heard Sue Microsoft's soft voice. Hubby, come and look, isn't this Jiang Cheng from your class? How come he's on TV? Su Wei is Du Yuan's girlfriend. She is pretty and has a good figure. She is delicate and childish. She is the type of person who is thin where she should be thin and has meat where she should have meat. When he was in college, Du Yuan liked his classmate Zai Menk instead of Su Wei. Zai Menk is one of the most popular goddesses in the school. Du Yuan is handsome and a typical rich second generation. Several generations of my family have been in the real estate business, and they are considered to be the leaders of the local real estate companies in Sichuan province. It has numerous industrial chains. Many people think they are a match made in heaven. Du Yuan can really be said to be flattering Zai Menk. When he saw that she posted on WeChat moments that she wanted to eat hot pot, he could directly bring the pot back from the hot pot restaurant. When I saw her say she really wanted to go to the North Pole, I immediately bought her a ticket for a luxury cruise. But people just don't like to be with him. It's simply like they want him but can't get him, and they think about him day and night. But Zai Menk just wouldn't be nice to him no matter what. It would be fine if she was nice to him, but she was like a possessed person and was obsessed with the poor Jiang Cheng. Buy him breakfast in the morning and wait for him to study in the evening. Seeing his goddess acting like a bootlicker for others, Du Yuan felt resentful in his heart. Jiang Cheng was even more ruthless. He had no interest in the goddess at all and rejected her directly. The goddess cried in the dormitory for several days. Du Yuan gets furious whenever he thinks about this. Later, he met Su Wei. Although Su Wei was not as pretty as Ximenk, she was sensible. So he just made do with it. You must have seen it wrong, it's impossible, he said almost without thinking. It turns out that this guy can wear the same piece of clothing for several years. He is poor, a homebody, and a loser. How could he possibly be on TV? Oh, it seems to be true. I am playing the piano with my 2 children. Play the piano? The idiot here can play the piano. He's better at playing the keyboard. Du Yuan shaved off the last bit of his beard, washed his face, wrapped himself in a bathrobe, and then walked out. He hugged the woman on the sofa, and then looked closely at the person on TV. On TV, there was a pair of little babies. The girl was wearing a white gauze dress. The boy was wearing a small suit, and there was a man sitting in the middle. Although they were all shown from behind, they looked very familiar. It seems like it really is him. As the piano music ended, Jiang Cheng pulled his 2 babies to the screen. Du Yuan widened his eyes. What the hell, this DJ is actually this guy. And how come he is much more handsome than when he was in school? That doesn't make sense. Also, where did these 2 cute kids come from? He got a child in his old age. He glanced at Su Wei in his arms. What kind of show is this? Su Wei said calmly, "It's the people from the Monleys kindergarten who organized some kind of children's association." Su Wei is also from the computer department, but is in the class next to Yang Lei and Jiang Cheng. She wanted to marry Du Yuan, but even though Du Yuan said sweet words to her, she always felt that he was not sincere. In order to win his heart, Su Wei wanted to have a child during this period. This is like a magic wand, so I only watch this kind of parent-child program when I have nothing to do. Unexpectedly, a classmate of Du Yuan showed up. Seeing that Du Yuan looked unhappy, she put her slender arms around his neck and said coquettishly, "Honey, what's wrong with?" Du Yuan grabbed her hand and touched it. It was so soft. All that filled his mind was Ximenk's pure and lustful face, and the mountains inside. He untied the straps of his bathrobe. "Come up and move yourself." 30 minutes later, Du Yuan lit a cigarette with a tired look on his face. Jiang Cheng is raising such a grown-up child. Even a fool would know that this child is definitely not his biological child. Montley's kindergarten is a typical aristocratic school. To be honest, even if his mother had twins, a boy and a girl in her old age, they would not be able to send them to such an expensive school. This guy is most likely being kept by a rich woman, and he is shamelessly helping someone else raise a child. Thinking of this, a sinister smile appeared on Du Yuan's lips. He picked up the phone and called the monitor Sun Zio. "Hey, monitor, we have had people leaving school since our senior year, and we haven't seen each other properly until now. Can't you make some arrangements?" "Where can we arrange for them? We have just graduated. We cannot afford the good places and the bad ones are too low. And our classmates are just starting out. We should wait a little longer." As the class monitor, Sun Zio was very considerate. Although Du Yuan's family was rich, a class reunion with 30 or 40 people would be a considerable expense. Du Yuan was amused when he heard this. "Class monitor, what you said is really insulting. We have been classmates for 4 years, so we can still afford to treat each other to a meal. Let's arrange it at the Howley Hotel, free of charge." Howley Hotel is a 5-star hotel. A 5-star hotel under the Du Yuan family. Hearing that it was free, Sun Zio didn't hesitate to treat it as a benefit for his classmates. "Then it's settled. I'll call and make an appointment right away." "Then it's settled, and you have to get me an appointment with the goddess. I'll wait for your news." "I knew you were still thinking about Ren Ximenki. No problem, I'll take care of it." After hanging up the phone, Du Yuan showed a smug smile. "That's great. This time, no matter what, Jiang Cheng must be embarrassed in front of Ximenk. Don't you like his talent? This guy has only graduated for a few months and he's already been put on maintenance. What a shit talent. Even if you have talent, you have to bow to money and let Ximenk see the truth of the matter so that she can change her mind and come back to be her little princess. The kind who only eats sweets and not bitterness." Su Wei's delicate voice came from the bathroom. "Hubby, if I get pregnant this time, we will." Du Yuan responded absent-mindedly. Okay, I'll do as you say." Chapter 150, My Wife is Not Fierce. Here, Jiang Cheng's family of 4 returned home after lunch. Jiang Cheng began to acquire 50% of the shares held by Chen Mengting. However, it is not easy to acquire 50% of the shares. After all, he hadn't contacted Chen Mengting yet. After thinking about it, Jiang Cheng decided to find Sun Ming and Si Qingqing talk again. The reason for looking for Sun Ming is that he is familiar with the company. She went to see Si Qingqing because she needed Chen Mengting's information. Yi Qingjiu and the children were still sleeping. Jiang Cheng didn't have the heart to wake them up, so he said something to Aunt Zhang and went to the company. After joining the company, I found that a day without a leader is indeed a pleasant day. The 14th floor is very lively. Si Qingqing was sitting around the desk with a few employees, eating cherries and watching TV series. They were completely unaware that Jiang Cheng was standing behind them. To be honest, the 996 work schedule is already stressful, and everyone is working very hard. We only dare to do happy things like chasing TV series when Yi Qingjiu is not around. A few girls were eating fruits while watching TV series, and there were snacks like spicy strips on the table. I felt so happy. By the way, Qingqing, did you tell me last time about asking Mr. Jiang to ask his relatives to buy cherries for you? A chubby girl with bangs said. Si Qingqing looked embarrassed. Oh, I've been busy lately and didn't feel comfortable asking. Wait a few days, I'll ask in 2 days. When the girl heard that she had to wait, she looked unhappy and said, I've been waiting for a week. The company is always busy. She picked up the cherries on the table and said, Look at these. They cost more than 20 yuan per pound and they don't taste sweet at all. Do you want to eat these every day? Si Qingqing snatched the cherry from her hand, put it in her mouth and started chewing it. Okay, do you think I don't want to eat the cherries from Mr. Jiang's relative's house? You guys have no idea how busy I am lately. It's good to have cherries to eat. Even though they don't taste good, it's better than nothing. I find that you are really not picky about food. The fat girl smiled. Picky eaters? Do we have the right to be picky eaters? Those who stutter are lucky. You are all fine. I am in Yi's office with you every day. Every day I either get scolded or watch others get scolded. I am so scared that I don't even have the appetite to eat. Si Qingqing's complaints were endless, and she almost described herself as an orphan. Jiang Cheng couldn't help laughing when he heard this. Hearing the laughter, several people turned around and saw Jiang Cheng, and the smiles on their faces gradually froze. Si Qingqing was stunned on the spot. It's over. I just said that Mr. Yi was fierce. Mr. Jiang. Jiang Cheng nodded, yeah. Well, I. Si Qingqing could no longer find any suitable words. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but snickering as he saw her nervous look. It seems like you have a lot to say. Finished. I don't. Si Qingqing hurriedly denied it. Mr. Jiang loved his wife the most and doted on her all day long. She just said that Mr. Yi was mean. Was that considered speaking ill of someone behind his back? Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile. Really? Si Qingqing couldn't hold it anymore. The expression on her face could be summed up in 3 words. Let it go. I'm sorry, Mr. Jiang. I shouldn't have said that Mr. Yi was mean. Mr. Yi is not mean. Mr. Yi is very gentle. Yes, President Yi is super cute. Ms. Yi is so beautiful. Boss Yi is a true goddess. Several people started to help Si Qingqing smooth things over. After all, they were also involved in the conversation just now. To be honest, Jiang Chengzhen didn't think his wife was fierce. Besides, she was in charge of such a big company by herself and she was so young. Who could she control if she wasn't fierce? So even if it was violent, it was out of helplessness, and it is understandable. He looked at the nervous expressions of several people and couldn't help but want to laugh. Nothing else. Anything else? If Mr. Jiang says yes, then yes. The fat girl said seriously. Boss Yi is not only beautiful but also generous. Several people nearby nodded frantically. Yes, and generous. Jiang Cheng was not angry with them at all. I mean, don't you have anything you want to tell me? He just heard them asking for cherries. Anyway, the cherries inside me have grown and fallen off, all over the ground. It would be a waste if not eaten, so it would be better to give it to everyone as employee benefits. Si Qingqing was about to burst into tears. Mr. Jiang, we were really wrong. Please don't ask again. We promise there won't be a next time. The fat girl glanced at her and said that she didn't say anything bad about Mr. Yi. It was all her fault. She should give us what we deserve. Not us, just you. Well, just you. The girl next to her immediately distanced herself from the matter. Good job. It's really like everyone flees when disaster strikes. The boundaries are so clearly drawn. Jiang Cheng almost laughed out loud when he looked at them. There's really nothing to say. Let's forget about the cherry matter. After saying that, he walked towards the office. Oh no, how could it be like this? It's all your fault for not telling me. The fat girl regretted it so much when she saw that Jiang Cheng was talking about cherries. How do I know it's this? The girl next to her looked helpless. Jiang Cheng paused. By the way, Si Kinking, come here. Hearing Jiang Cheng calling Si Kinking, the fat girl smiled brightly. Kinking, remember to ask about cherry. Si Kinking glanced at her and said, You think of me now. Didn't we draw a line between the two just now? I won't ask. She took a deep breath and sighed, feeling so relieved. The high heels on her feet made a tapping sound. When she arrived at the office, Si Kinking lowered her head, looking like she was listening to the lecture seriously. After all, he is Yi Qingjiu's subordinate, and he is good at listening to instructions. Jiang Cheng said calmly, I need a copy of Chen Mengting's information. Go check it out and give it to me in half an hour. No swearing. Mr. Jiang is so nice. Si Kinking smiled and nodded vigorously. No problem, Mr. Jiang. After saying that, he walked out happily. It was great that he didn't get scolded. Jiang Cheng took out his cell phone and sent a message to Sun Ming, asking him to come over. Sun Ming was reading a contract in the office. When he received the WX message, he put the contract down and went to Jiang Cheng. When he reached the door, he knocked and went in. You looking for me? Well, take a seat first. Sun Ming sat on the chair opposite him. What's wrong? I'm planning to acquire Yaochen, Jiang Cheng said calmly. Acquire Yaochen? Sun Ming was a little unbelievable. Yes, acquire Yaochen. Jiang Cheng looked determined. Sun Ming looked at him. What do you need me to do? I came to you just to get some inside information about Yaochen. Jiang Cheng had never asked this before, and he disdained such petty tricks. But it's different now. He wants to acquire it, and to do that he has to understand the situation clearly, the more detailed the better. Sun Ming thought for a while. Yaochen didn't have any big problems originally. Overall, it was no different from Tengsing. If there was any problem, it was the model, but these are all minor problems. The biggest problem for Yaochen now is that it bought a piece of land, and its funds are stuck and cannot flow. Another problem is that Yaochen's reputation has plummeted. Chen Shaolun's tax evasion still has a great impact on Yaochen. Also, Yaochen's stock market plummeted, which also means a huge loss of money. So I think these problems are still big problems if we acquire it. Jiang Cheng nodded. Sun Ming was right. These are indeed problems, but he should be able to solve them. He wants to make Yaochen the second Tengsing, and make the Yi family the Yi family. Half an hour later, Si Kinking brought a complete set of information about Chen Mengting. It was written very clearly above, including date of birth, when and where, which school she attended, and how many boyfriends she had. It covers almost all the major events in her life. After reading it, Jiang Cheng smiled while holding the document in his hand. Ever since Chen Shaolun died, everyone in the Chen family has become restless. Although 50% of Yaochen's shares have been sold, there are still 50 left. Her grandparents died early, leaving only two uncles, Chen Shaobai and Chen Shaonan. There were not many people at Chen Shaolun's funeral. All of them were Chen's relatives. Chen Mengting also felt upset. Although Chen Shaolun made mistakes repeatedly, he was still her father after all. Now that her father is gone, she just wants to bury him. The two uncles knelt in front of the cemetery and cried particularly sadly. Chen Shaobai was even crying and sobbing. Chen Mengting was afraid that he would faint from crying, so she hurried to help him up. Second uncle, please get up, don't be too sad. Chen Shaobai pushed Chen Mengting away and said viciously, Don't cry over the rat here. Didn't you kill my brother? How many people saw the video of the Yangtze River Bridge? If it wasn't you, would my brother have been able to escape? As soon as he said this, more than 20 people from the Chen family couldn't help but sigh. The internal video caused such a stir that few people have not seen it. Chen Mengting lowered her head and said nothing. She did have an unshirkable responsibility in this matter. If she hadn't pulled the car away and ran away, his father wouldn't have been pushed to the forefront. It's you wish my elder brother would die sooner. Chen Shaobai pointed at her and continued to curse. He wanted the whole family to know Chen Mengting's crimes and let everyone know that she was not worthy of inheriting the assets. Then he forced her to hand over the shares so that he could take Yaochen into his pocket. You're talking nonsense, I didn't. He's her father, no matter how wrong he is, he's still her father. She just didn't want to see him and never thought of killing him. I'm talking nonsense. Do you think we are blind? I think you are crazy about inheriting the family property, Chen Shaobai said coldly. Who doesn't know about your relationship with your father in the past few years? Chen Shaonan had the same idea as him. but he was smarter and more tactful than Chen Shaobai. Seeing that Chen Shaobai had almost finished scolding, he pretended to pull him and said, "Stop talking. This is Big Brother's funeral. Is there anything more important than the deceased?" Chen Shaobai glared at him and said, "Stop pretending to be a good guy. What are you up to? Do you think everyone doesn't know?" The two brothers were born of the same parents and knew each other very well, so they started arguing. Chen Shaonan looked innocent. "Why should I? Meng Ting is just a child after all. Isn't this all caused by Big Brother's tax evasion?" Chapter 151. Just want to get it for free. "Well, Chen Shaonan, I loved you in vain when I was alive. I bought you a house and a car. It was all out of kindness." Chen Shaobai became angrier and angrier as he spoke, and his face turned red. Chen Shaonan sneered, "You talk as if Big Brother didn't buy it for you, and this is how you repay him. You made such a scene at his funeral. Is there anything that can't be discussed later? What on earth are you thinking?" After he said this, all the relatives in the family became upset and started sighing. "Yes, Shaobai, this is a funeral, a day for the dead to be laid to rest." "That's right, Shaolun has fought hard all his life. Now he's dead, just let him rest for a while." Everyone started to persuade Chen Shaobai. After all, he was the one who started the trouble. How could Chen Shaobai not know what Chen Shaonan's intention was? He just wanted to coax Chen Mengting so that he could ask her for the shares later. "No way. No one is a fool. Okay, Chen Shaonan, I'll be the bad guy and you'll be the good guy, right? Okay, I won't say anything more. I'm leaving, okay." After saying this, Chen Shaobai left. It was quiet only after he left. The funeral finally ended successfully. Ever since the funeral, Chen Shaonan has treated Chen Mengting even better than his own daughter. He took care of her and even prepared a bedroom for her in his home. The excuse was that they were worried that Chen Mengting would not be able to eat or sleep well living alone in the villa. In fact, he just wanted to trick her into his home and persuade her to hand over her shares. Although Chen Mengting is young, she is already 16 or 17 years old and she doesn't understand anything. She sees through these two people. Besides, living alone is no problem. Besides, she has no connection with this third uncle. So I didn't agree to his request and chose to live in my own home. My second uncle often came to her house to make trouble, but every time she didn't open the door, so my second uncle had no choice but to curse at her at the door. After being scolded harshly, Chen Mengting called the security guard to drive the man away, saying that he was harassing the owner. Chen Shaonan did the same, running to his niece's house 3 times a day. Although he always comes under the pretext of caring about others, he will also ask a few questions about the company's situation before leaving. After these few days, Chen Mengting also understood what he meant. The second uncle quarreled with him, and the third uncle protected him. But their purpose was actually the same, which was to get the shares in their hands. To be honest, these shares are not as useful to her as money. However, the more the two of them did this, the more she refused to give anything to anyone. Early on the 4th day, I simply ran away from home and went back to the school dormitory. No one to see. As a result, the two of them followed Chen Mengting directly to the school, one coming every morning and the other in the afternoon, making it so that Chen Mengting couldn't even attend classes. She was so annoyed that she decided to sneak out of school early in the morning and hide outside for 2 days. Unexpectedly, as soon as I walked out of the door, I saw a Rolls-Royce Phantom, and standing next to it were Jiang Cheng and Sun Ming. Jiang Cheng brought Sun Ming here because he was afraid that Chen Mengting would be scared when she saw him as a stranger. Sun Ming did come to the school to pick up Chen Mengting several times, and once Chen Mengting ran away from home, it was Sun Ming who persuaded her to go back. So the two people are relatively familiar with each other. The moment Chen Mengting saw Sun Ming, she suddenly felt like crying. She remembered that it was raining heavily the day she ran away from home, and she was standing alone on the street, not knowing where to go. When Sun Ming found her, she was already soaked by the heavy rain. Before she started, she thought it was another lobbyist sent by her father. Unexpectedly, Sun Ming told her that her wings were not strong enough now. If they were strong enough one day, no one would be able to hurt her in the name of love. All she has to do is grow up safely, and Chen Shaolun is the person who can keep her safe. It was raining heavily that day, but she heard every word clearly and remembered it for a long time. Sun Ming saw Chen Mengting coming out and walked over. "Mengting, long time no see." Chen Mengting seemed to see her relatives, and all the grievances she had suffered in the past few days burst out in an instant. She threw herself into Sun Ming's arms and cried, "Uncle Sun." Sun Ming touched her head and said, "It's okay, it's all over. They all bullied me because I was young, and wanted to take my shares away from me. When he heard the word shares, Sun Ming suddenly didn't know what to say. Jiang Cheng came over. "Hello, my name is Jiang Cheng." Chen Mengting saw someone coming and glanced at Sun Ming anxiously. "Uncle Sun." "Don't worry, he won't harm you," Sun Ming said softly. "What do you want from me?" Chen Mengting looked at him suspiciously. "I want the shares you have," Jiang Cheng answered truthfully. Hearing this, a trace of disgust flashed in Chen Mengting's eyes. "Haha, another one who wants shares. I want to use 50 million to buy out your shares." Chen Mengting was a little confused. She had no idea what 50 million meant. Sun Ming explained, "Mengting, 50 million is the highest price we can offer given Yaochen's current situation." Sun Ming did not lie. Even if Jiang Cheng took over Yaochen, he would have to remit a large sum of money before Yaochen could be revived. Chen Mengting hesitated after hearing what Sun Ming said. 50 million was an astronomical figure for her. Although Chen Shaolin had a lot of money, Chen Mengting was too young after all, and he only gave her a few 100,000 yuan in living expenses every month. 50 million is a lot for her. Sun Ming looked at her seriously. "Mengting, uncle won't lie to you. Transferring the equity now is the best choice for you." The three were standing on the side of the road chatting when they saw Chen Shaobai and Chen Shaonan coming over. Neither of the two brothers was able to take down Chen Mengting in the past few days, so they finally came up with a solution, which was for both of them to take a step back and then work together. At worst, the shares can be split equally. That's it, and that's better than having no one. So the two of them came to school together early this morning. As luck would have it, as soon as I walked to the school gate, I saw Chen Mengting in school uniform standing on the road talking to Jiang Cheng and Sun Ming. The two brothers ran over in a hurry. "Mengting, who are these two people?" Chen Mengting saw her two uncles and felt helpless. "They are here to buy shares." "What?" When the two uncles heard that someone wanted to buy shares, their true colors were revealed on the spot. "Chen Mengting, if you dare to give the shares to outsiders, my brother will have raised you in vain." "Mengting, you can't be fooled. We are the only family." Seeing that Chen Mengting was going to sell the shares to someone else, both of them became anxious. "If this is sold, wouldn't my wish come true?" Jiang Cheng looked at the two of them and sneered. "I wonder who you two are." Chen Shaobai glared at him. "I haven't asked you yet, but you're asking me now. Get out of here. We won't give you a single cent of our Chen family's shares." "That's right. How could this shameless person want shares in my Chen family? What a joke." Chen Shaonan also looked displeased. When Sun Ming heard Jiang Cheng being scolded, he stood up decisively and said, "Be more polite when you speak." Chen Shaobai rolled up his sleeves and glared at Jiang Cheng fiercely. "Be polite? Do you need to be polite to people who covet other people's property? What a joke. Get out of here. If you don't get out of here, I'll beat you up." Hearing this, Jiang Cheng sneered. "You sound like you are Chen Mengting's relatives, right? It's not like she can't give you the shares. Just name a price and everything can be negotiated. I've offered 50 million, what about you?" "Does this cost money?" Hearing about the money, the two felt a little guilty. Chen Shaobai sneered. "What do you mean by we? What couldn't my eldest brother give me when he was here?" "It sounds like he wants Chen Mengting to give it to him for free." Jiang Cheng smiled. "So why didn't you give it to you when your elder brother was here?" "You..." Chen Shaobai was so angry at him that he was at a loss for words. "Who the hell are you? This is our family affair. Is it your turn to speak?" "It's your family affair, yes. But now that Chen Mengting has decided to sell it to me, I have to take care of it. If you want, you can take out 50 million. Don't bully this little girl." Chen Shaobai was so angry that he was speechless and reached out to push Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng grabbed him with his backhand and twisted his arm. "Just talk, don't use force." When Chen Shaonan saw his second brother being beaten, he also rushed over and asked, "How dare you hit my brother?" He swung the lunchbox and smashed it on Jiang Cheng's head. Jiang Cheng backhandedly blocked the attack and kicked him in the stomach. What a nest of snakes and rats. Chen Shaonan was kicked and lay on the ground, very angry. "Who are you scolding?" Chen Shaobai also became anxious. "You bastard, you dare to hit my brother, I will kill you." Jiang Cheng pouted his arm. "You want my life? Sure, my life is here, come and take it." Chen Shaobai struggled hard, but Jiang Cheng held his arm tightly. "Don't waste your energy. The more you move, the more it hurts." Chen Shaonan got up from the ground and said, "Okay, you dare to hurt someone in broad daylight. Just wait, I will call the police right away." Chen Mengting stood aside and looked at her second and third uncles, looking so ugly and, to be honest, shameful. "That's enough. This is a school. Stop messing around here." Chen Mengting yelled. Chen Shaonan looked at her incredulously. "Nonsense. Mengting, why are you so mean? That's your second uncle." Chen Mengting sneered. Second uncle, if I lost this share today, would you still recognize me as your niece? And you, third uncle, you ask about my well-being every day. It's all because of the face of this share. Chen Xiaonan didn't expect that this girl was so smart that she could see this. What are you talking about, Mengting? I'm your third uncle, the best person to you. How can you think like that? Jiang Cheng glanced at her and said, I really want to get that 50 million for her. It's impossible for her to get it for free. Chen Mengting is only 16 years old and has no money. How can she support herself? The tuition alone is hundreds of thousands. Do we have to let her give up her studies? Shut up, you are an outsider, so stay out of our family's affairs. Chen Xiaonan now just wanted Jiang Cheng to leave, the farther the better. Jiang Cheng ignored him and looked at Chen Mengting. You can decide on your own about the shares you hold, but you have to think about how you are going to live in the future. You are a child, you need to go to school, go to college in the future, or do other things. You can't do it without money. Chapter 152. No, we're not leaving. Don't listen to him. Can your uncle not let you go to school? Yes, your uncle can't stop you from going to school. The two of them explained verbally, but in their hearts they felt that Chen Mengting's school was too expensive. Once they got the shares, she would have no choice but to change her school. Jiang Cheng looked at their panicked faces and knew what these two people were thinking. How about this, you take out 5 million first and give it to Tingting as her living expenses. 5 million, are you kidding? Chen Xiaobai stared at Jiang Cheng with eyes wide open. I'm saying, are you okay? If not, get out of here. That's right, don't teach our Tingting bad things. Hearing this, Jiang Cheng sneered. You don't even want to give me 5 million, but you want shares. You know this is free. After saying that, he glanced at Chen Mengting and said, think about it yourself. When you figure it out, contact Sun Ming. After saying that, she turned around and was about to leave. Chen Mengting is a child, but not a fool. These two uncles have been asking for shares for so many days. But if they are not willing to give even 5 million, then she will not agree to give them the shares. Mr. Jiang, wait a minute, I'll sell you the shares. When Chen Xiaonan and Chen Xiaobai heard this, they were both panicked. Chen Xiaobai pointed at her with a determined look on his face. No, Chen Mengting, if you give him the shares, you will never be able to enter the Chen family again. Chen Xiaonan also chimed in. Yes, you are the traitor of the Chen family. Chen Mengting looked at them angrily. That's enough. I have seen clearly what you two have done these days, what family affection is all about. It's all for money. You bastard! Chen Xiaobai was so angry that he raised his hand to hit Chen Mengting. Jiang Cheng held his hand tightly. I see you don't want this hand anymore. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Chen Xiaobai made a painful sound. Chen Mengting took off her school bag and took out an agreement from it. That day, Secretary Bai told her that in order to save Yaochen, the only way at the moment was to sell part of the shares and exchange them for cash. So Chen Mengting sold half without hesitation, and now the contract for the other half is in place. She took out the contract and handed it to Jiang Cheng. Here is the contract. Seeing the contract, Chen Xiaobai became anxious, but his arm was held down by Jiang Cheng, so he could only curse. You bastard, let me go. Chen Xiaonan even rushed towards Chen Mengting and tried to snatch the contract from her hand. Jiang Cheng kicked him in the stomach. I think you haven't been beaten enough. Chen Xiaonan stood up despite the pain and rushed towards Jiang Cheng again. I will fight you. As soon as he finished speaking, he flew 2 meters away. Jiang Cheng exerted force with his right hand and pushed Chen Xiaobai out. Then he clapped his hands. Fight! You can all come together. He is a man who knows how to fight. How could he be afraid of these two cowards? After all, he is Chen Mengting's uncle. Seeing her uncle being beaten, she still felt a little bit uncomfortable. Stop fighting, take the contract, and leave quickly. Jiang Cheng took the contract and said, Don't worry, I'll ask the finance department to transfer the money to you right now. Chen Xiaobai shouted anxiously, Tingting, hurry up and get the contract back. Jiang Cheng glared at him, then turned around and called the finance department. 5 minutes later, Chen Mengting received a text message with 7 zeros, which really was 50 million. It seems that Jiang Cheng is a man of his word. After getting the contract, Jiang Cheng took Sun Ming to Yaochen. If he wanted to familiarize himself with all the matters immediately, he had to go to Yaochen first. Yaochen was already in a mess. As soon as I entered the door, I saw several employees leaving with boxes in their arms. Secretary Li was standing at the door watching these people leaving, his face pale, and he couldn't help but sigh that people are forgotten when they leave. Seeing Sun Ming and Jiang Cheng coming over, she was surprised. Boss Sun, why are you here? Yu Chen had just suffered a great disaster. Sun Ming coming here now wouldn't be trying to take advantage of someone's misfortune, would it? Thinking of this, Secretary Li felt somewhat uneasy. This is the future chairman of the board. His name is Jiang Cheng. When Secretary Li heard that he was Jiang Cheng, his eyes widened. Chairman. Jiang Cheng nodded. Yes, I am the new chairman of Yaochen. After saying that, he took out 2 equity agreements, which clearly stated that each company held 50% of the shares. Put together, it's exactly 100%. So it was you who bought the shares? Secretary Li was rather nostalgic and more or less felt sorry for Chen Shaolin. If Secretary Li doesn't want to do this anymore, you can leave at any time. I won't keep you any longer. If you still want to stay, take me to the chairman's office immediately. When Secretary Li heard this, he immediately calmed down and said, Okay, Chairman. She brought Jiang Cheng to Chen Shaolin's office. This is it. Jiang Cheng nodded and walked in. By the way, bring all the project information here. Okay, Mr. Jiang. Secretary Li hurriedly retreated. More than 10 minutes later, Secretary Li came in with a thick stack of documents. Chairman, there is still a lot of information in the computer. Please take your time to read it. I won't bother you anymore. Good. Jiang Cheng and Sun Ming were flipping through documents in the office. Many employees who had not left saw Secretary Li hurriedly leading people into the president's office. Seeing Secretary Li coming out, he asked curiously, Who is your wife? The new chairman. Chairman. Everyone lost their composure after hearing what the chairman said. Yaochen is already in this situation, and there are still people who dare to take over. I don't know if it's because they have too much money or they have a hole in their brains. Is this person sick? We don't want to stay here anymore, but he wants to take over Yaochen. Maybe some rich second generation who doesn't have the energy to survive the harsh treatment of society comes to Yaochen just to practice. Under this situation, Yaochen has no choice but to close down. It will be useless for anyone to come. Tusk, didn't you check the stock market? Others' stocks are hitting the daily limit, but ours are hitting the daily limit. We can't go any lower. My uncle bought shares in our company and has been calling me every day recently. I was so scared that I said I'd quit. Oh, Yaochen is done. I have to send my resume to Tengsing and see if they will accept me. Secretary Li was annoyed by the noise and said, Shut up. If you don't want to work, hand in your resignation and get out. Xiao Ma from the administration department looked disdainful and said, What's so great about that? Do you think you're still the same Yu Chen? I will submit my resignation now. Don't rush me. Xiao Luo from the finance department also said, Who wants to stay in a company like this? We are all here to make money, not to do charity. Secretary Li looked at the indifferent faces and threw his arms around them. Okay, everyone resign. Get out now. Jiang Cheng was reading documents and was annoyed by the noise outside. He glanced at Sun Ming and said, Go see what's going on outside. Sun Ming looked helpless. They are just threatening to resign. This is normal. After all, when the chairman dies, the company is in a recession and people are panicking. After hearing his words, Jiang Cheng put down the contract in his hand and said, Well, those who want to leave, let them go. Good. Sun Ming left the office and looked at the noisy crowd. What's going on? The chairman is reading documents. Why are you making so much noise? Xiao Ma from the administration department looked at Sun Ming seriously. Boss, son, I advise you to leave as well. Yu Chen is finished. Sun Ming looked at his expression and burst out laughing. The chairman said that anyone who wants to resign should resign. By the way, you who were going to Tengsing just now, you don't have to go. The current chairman is Mr. Yi's husband. Hearing Mr. Yi, everyone was surprised. Xiao Luo from the finance department jumped out and asked, Are you talking about Mr. Yi from Tengsing? Sun Ming nodded. Jiang Cheng is Mr. Yi's husband. When everyone heard this, they were excited that was Tang Xing. In their line of work, besides Yaochen, there is Tengsing. Now that Yaochen has gone bankrupt, everyone has the idea of going to Tengsing, but they are just too embarrassed to say it out loud. After all, the 2 salaries are in competition. Unexpectedly, the boss is actually from Tengsing. This is great news for them. Then I won't quit. I won't quit either. Whoever is stupid should resign. I won't resign. I will work until Yaochen goes bankrupt. Secretary Li looked at these people who had just been aggressive with him, feeling helpless. No need to quit, just do your job well. Okay, Secretary Li. Xiao Luo's attitude changed 180 degrees. It made everyone laugh and cry. Only then did Sun Ming return to the office. In the afternoon, Jiang Cheng was still reading documents when he suddenly received a call from Sun Xiao. He took a look at the call reminder and was really shocked. Squad Monitor. Hey, Monitor, why did you think of calling me? That's right, we haven't seen each other for a long time. We are planning to organize a class reunion for next Saturday. You can come and join us. Jiang Cheng thought about it and hesitated. Are you all going? Yes, everyone come, you have to come too. We haven't seen each other for so long, let's chat together. Okay, I got it. That's settled, I'll send you the address later. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Cheng looked at the time. It was past 6 o'clock. It was time to go home. He glanced at Sun Ming, who was still reading the contract, and said, Let's go, it's time to go home. What? Yi Qingjiu woke up with the children and saw that Jiang Cheng was not at home, so she asked Zhang Ma. Knowing that he went to the company, I guess he went to discuss the acquisition of Yaochen. So I didn't ask much and played with the children for the whole afternoon. At 5 o'clock, Jiang Cheng still hadn't come back. Aunt Zhang had already started cooking, so she went into the kitchen again. Aunt Zhang washes and cuts the vegetables, and her cooking skills have improved a lot compared to before. Miss, it doesn't really matter whether you go home to cook or not. I'll do it. Besides, there's Mr. Jiang here. Why bother going to the kitchen to do these troublesome things? Yi Qingjiu looked at Zhang Ma with a smile. Zhang Ma, I actually found that Jiang Cheng has a talent for business. Now that Yaochen has successfully acquired him, he will probably be even busier, so I have to learn more. Besides, which man cooks every day, don't you think? After hearing what Yi Qingjiu said, Aunt Zhang smiled so hard that wrinkles appeared on her face. I see that you like our son-in-law more and more. Chapter 153, Wife, I am innocent. After hearing this, Yi Qingjiu blushed. Zhang Ma tilde. Aunt Zhang looked at Yi Qingjiu's shy appearance and said with a smile, Okay, I won't say anything more. I won't say anything more. As the two were talking, they heard a noise outside the door. The two babies were watching Peggy on the sofa. When they heard the noise, they ran towards the door. It's Daddy tilde. It's Daddy tilde. As soon as Jiang Cheng opened the door, the two babies jumped into his arms. Daddy, Nyu missed you so much. Yanyan misses Daddy too tilde. The milky scent of the two babies filled Jiang Cheng's nose. Oh, so happy. He smiled and carried the two babies into the house. Where's Mom? Yanyan pointed to the kitchen and said, Mom is cooking with Grandma Zhang. After hearing Yanyan's words, Jiang Cheng felt a little guilty. It was because of him that he came back late. He walked to the kitchen door. Wife, Yi Qingjiu said calmly, Wait a moment, it will be ready soon. Jiang Cheng glanced at the kitchen and found that there were vegetables simmering in the pot. The rice was cooked, and there was a portion of delicious vegetables on the chopping board. It seems to be true. There is nothing I can do to help. Okay then, I'll be out first. Yeah, Yi Qingjiu nodded. Aunt Zhang saw that the food in the pot was almost ready, so she served it out. I shouted outside, it's time to. Hearing that it was time to eat, the two babies quickly climbed onto the children's dining chairs. Daddy is ready, it's time to. Jiang Cheng tied bibs for them and smiled lovingly. You two really are two greedy little cats. Yi Qingjiu and Zhang Ma came out of the kitchen, counting the food. It's time to eat, it's time to eat. Jiang Cheng tasted the food on the table and it tasted good. Wife, you've made progress. Considering that it was her first time cooking, it was really not easy for her to make the dish like this. Yi Qingjiu felt happy when hearing Jiang Cheng's praise. By the way, my wife, our class is having a reunion on Saturday, so I have to go out on Saturday. Do you want to go with me? Jiang Cheng spoke very casually. Yi Qingjiu hesitated for a moment. Do you want me to go? Jiang Cheng lowered his head and ate his meal. Look at you. After all, you are so busy. If you are too busy, forget it. If you are free, let's go together. No sincerity. He just doesn't want to let himself go. Then I won't go. Yi Qingjiu's face darkened. Seeing that she looked unhappy, Jiang Cheng asked with concern, What's wrong? Yi Qingjiu lowered his head and said, Nothing, I just don't want to go. No, I know my wife well. Her expression clearly shows that she is unhappy. Why are you unhappy? Jiang Cheng put down his bowl and chopsticks. Yi Qingjiu was eating. Was it because there was a girl he liked at the class reunion that he didn't invite her? After all, they were college classmates and had been together for 4 years, which was much longer than the time she had been with him. So he didn't want me to go at all. Will all the students go? She hesitated. I don't know, maybe. Yi Qingjiu's face paused. What kind of answer was this? Seeing that she was in a bad mood, Jiang Cheng asked with concern, Wife, what's wrong with you? Yi Qingjiu shook his head. It's okay. She would never say that she wanted to go. Otherwise, Jiang Cheng would laugh at her. Besides, there is still some space for men. Are you really okay? Jiang Cheng asked her. It's really okay. Yi Qingjiu nodded seriously. Okay then. By the way, starting tomorrow, I will assign a few people to Yaochen. I have already received the share contract today. Starting tomorrow, we need to sort out a lot of data, so it may take a long time. Yi Qingjiu nodded. If you need anyone, just go find Si Qingqing and she will let you know. Good. Early the next morning, Jiang Cheng called Si Qingqing and transferred several capable people from various departments to Yaochen. Time passed quickly, and in a blink of an eye it was Saturday afternoon. Jiang Cheng was still taking a shower when Su Ji called. Yi Qingjiu was looking at information on the computer, and Jiang Cheng's cell phone was right next to her. When she heard her cell phone ringing, she called Jiang Cheng twice. However, the sound of the water was too loud, so Jiang Cheng couldn't hear anything. Yi Qingjiu hesitated for a moment and then picked up the phone. Hello. Su Ji was just about to go out, but when he heard Mr. Yi's voice, he stopped involuntarily. Hello, Mr. Yi, I'm Su Ji. He's taking a shower. What do you want? Yi Qingjiu said in a light voice. It's like this. Today is a class reunion. As you know, I have a good relationship with Brother Cheng, so I wanted to ask if he has gone out. Hearing about the class reunion, Yi Qingjiu felt uneasy again. The last time he hired someone to follow Jiang Cheng, they only did so for 1 year, which was during his sophomore year. I know nothing about his life in his junior and senior years, and I don't know if anyone likes him or if he has ever liked anyone. Women are always curious and suspicious in this regard, always wanting to know if she is the only one for him. What's the name of the prettiest girl in your class? Pretty girls are usually competitors, and Yi Qingjiu knows this very well because she has always been pursued by others. Holy shit, mister, you wouldn't know that Zaimenk likes Jiang Cheng? That's awesome. Her name is Zaimenk, but don't worry, Mr. Yi, there is nothing between them. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu's eyes softened a little. It's okay. Su Ji continued. Although Zaimenk has always liked Jiang Cheng, she was rejected by Cheng. She was already a senior that year, and Zaimenk left school early. The two of them never had any contact again. Don't worry, Mr. Yi, there's no chance for them. Su Ji spoke in a decisive tone, fearing that Yi Qingjiu might have misunderstood him. Yi Qingjiu couldn't help but get nervous listening to his explanation. So, will Zaimenk also go today? She now regrets deeply why she didn't just say that she wanted to go that day. So what did she do later? Yi Qingjiu couldn't help but ask one more question. Boss Yi, I don't know about that. It seems that she later used her connections to become a flight attendant at the airport. Oh, the stewardess. Stewardess, that must be a very beautiful girl. Yi Qingjiu's eyes couldn't help but become dim, and he looked depressed. Jiang Cheng finished taking a shower and walked out, just in time to hear Yi Qingjiu talking on the phone. Airline stewardess? Who is the stewardess? You won't mention Zaimenk again. He heard this from Su Ji. He didn't know about it at all until Su Ji mentioned this when he came back to the dormitory one day. It is said that Zaimenk is now a flight attendant, and she asked herself in a mean way whether she regretted it. This grandson is so talkative. Why is he still talking about Yi Qingjiu coming? She already feels very insecure. Jiang Cheng wiped his hair and walked over with a smile. Wife, is it Su Ji? Yi Qingjiu nodded. Yeah. What are you talking about? Jiang Cheng asked. He wanted to take this opportunity to make things clear with his wife, to prevent her from becoming suspicious. Yi Qingjiu looked at him and said, Nothing. I heard that the goddess Zaimenk from your class is now a flight attendant. There's nothing between her and me. Jiang Cheng took the initiative to explain. There was really nothing between him and her, and there was nothing to hide, especially from his wife. Really? Yi Qingjiu stared at him with burning eyes. Really? Jiang Cheng nodded. Yi Qingjiu breathed a sigh of relief. Su Ji had just said that it didn't matter, and now Jiang Cheng had said so himself, so it should really not matter. Why don't you come with me? Jiang Cheng said. He was still afraid that Yi Qingjiu would worry. Yi Qingjiu shook his head. I'm not going. He had already explained everything, and if he went again, he was afraid that Jiang Cheng would think too much and feel that he was not trusting him. Really not going? No, I'm not your classmate. What would I do? Jiang Cheng looked at her, and it seemed that there was nothing wrong with her but hesitantly asked, Are you sure? Really, don't worry. I'll take care of the kids at home and wait for you to come back. Yi Qingjiu curled the corners of his lips. After making sure she was okay, Jiang Cheng patted her head and said, I'll go out now. Don't worry, I'll be back at 9. Okay, Yi Qingjiu nodded. Jiang Cheng went out and called Su Ji. You are such a chatterbox. Su Ji looked so innocent. Brother Cheng, I am so innocent. Mr. Yi asked who is the prettiest girl in our class right away. I thought he knew about you and Zaimenk. You are really good at making associations. Jiang Cheng wanted to kick him through the phone. What did Yi Qingjiu know? It was just a casual question at most. How could she not think about it after Su Ji said that? Brother Cheng, I promise there won't be a next time. Where have you been? Suji was already in the taxi and was about to arrive at his destination. Jiang Cheng said unhappily, I just came out of the community and haven't gotten a taxi yet. After all, it was a class reunion, so a few drinks were inevitable, so Jiang Cheng naturally wouldn't drive. Okay, I'll wait for you in the private room. After hanging up the phone, Suji got out of the car. Looking at the grand gate of Lehao Hotel, he couldn't help but sigh that he wished he could open such a hotel someday. When we entered the private room, there were quite a lot of people there. There were nearly 30 people sitting at 2 tables. It can be seen that everyone who could come has come, all familiar faces, including Zai Menk, who looked particularly beautiful in a chiffon skirt. Squad leader Sun Zio looked at Suji with an enthusiastic expression. Jezi, there must be traffic jam on the road. There was a traffic jam. I took a taxi and it cost me more than 30 yuan. It's so rip-off. Suji pulled out a stool and sat down. Where is Jiang Cheng? Why isn't he here? Asked Wu Fei, the math class representative. Everyone knows that they have a good relationship. If you ask Suji about Jiang Cheng's affairs, there is nothing he doesn't know. He's out and is getting a taxi. Hearing about taking a taxi, Du Yuan laughed. He's already a gigolo. How come he doesn't even have a car of his own? Jiakoholic, Jiang Cheng is a gigolo. That's impossible. Jiang Chengne is a nerd. How could he have such understanding? That's right. How could a man like Chengzi, who is so handsome, be a gigolo? Several students started discussing it. Du Yuan took out his phone, searched for the video of the children's meeting at Meng Lisi Kindergarten, and showed it to everyone. Look, is this person Jiang Cheng? This child looks at least 3 years old. If he is not a gigolo, then what is he? This statement really caused a huge uproar. Everyone scrambled to get their phones. One person passed it to the next after reading it, and the next person passed it down one by one. Chapter 154, Class Reunion. These 2 kids are so big, said Tao Ran, the Chinese class representative. Tao Ran is also a rich second generation. He is now preparing to get married and is looking for another rich second generation man. Family partnership, 2 good things become 1 good thing. In short, 2 words, rich. Wu Fei couldn't help but say, yeah, but these 2 kids are really pretty. Look at their eyes. Hey, look how much this girl's eyes resemble Chengzi's. When Wu Fei saw Niu's eyes, he was surprised. Come here, let me see. Han took the phone. Wow, it really looks like it. Come on, let me see, let me see. Everyone was holding the video and talking at the same time. Suji looked at everyone like they were looking at monkeys. Don't guess. This is their biological son, daughter, and biological child. Upon hearing this, squad leader Sun Zio was immediately shocked. That's impossible. The child is already this big, so Chengzi has become a father in his sophomore year. That's right, this is too impossible. Nihui Chengzi doesn't talk much and is so introverted. He doesn't even have a girlfriend. How could he possibly have a child? Wu Fei looked unconvinced. Absolutely impossible. Seeing that everyone was talking more and more outrageous, Goddess Zaimenk finally spoke up. Although she still doesn't like Jiang Cheng at first, they are in the same class, and she can often see Jiang Cheng in the study room. Do you still have time to study with your children? Is this a joke? Suji looked at the faces that refused to believe it, and he was helpless. Well, I can't explain it to you clearly. When someone comes, you can ask them yourself. As everyone was discussing heatedly, Jiang Cheng opened the door and walked in. Sorry, I'm late. There was a bit of traffic on the road. Seeing Jiang Cheng coming in, the atmosphere instantly became lively. Sun Zio pulled Jiang Cheng and said, You are late for the class reunion, so drink 3 cups as punishment. Suji looked at Jiang Cheng and laughed. I was stuck in traffic for 30 minutes. At your speed, you will lose 60. Jiang Cheng glanced at him and said, If you don't know how to chat, shut up. The white wine I drank today tasted a bit spicy after 3 glasses, so Jiang Cheng took a sip of water. Before he put down the cup, Wu Fei started gossiping. What's going on with the internal video? Jiang Cheng asked curiously, Which video? You're the one being kept. Oh no, the one who plays the piano. Jiang Cheng almost spit out a mouthful of water. What do you mean by keeping a sponsor? They are my own children, twins, a boy and a girl. They are over 3 years old now and are in kindergarten. As soon as these words were spoken, everyone was shocked. What? How is that possible? Suji looked at everyone with a smile. Now you believe it, right? I said he's my biological child. Zai Menk, who was sitting in the C position, instantly turned pale when she heard that Jiang Cheng had a child. No wonder he rejected her. They already had a child. Since you already have a child, why didn't you tell me at the time? I couldn't figure it out for several months. Chengzi, we are all classmates. We went to school together, and now that we are out of school, we should be the closest people. There is no need to hide anything. Du Yuan lit a cigarette and handed the cigarette box to Wu Fei beside him. Look, the second generation of rich people are good. They smoke Huazi. After flattering the man, Wu Fei took out a cigarette from the box and lit it for himself. Jiang Cheng always felt that this was not right. He glanced at Du Yuan and asked, "What can I hide?" Du Yuan smiled and said, "It's very common to be supported by someone in society nowadays. What's the dream? Money is the dream. With money, you have everything." After making a fuss for a long time, Jiang Cheng said that he was being kept. He laughed and cried. "As for the matter of being kept, no matter how you look at it, I am indeed being kept, but by my own wife. My own daughter-in-law, that's just my second-hand daughter-in-law," Lu Yuan said half-jokingly. Hearing this, Su Ji was unhappy. "Don't talk nonsense. That's really his biological daughter-in-law. Son and daughter are all his biological children." "What?" Everyone knows that Su Ji and Jiang Cheng have a good relationship, but in order to protect their brother, they can't be so unprincipled. Hearing the CEO of Tengsing, Tao Ran smiled. "Are you talking about CEO Yi of Tengsing? His father used to be Yi En's younger brother. Relying on this relationship, Tang Exing provided them with a lot of resources. It was with these resources that they became rich. She has known Yi Qingjiu since childhood, but they have not had much interaction. When Yi En passed away, Tao Ran went with his father to pay tribute. It was during that time that his father told her that Tengsing Yi Qingjiu would be in charge in the future. Ask her to add Yi Qingjiu's WeChat, so they can chat more and improve their relationship." Yi Qingjiu also added Tao Ran for his father's sake. Jiang Cheng nodded. "Yes, that's my wife. I heard that Mr. Yi got married. I even watched the proposal video, but why do I feel like it wasn't Chengzi? He's wearing a suit and tie, and he looks so handsome. Tusk, 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 Chengzi is amazing. He plants rice early and gets the fruits early. We don't even have stable jobs, but he's Mr. Yi's husband. He's worth tens of billions. Tusk, 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 I'm so envious. Chengzi, does President Yi have a best friend like her? Give me one too." Several men began to envy. Zaimenk was sulking for a long time when she heard that Jiang Cheng had a wife and children. To be honest, she also felt that Jiang Cheng was lying. Although he is excellent, he is not so excellent that the president of Tengsing would have children for him. She pulled Tao Ran next to her and said, "Why don't you give Mizzy a call and ask her to come over and sit with you?" "This is not good." Tao Ran felt a little guilty. After all, that was the president of Tang Exing, and he and she didn't have much of a relationship, so how could she come? "Why don't you know Mr. Yi? Why don't you even have a phone call?" "No way." "Who said that?" "I did. We have a good relationship." Driven by vanity, Tao Ran somehow made a voice call to Yi Qingjiu. Yi Qingjiu was watching TV with her two children. When she heard the phone ringing, she hurriedly picked it up. She thought it was Jiang Cheng, but it turned out to be Tao Ran. She thought about it and picked up the phone. "Hello. Qingjiu, are you free? Can we sit together?" Yi Qingjiu wanted to refuse her, but before she could open her mouth, Tao Ran continued. "It's like this. We had a class reunion, and then everyone said they wanted to meet you." "Class reunion?" "Jiang Cheng is also at a class reunion, so this is a coincidence." "Are you from University Z?" "Yes." "Send me the address." "Good." After hanging up the phone, Yi Qingjiu received Tao Ran's WeChat coordinates. When I clicked on it, it was Lehao Hotel, private room 502. Tao Ran hung up the phone and looked at everyone with a smile. "Did you hear that? Mizzy said she will be here soon." When Jiang Cheng heard this, he was delighted. "Great!" He led the applause. "To be honest, I originally wanted my wife to come, but she said she didn't want to come. Not everyone likes to force others. My wife doesn't know anyone. Wouldn't she be bored if she came?" Jiang Cheng didn't want her to be bored, but now Tao Ran had messed things up. Only then did he realize that his wife actually knew his classmates. Yi Qingjiu put on his coat, gave some instructions to Aunt Zhang, asking her to look after the child before he went out. The two babies are watching cartoons now and have almost no attachment to their mother. Seeing that Yi Qingjiu was about to go out, they all clasped their hands and said goodbye to her. After going out, Yi Qingjiu drove the Phantom and headed towards the Howley Hotel. Hearing that Mr. Yi was coming, Du Yuan was overjoyed. Now it was good. Let's see how long Jiang Cheng can keep pretending. He drank a glass of wine and said, "If you ask me, this person should live realistically. It's just a sponsorship. What's there to be ashamed of?" According to his thinking, Yi Qingjiu was at most supporting Jiang Cheng, and the two of them were in a relationship of sponsor and supported. She is the daughter of a chaebol. How could she be so short-sighted? and be with a young boy who just graduated. Jiang Cheng was too lazy to pay attention to him. He picked up the chopsticks with a smile and started eating. Half an hour later, the door was pushed open. Jiang Cheng turned around and saw Yi Qingjiu wearing a chiffon skirt and a thin jacket. "Wife, you are finally willing to go out." Yi Qingjiu glanced at him and said, "You are so unruly." Su Ji looked at Yi Qingjiu and hurriedly gave up his seat to Yi Qingjiu. I asked the waiter to add a chair. Sat down next to Wu Fei. Wu Fei couldn't help gossiping. "Zhezi, is this Ms. Yi really Jiang Cheng's wife? It's so obvious, how else can we prove it?" Su Ji was helpless. "Really, we got the marriage certificate." "Fuck, Jiang Cheng is really good," Wu Fei said as he stood up. "Boss Yi, I'll toast to you." That was the president of Tengsing. Everyone was excited and started to build relationships and try to please him. People are so hypocritical sometimes. They curse the evil capitalists on one hand, but try hard to please them on the other. Tao Ran sat in his seat awkwardly. He was clearly the one who called Yi Qingjiu, so how come he sat directly next to Jiang Cheng? It seemed that the two of them did have some relationship. Du Yuan looked at everyone trying to curry favor with him and sneered. He picked up his wine glass and walked to Yi Qingjiu. "Hello, Mr. Yi. This hotel is owned by my family. My name is Du Yuan. To be honest, it's just a hotel, and Yi Qingjiu didn't even bother to take a second look at it. But after all, it is Jiang Cheng's classmates' reunion, so we still have to give him some face." She smiled and picked up the teacup. "I don't drink, so I'll drink tea instead." After saying that, he took a bite. Du Yuan was a little embarrassed. He drank the wine in the glass and said, "By the way, Mr. Yi, everyone just joked that you are Chengzi's wife. I wonder if this is true." Su Ji looked at him as if he was mentally retarded. "Are you sick? Why are you asking me this? What else is there to ask, can't you see? Are you blind?" Yi Qingjiu's eyelashes trembled, and her pretty face was particularly delicate. She put the teacup on the table and said, "It's not a joke, it's true. She came here just because she was afraid that everyone didn't know that Jiang Cheng had a wife. She just wanted to let Menk see that her husband had a wife." Hearing this, Du Yuan's face suddenly turned ugly. "No way." Yi Qingjiu looked at him and asked, "What's wrong with that?" Du Yuan forced himself to smile. "I didn't expect that Chengzi would actually be able to eat Mr. Yi's soft rice. This is really enviable." Everyone laughed when these words were spoken. Chapter 155, Meeting the Rival. "Yes, we are lucky to have a son. It seems that gigolos are so attractive. No wonder." Even Menk, who had been silent all this time, couldn't help but complain in a low voice. Everyone present was envious, dazed, or disdainful. Only Yi Qingjiu's face suddenly darkened. They were actually accusing Jiang Cheng of being a gigolo again. "Have you ever played King of Glory?" She leaned back, her eyes burning, and her inner aura of a leader suddenly dissipated. "Yes, I have." Tao Ran finally got the chance to talk to her. "The internal games are produced by Tengsing, right? Mr. Yi, you are really amazing. Tengsing's games are more popular than the last," Wu Fei said. "Yes, Mr. Yi is really not an ordinary person," someone continued to flatter. Yi Qingjiu folded his hands. "This game was made by Jiang Cheng, and Teng Xing is just responsible for marketing." The scene became awkward for a moment, with everyone having different expressions on their faces. Wu Fei was the first to speak. "I told you Chengzi was the best student in school." Sun Zio looked at Jiang Cheng with a smile. "Good boy, you can do it." Jiang Cheng smiled. Actually, he didn't like this kind of atmosphere. They were all classmates. No matter who was successful or who was not, so what? Is friendship between classmates worthless? Today is a class reunion. Let's not talk about these things, let's just eat and drink. The idea is beautiful, but the reality is cruel. How is that possible? Zhang Yu is the worst student in the class. Others have already finished their junior year and started their senior year away from school for internship. He is a good guy. He has graduated for several months, but is still hanging around outside and can barely pay the rent. I didn't expect that I could actually meet Tengsing's boss. It would be more appropriate not to look for a job at this time. Zhang Yu immediately stood up and walked up to Jiang Cheng. "Brother Cheng, since you are doing so well now, can you help me find a job?" What? Jiang Cheng was speechless. Didn't he just say that he didn't want to talk about this? "That's Chengzi. Find a job for Zhang Yu in your king's data department or something. Since Tengsing is so awesome anyway." Du Yuan finally waited for the opportunity to embarrass Jiang Cheng and immediately started to make a fuss. "Go to Tengsing. Even though Tengsing belongs to my wife, we can't just push anyone into it. He has already got Su Ji, and now Zhang Yu is in the competition, so Tengsing really becomes his own company." Seeing that he was in trouble, Yi Qingjiu was about to speak. After all, it didn't matter if there were more people. Du Yuan spoke up first. How about this, Zhang Yu, come to work at my company tomorrow. I'll ask my dad to find you a job. Tencent is good, but not everyone can go there. What he meant was that Jiang Cheng simply looked down on you, and it was impossible for you to enter Tencent. After he said this, his image unconsciously became several degrees higher. He was helpful and never provoked others. On the contrary, Jiang Cheng was a bit unkind. They were classmates, but he didn't even help with this little thing. Zhang Yu frowned. My major is not suitable for you. Your family runs a hotel, and I studied computer science. I want to make a living by my skills, not physical strength. Du Yuan was almost pissed off when he said this. Who told you that running a hotel requires physical labor? The ones who change the sheets and wash the quilts are the waiters, not you. You really take my kindness for granted. Come if you want. Seeing Du Yuan was angry, Wu Fei hurriedly persuaded him. All right, we are all classmates. Zhang Yu has his own choice. Jiang Cheng thought for a while and said, why don't you go to Yaochen? Yaochen is short of people and the salary is the same as Tencent. You can play a better role if you go there. What do you think? Originally, the classmates all thought that Jiang Cheng was unkind. But after these words came out, Jiang Cheng was considered a bad person. Chengzi, I'm not saying anything bad about you. Zhang Yu and I are classmates after all. It's fine if you don't want to help, but why are you pushing him into the fire pit? What's the situation of Yaochen now? Why let Zhang Yu go there? Yes, Chengzi, you are so unkind. One by one, they turned around and blamed Jiang Cheng, accusing him of being unfriendly. Suji couldn't bear it any longer. What do you know? Yaochen was just acquired by Tencent. Right now, Cheng is hanging out at Yaochen every day. It's been more than a week. If you don't understand, don't talk nonsense. Yi Qingjiu's eyelashes trembled. Let me correct you. It was not Yaochen who acquired it. It was Jiang Cheng who acquired it. If it weren't for Jiang Cheng, the acquisition wouldn't have been so smooth. Isn't it said that her husband is a gigolo? She wants to see how many of those who are not gigolos are more capable than Jiang Cheng. What? Chengzi acquired Yaochen. I'll go. Obviously, everyone was panicking. They didn't expect that Jiang Cheng actually had this skill, making games and acquiring companies. Zhang Yu didn't expect that Jiang Cheng is so powerful now. Since he was able to acquire Yaochen, and he and Yi Qingjiu are husband and wife, then Yaochen's future is definitely limitless. It would be great if I could go to Yaochen, a school that matches my major. Chengzi, I'll go. Zhang Yu looked excited. Okay, it's settled then. Monday morning at 9, don't be late. Okay. Zhang Yu agreed readily. Sun Xiao smiled and said, come on, we've been chatting for a long time and no one has eaten much. Let's start eating. Zai Menk looked at Jiang Cheng, feeling not only unwilling but also angry. It turned out that he rejected me just for the president of Tencent. Although she was prettier than me, she was definitely older than me. She had to snatch Jiang Cheng from me, so this vengeance must be avenged. I can't let her enjoy herself now. Zai Menk thought about it and suddenly smiled at Jiang Cheng. I wonder if the cup I gave you when I was in school is still there. Can you give it back to me? Fuck, what is going on? Did Zai Menk give a cup to Jiang Cheng? Isn't a cup a lifetime? Raising the cup in front of Yi Qingjiu is clearly a sign of wanting to start a fight. There was still no expression on Yi Qingjiu's face, and it was impossible to tell what she was thinking. Jiang Cheng was even more confused, because Zai Menk had never given him a cup. When did you give me the cup? How come I didn't know about it? Sun Xiao gave Zai Menk a look, meaning that she should say less. After all, his wife was there. What are you doing? What cups? If you need cups, ask Du Yuan to give you one. Forget one, even a whole car is not a problem. It's no problem for Du Yuan to buy a truck, right, Du Yuan? After Wu Fei finished speaking, he touched Du Yuan's shoulder with his shoulder. They were all waiting for Du Yuan to smooth over his words and ease their anger a little. Du Yuan glared at him and said, what are you doing? Why are you dragging this into my hands? To be honest, although he likes her, Du Yuan is not prepared to play the dog licker this time. With a woman like Zai Menk, the dog licker approach won't work. He suffered this loss last time. The more he licked her, the less she took him seriously. This time he would not follow the old path no matter what. Zai Menk glanced at Yi Qingjiu and found that she had no expression, which made her even angrier. What's wrong with this woman? Slow response. Don't you know what the cup means? She sighed, forget it. Jiang Cheng is a noble man who forgets things easily. It's just a cup. If he doesn't remember it, forget it. No, don't talk nonsense. I really haven't received your cup. I know about breakfast. During school, there is often an extra chili cake in my seat, but I don't like spicy food, so Suji ate them all. Now that we've come to this point, I won't hide it anymore. I met Jiujiu in my sophomore year, and I've fallen in love with her since the day I saw her, so there's no room for anyone else in my heart. Yi Qingjiu's eyes flickered. He said that he fell in love with me that day. She always thought that he might not like girls like that. After all, I was the one who took the initiative first. So is Jiang Cheng the same as me? Since the last time, they have tacitly agreed not to look for each other. After hearing Jiang Cheng's words, everyone couldn't help but sigh. I didn't expect our Chengzi to be such an infatuated person. If I meet a beauty like Ms. Yi, do you believe that I would be more infatuated than her? Wu Fei joked. Go away, Mr. Yi is here, don't make such jokes in front of him. Squad leader Sun Zio glared at Wu Fei. Zai Meng didn't expect Jiang Cheng to say that. It turned out that not only did he reject her, but even the breakfast she bought for him was eaten by someone else. This was really hard for her to accept. Jiang Cheng, are you worthy of me? Does this have anything to do with being sorry or not? Suji couldn't listen anymore. Beautiful lady Zai, if I remember correctly, Chengzi rejected you from the beginning. He never gave you any hope. In order to avoid you, he even skipped the evening self-study class. We are classmates. You are a girl. I don't want to say hurtful things to her, but you can't go too far. I sit with Brother Cheng every day. How can I not know what's wrong with him? First, I have never seen the cup you mentioned. Brother Cheng only has one cup and has used it for 4 years. He has never brought back any other cups. Second, you didn't say it earlier or later. Mr. Yi, you said it now. Aren't you trying to sow discord between the couple? Zai Meng didn't expect that Su Ji would show up out of nowhere and be so talkative, with a face that couldn't be any darker. She argued, just because you didn't see it, does that mean I didn't send it? Now that things have come to this, everyone understands that although Su Ji is not the person involved, everyone knows that he has a good relationship with Jiang Cheng. Although Su Ji likes to joke around usually, he is still very reliable at critical moments. If he says no, then it may really be true. It's really boring that a class reunion turned into a battle between love rivals. Meng Qi, just say less and eat something, Tao Ran advised. Yes, Menk, maybe you remembered it wrong and gave the cup to Du Yuan. Wu Fei joked again. Okay, you and Jiang Cheng are classmates, but not me. I understand now, I'm leaving now. After saying that, Zai Meng picked up her bag and left. Seeing the goddess leaving, Du Yuan chased after her. Sun Ziro sat aside without saying anything, looking unhappy. It was a class reunion, but why did everything focus on Jiang Cheng? To be honest, he still felt a little guilty. After all, it was me who called Jiang Cheng here. Chapter 156, Husband, I'm sorry. Jiang Cheng really didn't expect that a class reunion would turn out like this. But actually this is normal. Nowadays, the focus of society is always on money. Whoever has money is the focus. If he had the time, Jiang Cheng really didn't want to be the center of attention. Wouldn't it be better to take care of the children and spend time with his wife? He is not the kind of person who likes to pretend, nor is he the kind of person who turns his back on others once he gets rich. However, staying at this class reunion really made me feel uncomfortable. He held Yi Qingjiu's hand, looking guilty. Wife, let's go back. Seeing that Jiang Cheng was about to leave, everyone panicked and everyone wanted to curry favor with him. Brother Cheng, why are you leaving now? Is the food not tasty? Or ask the waiter to serve a few more dishes. Yeah, Brother Cheng, look, sister-in-law hasn't even taken 2 bites yet. Squad leader Sun Ziro even held his hand. Chengzi, don't go. What happened just now was Zai Meng's fault. We all know that it was you who was generous and didn't want to argue with her. Sergeant, I really want to go back. Jiang Cheng smiled helplessly. Seeing that Jiang Cheng was determined to leave, everyone felt embarrassed to stop him. Brother Cheng, then you go back first. I'll treat you some other day. You and sister-in-law must show up. Wu Fei looked flattering. Jiang Cheng smiled and didn't reply. Before everyone called him Chengzi, but now they call him Cheng. Before everyone called him you and me, but now they call him you. It's really boring. Suji also felt that it was meaningless. When he heard Jiang Cheng was leaving, he stood up and said, Everyone eat first. I'm going back too. After all, it was a reunion of her husband's classmates. Yi Qingjiu stood up and nodded politely to everyone. We'll go back first. As soon as she opened her mouth, several people who were sitting just now all stood up. I'll take you there. Yes, we'll take you there. No need, everyone please continue. Yi Qingjiu said something very official and then stood up. Followed Jiang Cheng out. As soon as she came out, everyone couldn't help but sigh. Wow, this is the CEO of Tenki. She is so beautiful and has a very elegant temperament. Yeah, I thought President Tengxing was at least 30 years old, but President Yi looks like he's only in his early 20s. To be honest, I think Meng Qi can't compare to her at all. Ms. Yi is the real goddess. If I were Jiang Cheng, I would follow Ms. Yi. Money is not the point. I can show off such a beautiful woman for the rest of my life. Classmate Li Nan had a look of emotion on his face, and was obviously still immersed in Yi Qingjiu's back. I didn't expect Chengzi to be so successful now. In just a few months, he has become a completely different person. He is now the chairman of Yaochen, has a goddess wife, and a pair of cute twins. What? Zaimenk came out of the house and ran outside to get a taxi, and Du Yuan chased her out. Where are you going? Can't you see I'm going home? Du Yuan smiled and said, Why should you be so upset? It's just Jiang Cheng. I wanted to give you my heart back then, but you never got angry with me. How come it's not that serious? Zaimenk glared at him, her delicately made-up face full of anger. She is the beauty of the school. No matter how many guys flatter her, she remains indifferent. She just likes Jiang Cheng. She didn't expect that he actually has someone in his heart. Why should he? Why does he treat himself like this? He is still living such a good life now. Does it make everyone feel that he is not worthy of him? The more Zaimenk thought about it, the angrier she became, and tears instantly welled up in the corners of her eyes. Du Yuan helped her wipe away her tears. Okay, it's not easy to deal with him. I have a way. After hearing this, Zaimenk paused and asked, what can you do? As long as you agree to be my girlfriend, I promise to make Jiang Cheng's life miserable. Du Yuan's eyes flashed with coldness as he spoke. This made Zaimenk feel excited. But she is not a fool. Although Du Yuan's family is rich, they are still far from Teng Exing. It may not be easy for him to deal with Jiang Cheng. Well, then I'll promise you after you deal with him. Zaimenk hesitated. As the two were talking, they saw Jiang Cheng pulling Yi Qingjiu out, with Su Ji following beside them. It is very humid in Sichuan at night. Jiang Cheng was afraid that Yi Qingjiu would catch a cold, so he took off his coat and put it on her. Zaimenk saw this scene and hatred rose from the bottom of her heart. He had never treated himself like this before. Du Yuan held her hand and said, Don't worry, there is still a long time to go. After all, the two people were standing in a hidden place, so Jiang Cheng and the others did not notice them. Su Ji smiled and looked at the two of them. Brother Cheng, Mr. Yi, I'll take a taxi to take you back. To be honest, he was a little worried that the two would start arguing. No, we're not going the same way. We can just go our separate ways. It's okay, I'll take you there. Really? Seeing Jiang Cheng was so determined, Su Ji didn't say much. Okay, then be careful on the road. As they were talking, a taxi drove over and Jiang Cheng pulled Yi Qingjiu into the car. After all, Yi Qingjiu had also drunk 2 glasses of wine, so Jiang Cheng decided to take a taxi back. Master, drive slower. Su Ji leaned close to the car window and reminded worriedly. Okay, the master agreed and drove out with his foot on the accelerator. Yi Qingjiu lowered his head and clenched his fingers, not knowing what to say. Her parents divorced when she was very young. Her father was extremely strict with her, and she rarely saw her mother. This was a big blow to her. She always felt that it was her fault that they divorced, and she always felt that she was not good enough that her father always scolded her. Although she is now a high-ranking president, but the lack of confidence in my bones can never be changed. This caused her to always have wild thoughts, and she was always afraid that Jiang Cheng would suddenly leave her one day. The more she liked him, the more afraid she was. But shouldn't the relationship between husband and wife be like this? It should be mutual trust, understanding, tolerance, and support. The more Yi Qingjiu thought about it, the more guilty he felt. Jiang Cheng took her hand and said sincerely, Wife, believe me, I really didn't give her any cups. I don't have any thoughts about her at all. I only like you from the beginning to the end. To be honest, he didn't expect Zaimenk to suddenly say that. Now he is also very worried about this matter, whether it will make his wife feel uncomfortable. Until now, he was still wondering whether he would be angry. The more he talked, the more guilty Yi Qingjiu felt. She lowered her head, her pair of auspicious eyes were filled with tears. The light was rippling, and it seemed as if the tears would fall out if touched lightly. It's my problem, I shouldn't have distrusted you. I shouldn't have been so suspicious. Jiang Cheng gently hugged her and said, Wife, I understand everything. I have my own problems. I will be more careful to take care of you in the future. Yi Qingjiu leaned in his arms. She was now absolutely certain that this man was her only support in this life. By the way, wife, I saw you didn't eat much just now. Are you hungry? Do you want to eat something before going back? She was indeed hungry, and her stomach was already rumbling. Yi Qingjiu rubbed his chest and said, I want to eat at a food stall. Her voice is soft, sticky, and a little nasal, which sounds very pleasant. Jiang Cheng felt like something was being tickled at the tip of his heart. Master, go to the food stall in Z Alley. Okay, the food at the Nijia food stall is delicious, but it's a bit expensive and I can't afford it. The chef smiled. Looking at their loving appearance, I suddenly thought of my wife. Just now, the two had a big fight. He was driving a sports car outside and sometimes couldn't answer his wife's call. Because of this, the two people had a big argument. He thinks his wife is too suspicious, and his wife thinks he is too cold and wonders if he has someone else outside. Now looking at the young couple behind him, it was as if he saw the true nature of him and his wife, and he felt indescribable envy in his heart. He picked up the phone and said, "Hello, honey, I'm passing by Z University right now. There are a few food stalls behind the school district that have delicious food. Do you want me to bring you some? Eat it yourself, you don't love me anymore. You're arguing with me, I don't want to eat it." The wife was obviously still angry. "How can I eat without you? Be good and stop making trouble. How about your husband bring you a portion of spicy crayfish?" The wife hesitated for a moment and said, "Forget it. A small bowl of ma zyro costs more than 100 yuan. It's too expensive. It's not easy for you to make money driving a taxi. It's okay. If you want to eat, just eat. I drive a taxi to make your life better. If you can't even have a portion of ma zyro, then I've come for nothing." "Husband," the voice on the phone trembled a little. Okay, husband will buy it for you right away." The taxi driver hung up the phone with a happy smile on his face. Jiang Cheng looked at him and couldn't help laughing. "Master, did you have a fight with your wife?" The driver shook his head, looking a bit amused and helpless. "No, it wasn't a quarrel, it was a crusade. It was mainly because she scolded me a lot and I corrected her a little, and she got angry and cried at home. I was quite angry just now, but when I saw you two, I suddenly felt less angry. I even remembered how good my wife is. She has had a hard time, too. When we were young, we were like you, understanding and tolerating each other. But over time, I don't know how our lives became like this." At this point, the taxi driver sighed and glanced at the rearview mirror. The two of them were holding hands, and to be honest, I was really envious. When they arrived at the place, Jiang Cheng paid the money and took Yi Qingjiu out of the car. Uncle Liu from the food stall smiled when he saw Jiang Cheng. "Chengzi is here. Didn't you bring your child today? Those two kids are so cute and polite. They are loved by everyone. No wonder Uncle Liu cares about them." The taxi driver stopped the car, got out, and shouted to Uncle Liu, "Boss, give me some spicy noodles." "Okay, large or small?" "The large portion is 150 yuan, and the small portion is 100 yuan. The taxi driver hesitated and said, "Just give me a small portion for my wife. A small portion is enough for my daughter-in-law. 50 yuan is enough to buy a bag of rice. After all, our family is not well off. Every bit of savings counts." Chapter 157. One wave has not yet subsided, another wave has risen. After saying that, the taxi driver took out a water cup and said, "Boss, give me another glass of water." "Oh, the hot water just ran out. There's no water now. I'll get you a bottle of drink." It was already this late, and Uncle Liu was about to close the store, so the hot water in the store had been almost used up. When the driver heard this, he shook his head and said, forget it. I don't like drinking beverages." The drink cost 3 yuan again, and he was reluctant to spend it. When Uncle Liu saw that he didn't want the drink, he turned and went into the kitchen to cook. Jiang Cheng saw that the driver was wearing shabby clothes and probably couldn't bear to part with them. He quietly entered the kitchen and said to Uncle Liu, who was cooking, "Uncle Liu, make a large portion for the driver and charge for a small portion. I'll make up the difference for you." Old Uncle Liu glanced at him and said, "You kid, after all these years, you are still so kind. It's not easy for everyone. I can't help him with anything else. If he asks, you can just say that business is slow today and there are a lot of leftovers. Just install them for him." "Okay," Uncle Liu looked at him and smiled. After that, Jiang Cheng took out 2 more bottles of water and handed one to the driver. "Come on, it's fate that we met today. I'll buy you a bottle of water." The driver was stunned for a moment. To be honest, this was the first time in his life that a customer bought him water. He couldn't help but feel touched. "Thank you." Jiang Cheng unscrewed the bottle of water in his own bottle. "Well, what's there to thank me for? If you don't mind, you can sit with us for a while. Wait for your ma Zio to come up and then you can go," Jiang Cheng said politely. It's okay. You two just sit down and I won't disturb you. I just heard from the boss that you have a child. Isn't it easy to spend 2 hours alone together?" The driver was a sensible man. He didn't want to disturb them. "I'd better go play a game in the car." After saying that, he got in the car with a smile. After a while, the boss brought out 2 servings of ma zio, placed one in front of Yi Qing's table, and packed the other in a bag and gave it to the taxi driver. This portion was obviously much larger than the small portion. He frowned and said, "Boss, you put it in the wrong place. I want a small portion." Old Liu looked at him with a smile and said, as Jiang Cheng had instructed, "There are not many people here today, and this thing can't be stored. I packed more for you. It would be a waste to keep it, and it will break again tomorrow." When the taxi driver heard about this kind of good thing, he thanked him repeatedly. "Thank you, boss. You are so kind. I will come to your house next time." Old Liu waved his hand and said, "Don't thank me. Let's go. It won't taste good if it gets cold. I originally thought that I would just buy a small portion for my wife to satisfy her, but I didn't expect that I would buy so much. I can buy a bottle of erguatu later and have a couple of drinks with my wife. This life is so beautiful." "Well, see you later," said the driver, and happily set off on his way. When Uncle Liu saw that everyone had left, he walked over to Jiang Cheng's table and said, "I'll listen to you. A big portion." "Thank you, Uncle Liu," Jiang Cheng smiled. Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng and asked, "Did you buy it?" Jiang Cheng nodded and said, "Yes, it's not just a few dollars. In exchange for the happiness of a couple, isn't it worth it?" Yi Qingjiu looked at him with a hint of smile in her eyes. She didn't expect that Jiang Cheng's feelings were so delicate. "You did a great job," she praised. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "I learned this from Mr. Yi. Didn't Mr. Yi secretly give money to his employee's brother to go to college?" "Okay, this Zhang Bin. He's just chatting nonsense instead of working properly for a day." Jiang Cheng couldn't help laughing at her sharp tongue but kind heart. He touched Yi Qingjiu's head and said, "Eat quickly. The 2 babies are still at home." What? The next morning, Du Yuan bought a lot of health products and also took out a painting that he had collected some time ago and took them to his grandfather's house. He remembered the agreement with Zai Menk that as long as he defeated Jiang Cheng, he could be with the goddess. Even though Du Yuan is not capable, it doesn't mean that his family members are not capable either. You have to know that my grandfather Du Changming has a prominent position and can get whatever he wants. It is thanks to him that the Du family has become as prosperous as it is today. Du Changming likes calligraphy and painting very much. Du Yuan knows this very well. As soon as he entered the door, he rushed to the study. Seeing Grandpa looking at the scroll with a magnifying glass, he called out with a smile, "Grandpa." Du Changming put down the magnifying glass in his hand and looked at Du Yuan. "Why are you here today?" "Grandpa, I miss you so much that I brought a painting here for you to see." After saying that, Du Yuan threw the calligraphy and painting on the desk. "Grandpa, look, this is the painting of Welcoming the Spring by Cheng Shifa. It's not easy to find. I asked someone to find it, and it took me half a year to get this painting." The picture of Welcoming the Spring shows a big, fat pig with a girl sitting on its back, holding flowers and smiling to welcome the coming of the new year. The girl has a beautiful face. Her expression is both focused and delicate, and her face is full of happiness and peace. Mr. Chen Shifa skillfully placed the pig of the year of the pig in the picture just right, and with the addition of the winter jasmine in the girl's hands, he vividly depicted the theme he wanted to express. It is no exaggeration to say that this painting is the quintessence of Chinese culture. Hearing about the painting of Welcoming Spring, Du Changming put on his reading glasses and admired it himself. A hand was groping back and forth on the calligraphy and painting, and his expression gradually became excited. "Really, it's true." He took his reading glasses and looked at his grandson Du Yuan with excitement. It was not easy to get him here. Du Yuan chuckled. "As long as Grandpa likes it, I will do my best to help him no matter how difficult it is." Du Changming laughed. "I see you have no pocket money again, so Grandpa wants money, right?" How could Du Changming not understand Du Yuan's character? This kid was extravagant and not at all steady like his father, but he was sweet talker, and he would come to cheer him up whenever he had time, which made Du Changming very happy. Therefore, among his 2 grandsons, Du Changming liked him the most. "Grandpa, to tell you the truth, I did encounter some difficulties." Du Yuan looked embarrassed. "Tell me, what's the difficulty?" "Grandpa, to tell you the truth, I had already found a girlfriend. I liked that girl very much and even met her parents. But in the end, that girl was snatched away by someone else." Du Yuan lowered his head, looking like a good grandson. Du Changming sat on the chair, his eyebrows drooping. "What's the point of having a girl like this? It takes 2 to tango when it comes to love. Besides, you are so old, can't you handle this matter yourself?" When Du Yuan heard this, he hurriedly added fuel to the fire. "Grandpa, that's fine, but this kid is deliberately making things difficult for me. Didn't you give me money to open a chain of foot bath centers some time ago? It was this kid who caused me to lose all my money. In fact, he had no intention of opening a hot pot restaurant. He took the money and Sue to the casino that day, thinking he could win. But Yunki was not good and he lost everything in one go. Now, in order to attract hatred, this matter is also blamed on Jiang Cheng. Sure enough, Du Changming got a little angry after hearing this. How could there be such a thing? What does he do? Yao Chen, do you know that the boss is dead? Now this guy has taken over. Du Yuan did not dare to say anything to Tang Exing. After all, Tang Exing's influence was too great, and he was afraid that his grandfather would find it troublesome and reject him directly. After listening to Du Yuan's words, Du Changming fell into deep thought. Taking over Yao Chen was almost bankrupt. Taking it over at this time, could it be that he had set his eyes on Niku-80, which Yao Chen had bought some time ago? But Niku-I Dai is also a pit. What does this guy want to do with Yao Chen? What's his name? Du Changming asked in a serious tone. Call Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng. Du Changming narrowed his eyes. Why did the name sound so familiar? It seemed that this was the charity ambassador who was just selected some time ago. What is your relationship? Du Changming asked. Grandpa, he is my classmate. Your classmate? Du Changming was a little surprised that a young man in his early 20s had such courage to take over the mess of Yao Chen. He is also the city's charity ambassador. It seems that my grandson really can't deal with this kind of person. He thought for a moment. I know about this, I will keep an eye on it. This has been made very clear. Grandpa will take care of the aftermath for you. Hearing this, Du Yuan's face was almost full of smiles. Thank you, Grandpa, you still love me. Du Changming stood up with his hands behind his back. I have to teach him a lesson. Bullying someone from my Du family is courting death. That's right, Grandpa, you have to teach him a lesson. Du Yuan nodded repeatedly. Now that he has his grandfather as a protective umbrella, Du Yuan is not afraid of not being able to bring down Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng is a company on the verge of bankruptcy, and Du's family can crush it like crushing an ant. Jiang Cheng has almost sorted out Yao Chen's information and the project. The top priority right now is to meet with a few major clients immediately and get the funds moving quickly. He handed the matter over to Sun Ming. 2 hours later, Sun Ming hurried into his office. What's wrong? Jiang Cheng asked with concern when he saw how anxious he was. Boss Jiang, everyone avoids me when they hear that I'm from Yao Chen. Jiang Cheng frowned. How could this happen? Sun Ming shook his head. I don't know either. How could this happen? What went wrong? I'm afraid there's something wrong there again. He thought for a moment and said, how about this, you take me there? I'll go there myself. Even if I don't want to do it for us, you still have to explain everything. Sun Ming nodded. Okay, then let's go to Shenghua Entertainment first. After all, they have a lot of entertainment advertisements right now, and the projects are pretty good. If we can get their advertisements, the effect will be the best. Jiang Cheng nodded. Okay. Shenghua Entertainment is a company specializing in entertainment. It has countless artists, including more than a dozen top-tier stars. It is the leading entertainment company. The two of them drove all the way to the gate of Shenghua Entertainment Company. Sun Ming raised his chin towards Jiang Cheng and said, come on, let's go in. Jiang Cheng nodded. Okay. The two people got out of the car and walked straight into the gate of Shenghua Entertainment. Chapter 158. Yi Qingjiu secretly learns how to make cakes. After entering Shenghua Entertainment, Sun Ming took Jiang Cheng to the 3rd floor. Secretary Liu saw the two people and walked over with a helpless look on his face. Boss Sun, why are you here again? Secretary Liu, please tell Boss Yang that our new chairman of Yao Chen, Jiang Cheng, is here and wants to meet her. Mr. Yang had reminded us early in the morning today that we should not meet anyone from Yao Chen. But because of face, I can't really say I won't see you. Secretary Liu looked at the two men in embarrassment. Our boss is not here. Not here, Jiang Cheng smiled. If she's not here, then we'll just wait here for her to get off work. After saying that, Jiang Cheng pulled Sun Ming to sit down in the hall. This made Secretary Liu very anxious. If they don't leave, Boss Yang won't be able to leave work. She gritted her teeth and said, then you just wait. After saying that, he turned around and sneaked into Boss Yang's office. Boss, Mr. Jiang from Yao Chen is here. He said you didn't want to see him, so he sat outside and waited for you. Even though Boss Yang is only in his 30s, he has seen all kinds of storms. She curled the corners of her lips and said, then let them wait. Okay, Secretary Liu agreed and stepped out. Seeing Secretary Liu coming out of the office, Jiang Cheng stood up and walked towards her. Of course, he would not force his way in. After all, he still had some gentlemanly manners. Please tell Boss Yang that if she agrees to meet me, I can make one of your artists famous. Just based on the current popularity of Duoluo, any supporting role can make a newly debuted artist famous. Hearing this, Secretary Liu looked at him in confusion. Isn't Duoluo from Tangsing? Some time ago, Boss Yang had been wanting to push his own artists into the Duoluo crew, but unfortunately, the crew only used their own artists and even organized a variety show for comprehensive role selection. After thinking about it, I decided to grit my teeth and give up. My own artists can act in other dramas, but it would be embarrassing for them to participate in casting for other variety shows, especially a national casting. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, Duoluo is from Tangsing, but Yaochen is also from Tangsing. Besides, I have the final say on the Duoluo crew. Sun Ming had just suffered a setback and was already very dissatisfied. He finally got the chance. She said sarcastically, Our CEO Jiang is CEO Yi's husband. How come your entertainment company is so out of touch with the news? Secretary Liu looked at Jiang Cheng hesitantly and insisted, But our boss Yang is really not here. Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile and said in a leisurely tone, Okay, go and report. This isn't the way to appease a fool. Secretary Liu thought about it. After all, the condition of Duoluo giving him a role was very tempting. Then wait a minute. As soon as Secretary Liu left, Sun Ming looked puzzled and said, If you give her the role of Duoluo and the negotiation fails, we will suffer a great loss. Jiang Cheng smiled slightly. Animals are also characters. Do you think I'm really stupid? Hearing this, Sun Ming laughed. Who is Boss Yang? How could she let her own artists play animals? Wouldn't that be a slap in her face? Sure enough, Jiang Cheng's brain works quite quickly. Here, Secretary Liu ran into Boss Yang's office. What happened again? Boss Yang couldn't help complaining when he saw Secretary Liu looking anxious. Boss, Mr. Jiang said that if you just meet him, he can let our artist play the role of Duoluo. Boss Yang slapped the table and sat up. Duoluo. That was the drama she had always dreamed of. Yes, Duoluo, Secretary Liu nodded. What is his relationship with Mr. Yi? Asked Boss Yang. They say husband and wife. Hearing this, Boss Yang fell into deep thought. It seemed that what this man said was true, and Yi Qingjiu did seem to be married. Although Mr. Du has already informed the insiders, I just want to meet him once and I won't agree to any of his conditions. If I can get a different role back, it won't be a loss. After all, this drama became popular before it was even filmed and has a bright future. Even a small role has the potential to make a newcomer famous. Boss Yang has always been a smart person. Otherwise, she wouldn't have so many top stars in her hands. Okay, let him in. After getting Boss Yang's permission, Secretary Liu breathed a sigh of relief. Okay, boss. She hurried out and said to the two of them, My boss is willing to see you too. Okay. Jiang Cheng nodded and followed Secretary Liu into Boss Yang's office. Hello, Boss Yang. Jiang Cheng looked at Boss Yang with a smile. Mr. Jiang, what brings you to Shenghua? Boss Yang clasped his hands and smiled very politely. Of course there is. I don't understand why you are unwilling to give the advertisement to Yaochen, Jiang Cheng said frankly. Mr. Jiang, please don't make it difficult for me. This is naturally hard to say. Boss Yang smiled with curved eyebrows and looked very charming. The protagonists of Duoluo have been selected so far, but the second male and female roles are still negotiable. Jiang Cheng sat down across from her desk. The second male lead and the second female lead, these are two different roles, and maybe they can make both of them famous. Boss Yang is somewhat tempted. Well, let me tell you the truth. It's not that we don't want to cooperate with Yaochen, but our superiors have given us a heads up, so we are in a difficult position. Boss Yang told the truth. Up there, Jiang Cheng looked curious. Boss Yang frowned. Well, the people from GD are responsible for controlling these things. If I give it to you, they will ban all our ads, and we will lose a lot of money. It turns out he is GD's man, no wonder. But it seems that Yaochen has never offended anyone from GD. Besides, Jiang Cheng doesn't know anyone from GD, so how can he start? He looked at Boss Yang and said, Boss Yang, can you please reveal the specific name? You just need to give me a name, and I will pick any one of the second male and second female roles. I will never break my promise. Boss Yang wavered again. His name is Li Yang. He is the second in command. I have said everything I need to say. I really don't know anything else. Jiang Cheng nodded and stood up. Okay, Boss Yang, let your people report to the crew tomorrow. After saying that, he turned and left Boss Yang's office. As soon as he got out of the door, Sun Ming panicked. What should we do now? How can we offend GD's people? We don't have much in common with them. Are they going to ban us? A website with no big advertisements, but only small advertisements will have a very poor overall image, as viewers hate watching advertisements anyway. All the advertisements played are small and unknown ones, which will cause great disgust. Jiang Cheng looked at the time, September 30th. He shook his head. Tomorrow is a long holiday. Who knows if Li Yang will go out for vacation or something? You should ask someone about this person's background first. Sun Ming became anxious when he heard this. The 17 days during National Day is the golden period for viewing ratings. How can he support Yao Chen's website on such an important day? It's 11th, are we going to miss it? How is that possible? Jiang Cheng smiled. It seems we have to go back to Tencent Star. If we don't want to give them ads, we can change the exclusive broadcast on Tencent Star to a joint broadcast on the two platforms. Hasn't the live broadcast of Duoluo been broadcast on Star One all the time? It has also attracted enough attention. Now the live broadcast has been changed to be broadcast on two platforms at the same time. It's another long holiday, so Yao Chen has to earn some popularity back. Sun Ming's eyes lit up when he heard him say that. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go back to Tencent right away. Mr. Yi will definitely have no problem with that. What? In 12 days, it will be Jiang Cheng's birthday. Yi Qingjiu contacted the cake maker he ordered early in the morning and spent tens of thousands of yuan learning how to make cakes. I am studying seriously in the training class now. Come on, students, let's cut the cake, the teacher on the stage instructed. Yi Qingjiu took the knife and carefully cut the cake into 2 layers. Then we put the fruit on the middle layer and spread some cream on it, like this. The teacher was a young girl who looked energetic. She demonstrated as she spoke. More than 30 students in the audience were conscientiously imitating their teacher and spreading cream on the cake. Yi Qingjiu is no exception. Okay, now let's put the cake we just cut on top, and then put the cream picture on top like this. Yi Qingjiu carefully picked up the cake that had just been cut and put it on. Because the cakes were just made, they were soft and tender. She grasped lightly with her fair hand and actually left a handprint. She couldn't help but frown and continued to the next step. Apply butter. The white cream smells sweet and delicious. She carefully spread the cream on the cake, then turned the mold and spread it carefully with a knife. This step was not difficult. 10 minutes later, Yi Qingjiu completed this step just like other students. The teacher looked at the cake in front of each person and nodded. Everyone has performed very well. Next, let's start decorating. First, pick up the decorating bag on the table. Then, like I did, place the flower here, rotate your arm slightly like this, and twist it gently. Yi Qingjiu picked up the piping bag and experimented with it in the air a few times before placing it on the cake. She just turned her wrist slightly. Damn it. A flower that is bigger on the left and smaller on the right is placed strangely on the cake. It's so ugly, Yi Qingjiu couldn't help but sigh. No, she had to contact him a few more times and make a cake for Jiang Cheng personally on his birthday. Thinking about it, she picked up the piping bag and continued piping flowers using the same technique. Hiss. Why is this layer bigger on the right and smaller on the left? No, try again. Soon, the cake was covered with crooked pink flowers, which looked ugly no matter how you looked at it. Yi Qingjiu looked at the flowers on the cake and fell into deep thought. Where exactly is the problem? Just as I was thinking about it, the phone rang. It was Si Qingqing calling. She took off her gloves and walked out the door before answering the phone. What's wrong? Si Qingqing covered the phone and whispered, Boss Yi, Brother Jiang is here and Sun Ming is back too. Yi Qingjiu looked nervous. Did you tell me where I went? No, you've been settled there before, so don't tell anyone. I didn't say anything. Okay, I'll be back soon. Yi Qingjiu hung up the phone and returned to the classroom. Chapter 159, Who Says It's Ugly? It's so cute. She walked up to the young teacher and whispered, Teacher, I have something to do right now. Can I come back tomorrow? Okay, then remember to take your cake away. You made it with the dough yourself, so don't waste it, the teacher kindly reminded. Yi Qingjiu took a look at the cake she had made and frowned. Is she really going to take it away? It's so ugly. Don't want to take it away. But after all, it's my own hard work. This is the first time I've made a cake since I was a child, so I think it's really a reflection of my hard work. Or should we take it away? Take it back and let Si Qingqing try the poison first. After all, I made it with great care. It took me a whole morning just to learn how to knead the dough. My hands were burning from rubbing them, and I haven't recovered yet. Well, it's decided, take it back. Thinking of this, Yi Qingjiu took out a box from under the table, put the cake carefully in it, and then carried the cake back to Tencent. Si Qingqing was wandering back and forth in the corridor. When she saw Yi Qingjiu coming back, she hurried to greet him. Mr. Yi, Mr. Jiang has been sitting here for almost an hour. Yi Qingjiu handed the cake in his hand to her and said, "Try it and see how it tastes." Si Qingqing didn't expect that she would be able to eat the cake made by Mr. Yi himself, and she was a little flattered. Sure enough, Ms. Yi is still thinking about herself, so she must work harder. "Okay, Mr. Yi." She bowed deeply to Yi Qingjiu. "Where is Jiang Chenggren?" Yi Qingjiu asked. "Mr. Jiang is in your office," Si Qingqing answered truthfully. "Okay." Yi Qingjiu turned and walked into the office. Jiang Cheng felt a little distressed when he saw her dusty appearance. "Where have you been?" Yi Qingjiu pretended to be casual and said, "Oh, I was delayed because I was chatting with a client for a while." She didn't want to tell Jiang Cheng in advance that she was going to learn how to bake a cake. This is a surprise that cannot be expressed in words. Jiang Cheng poured a glass of water and handed it to her. "By the way, I want to give the broadcasting rights of Duluo Dalu to Yaochen. Now it's November, and I haven't got a big order from Shenghua, so I can only rely on Duluo Dalu to pull the data." Yi Qingjiu took the water cup. Her hands were very white, so the red color in her palms was particularly obvious. "Sure, you can decide on this matter. After all, Yaochen and Tengsing are now one company, so there is no need to divide them so finely. This kind of assistance is a normal operation." "What's wrong with your hand?" Jiang Cheng grabbed her hand and looked at it. Yi Qingjiu quickly pulled his hand back. "It's nothing, maybe I'm lacking vitamins." Jiang Cheng looked distressed. "You are lacking vitamins. Is it because I'm not in the company recently that you haven't eaten lunch properly? It seems that I have to come to supervise you every day at noon in the future." Yi Qingjiu felt a little guilty and wanted to quickly avoid the topic. "Did you come here just to talk about this? You can just give me a call. There's no need to make a special trip." Jiang Cheng looked at her delicate face and couldn't help but smile. "Of course not." Yi Qingjiu blinked. "What else?" "And I miss you." After saying that, he smiled particularly beautifully, his peach blossom eyes sparkling. Unconsciously, Yi Qingjiu's heartbeat slowed down a beat. Not serious. She turned and went to her desk. Yi Qingjiu was wearing a black chiffon skirt today. The delicate chiffon perfectly highlights her perfect figure and makes her waist look particularly slender. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but take a few more glances. Upon closer inspection, he discovered a white object on her waist, the size of her little finger. At first, Jiang Cheng thought it was a pearl decoration. After looking at it a few more times, I felt something was not right. He stopped Yi Qingjiu and touched his waist. Yi Qingjiu was startled by his unexpected action and looked at him with wide eyes. "What are you doing?" Jiang Cheng pulled out his underwear and held it in front of her. "You are so careless that you don't even know there is dirt on your clothes." "Dirty things." Yi Qingjiu looked at the oval whitish object in Jiang Cheng's hand and couldn't help feeling a little nervous. "This is not dirt, this is cream. Why am I so careless? The promised surprise cannot be revealed like this," she said stubbornly. "If it's dirty, throw it away quickly." Yi Qingjiu broke free from Jiang Cheng's arms, his tone a little stiff. Jiang Cheng looked at her face. Yi Qingjiu was used to being a leader. The more nervous she was, the more serious her face looked. Seeing her expression, Jiang Cheng was a little confused. "Wife, why are you so nervous?" Yi Qing stared at him with burning eyes. "I didn't." Jiang Chenggren looked at the thing in his hand and couldn't help but pinch it. As soon as he pinched it, the sticky substance immediately stuck to his hand. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but smell it. Sweet and fragrant this taste. He suddenly laughed. "Wife, did you just eat the cake secretly?" "What?" "She didn't eat it secretly. This is obviously caused by someone accidentally rubbing it onto clothes while making the cake." Jiang Cheng looked at her dazed eyes and suddenly grinned, smiling extremely happily. "Tusk, this girl is always so twisted. What's there to be embarrassed about eating cake? Wife, is it because the client wanted to eat cake, and you had to eat dessert with her for work?" When Yi Qingjiu heard what he said, he felt like he had grabbed a life-saving straw. She nodded, "Yeah. Next time you want to eat it, you can tell your husband. The cakes I make are definitely better than those sold outside. How come I want to eat it again? This guy is really..." She nodded helplessly. "Okay." Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile. "I'll go wash my hands first. This stuff is sticky and feels like it's stuck on your hands. It's really uncomfortable." Seeing Jiang Qingla open the door and walk out, Yi Qingjiu smoothed her skirt and sat on the chair. "Fortunately, I reacted quickly, and it was a false alarm." Si Qingqing took the cake given by Yi Qingjiu, opened it and took a look, although it was a bit ugly. But this is not important. What is important is that Mr. Yi cares about his subordinates. But the cake is a bit big. She definitely can't finish it by herself. In line with the principle of avoiding waste, she cut the cake into pieces and distributed them to several employees with whom she had a good relationship. Several people were busy with work, and the cake looked ugly and unappetizing, so they put it aside and planned to eat it after finishing their work. Jiang Cheng left the president's office and walked towards the bathroom. As he walked, he found that there were white cream cakes on the tables of several people. I always feel like something is wrong. He washed his hands and walked out. He happened to see Si Kinking eating cake at the front desk with his head buried. He walked over curiously and said, "Hey." Si Kinking was startled by his sudden shout. When he looked up, he saw that it was Jiang Cheng, and then he patted his heart. Complained, "Mr. Jiang, what are you doing? You scared me to death. What day is today? Why are everyone eating cake?" "Oops." Mr. Yi has instructed that no one should be told. Si Kinking explained casually. Isn't tomorrow a holiday? To celebrate, we bought a cake. Would you like to try some?" Jiang Cheng hesitated for a moment. It seemed like he hadn't eaten this thing for more than a year, so it might be okay to try it. Jiang Cheng said, "Oh, is that so? Then give me one too." Si Kinking really wanted to slap herself twice. Why was she so rude? "Ha ha ha ha, this cake is really ugly. Why not just forget it?" "It's okay. What matters is the taste. It doesn't matter whether it's ugly or not." Si Kinking, Si Kinking, go to hell. Si Kinking cursed at herself in her heart and awkwardly took out the remaining piece of cake. There is a flower framed on the cake. It looks like a bunch of pink balls no matter how you look at it. She was embarrassed to give it away, so she kept it for herself. Jiang Cheng regretted it when he saw the cake. It was so ugly. But now that it's all coming, there's no point in giving it up. "I'd better take it back." Jiang Cheng laughed and said, "Thank you." After saying that, he carried the cake to Yi Qingjiu's office. Si Kinking looked at his back with a faint despair. She thought that Mr. Yi would never trust her again. Before I had taken a few steps, my cell phone suddenly rang. He took it out and saw that it was his mother. "Hello, Mom," Jiang Cheng said carelessly. My mother's kind voice came from the other end of the phone. "Son, tomorrow is the 11th. Have you and your daughter-in-law considered going out to play?" I haven't thought about it yet," Jiang Cheng answered truthfully. After all, the national tourist attractions are packed every year during the National Day holiday. It is so crowded that it is a torture to go out. Hearing that he was not going out, Jiang's mother was unhappy. "How can you not go out to play? Look, after the National Day, it will be your birthday. Why don't you take this opportunity to take Qingjiu out for a walk? Let's go to NHA Trang. Mom has already asked for it. There are fewer people there, and the environment is especially good." "Birthday? If Mom hadn't told me, I would have forgotten that my birthday is almost here." Jiang Cheng looked down at the ugly piece of cake in his hand and suddenly had a bold guess. So my wife didn't go to meet the client at all. She went to learn how to bake cakes. No wonder her hands are so red. No wonder the cake is so ugly. Si Kinking actually ate it with relish. This silly girl, why not just buy one? She is obviously not good at scripting. Why does she still have to learn these detailed skills? Isn't this just asking for trouble? Jiang Cheng couldn't help but feel tears in his eyes. Mother Jiang got anxious after hearing no response for a long time. "Hey, Mom is talking to you. Do you hear me?" Jiang Cheng came back to his senses. "Oh, I heard it, Mom. Don't say you're only 23 this year. Even if you're 43, you'll always be a child to me. Listen to me and take the whole family to NHA Trang. Qingjiu is tired from work, so let her relax." "Got it, Mom. I'll buy the ticket in a minute." "Oh, this is my good son. Mom, I won't talk to you for now. I have something else to do." After saying that, he hung up the phone. "Now look down at the cake in your hand. Who said it's ugly? It's so beautiful, this little pink ball. How cute is it?" Thinking of this, Jiang Cheng took a photo of the cake as a souvenir. After taking the photo, he brought it into the office like a treasure. He had to praise this cake very much because it was made with the love of his silly wife. Chapter 160, Let's Go. Yi Qingjiu was sitting at the table, browsing on his phone, when he heard the door open. Then I saw Jiang Cheng walking in with a piece of cake. In an instant, her eyelids twitched. "I feel terrible. It is a white cream cake with a pink, oval ball on it." Seeing her staring blankly at the cake in his hand, Jiang Cheng hurriedly explained. "Oh, I just saw Si Kinking eating cake, and I couldn't help but ask for a piece." "Damn Si Kinking. Let her work overtime. Add 5 days. No extra month. This cake is a bit ugly." She tried hard to suppress her embarrassment. "I spent a whole day just to learn how to make it. I spent the whole morning just kneading the dough. Who could have known that I would end up with such an ugly thing?" "Ugly? What's ugly about it, wife? Haven't you seen those Michelin cakes? They are all designed like this. This is called avant-garde. Most people can't appreciate it. He doesn't think it's ugly. Yi Qingjiu thought about it and felt that Michelin's desserts did seem to be very unique in shape, but they were indeed exquisite. Fortunately, Jiang Cheng didn't mind. Just don't mind. She smiled awkwardly. Jiang Cheng picked up the fork and took a bite. Well, it tastes pretty good, very delicate, and the fruit inside is very fresh. His eyes lit up, and he came over with an overjoyed look. "It's good, wife, come here, have a bite. It tastes really good, so delicious. This is the first time in my life that I have eaten such a delicious cake." Seeing how he was enjoying the food, Yi Qingju couldn't help but feel secretly happy. "Really?" Jiang Cheng nodded seriously. "Really? It's delicious. Come on, try it." Yi Qingju was skeptical and took a bite of the cake he handed over. After tasting it carefully, it wasn't as delicious as he said. And the sugar is obviously less. It doesn't seem very sweet. She frowned. "It's a little faded." "Light, wife, sugar-free foods are popular now. Lighter foods are better. Lighter foods are healthier. You just don't understand and don't know how to enjoy them." After saying that, he stuffed a piece into his mouth. It's delicious. If you don't eat it, leave it for me. I see there are still several pieces. After I finish eating, I will go out and get them all." Seeing him eating so happily, Yi Qingju couldn't help but smile and said stubbornly, "You are the only one who is greedy." Jiang Cheng looked unconvinced. "What do you mean I am greedy? Didn't you see that when Si Qingqing was eating, her eyes lit up? She was even greedier." In fact, he said this just to make his wife happy. She worked hard to sit for so long, she should praise herself. When Yi Qingju heard that Si Qingqing also liked the cake he made, the smile on his face deepened. "Does she think it's delicious too?" "Of course not. If I hadn't been so persistent in asking for it, they wouldn't have given it to me." Jiang Cheng stuffed another piece of cake into his mouth. Yi Qingju was so happy. "It seems that I can do it. If I practice for a few more days, I will definitely be able to do better. I will try to make a perfect cake on Jiang Cheng's birthday." Jiang Cheng felt warm in his heart when he saw her happy face. "Oh, by the way, my dear, the holiday is coming soon. How about our family of 4 go out and relax?" After all, he had never taken his family out for a trip before, and his mother told him that there were indeed not many people in Nha Trang, and the scenery was beautiful. Let's go out and travel." Yi Qingjiu hesitated. "When I go traveling, I can't attend training classes by myself, so how can I learn to bake cakes?" "Wife, don't hesitate. The children haven't been out yet. Let's take advantage of the holiday and travel together to relax." Speaking of children, Yi Qingjiu's heart was completely broken. Yes, she had been working so hard in the past few years and seemed to have never taken her children on a trip. Thinking of this, she felt a little guilty. Besides, Jiang Cheng's birthday was on the 12th, and there were still 12 days left. If she came back and studied hard, she should still have time. Thinking of this, she nodded. "Okay, I promise you. Then I'll book the ticket now. How about it for tomorrow?" Jiang Cheng was already impatient to receive him. "It's so wonderful to travel with my wife and children, to enjoy the sunshine, beaches, delicious food, and exotic customs." To be honest, Yi Qingjiu was also looking forward to this trip as a family of 4. She curled her lips. "Okay." Jiang Cheng took out his mobile phone and couldn't wait to open the app to check tomorrow's flights to Yazhuang. It just so happens that there are still some left at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. A plane ticket costs 2,000 yuan, and a child ticket is 1,500 yuan. He decisively bought tickets for 2 adults and 2 children. "Wife, why don't we go pick up the kids now, go home early to eat, and buy some things, like sun protective clothing and sunscreen? We also need to buy the kids special bowls and bibs for eating out. It would be best if we could buy 2 new thermos cups." Seeing Jiang Cheng talking nonstop, Yi Qingju couldn't help but laugh. "I didn't expect you to be so attentive." Jiang Cheng looked very proud. "No, Daddy, I'm a professional." As the two were talking, they received a message from Sun Ming. When I clicked on it, I saw a profile about Li Yang. Li Yang was born in 1989, male, Han nationality, the second in command of GD, and there was also a photo. The person in the photo is wearing glasses and looks a bit dull. His wife, Wang Meng, is the vice president of Du Construction Group. Jiang Cheng clicked on her photo. She had high cheekbones and looked a little mean. The child Li Zionan studies at Sichuan City No. 2 Middle School. When I clicked on the photo, I saw it was a boy looking chubby. At the bottom, there was a line of words saying that the family of 3 would take the 9 o'clock flight tomorrow morning to Yugyu Yazhuang. "Good job. The one traveling with me. This is the opportunity I've been waiting for. And now it's here, I must seize the opportunity to ask him why he wants to ban Yaochen's video website. and what grudge he has against me. He looked at Yi Qingjiu and said, "Wife, let's go, it's getting late. Let's go pick up the baby first." Yi Qingjiu looked at his watch and said, "Okay, let's go." The two of them held hands and went to the underground garage, got in the car, and headed towards the Montleys kindergarten. When they arrived at the kindergarten, two people stood at the door. When the school bell rang, they saw a group of children coming out under the leadership of the teacher. Inside were Nuo and Yan Yan holding hands. Nuo and Yan Yan were extremely excited when they saw Jiang Cheng outside the door. He ran out of the school with his arms open. Jiang Cheng looked at the babies flying out like two butterflies and hurriedly squatted down and picked up the two children. "Do you miss Dad?" "I thought about it, Tilda. I really want to," the two babies said in a rush. "Good kids, Dad misses you too," Jiang Cheng said as he was about to carry them back to the car. "My dears, Daddy said he would take us on a trip tomorrow. Do you want to go?" Yi Qingjiu asked with a faint smile on her face. You can see that she is very happy now. "I want to go," Yan Yan spoke first. "That's great. Nuo wants to go too. All the kids in our class have gone on trips, but Yan Yan and I haven't been out yet." The two kids looked a little naive, but you could see they were both very excited. This made Jiang Cheng feel somewhat guilty, as he came too late. "Okay, let's set off tomorrow. Dad, can I bring my Rubik's Cube?" Yan Yan looked at him seriously. "Sure." Yan Yan is a Rubik's Cube fan and is very talented in this area. How could Jiang Cheng not let him guide him? "Dad, can I bring my piano?" Jiang Cheng looked at Nuo, who was looking forward to it. "Baby, it's a little difficult to bring the piano. It's too big. We're going to a very far place and we can't not check it in." Nuo looked at Jiang Cheng disappointedly. "Okay then, Tilda. After you go there, if Nuo wants to play the piano, Daddy will definitely help you find a piano, okay?" Jiang Cheng admitted that he was really watching his daughter. As long as she wanted to play the guitar, he could just buy it when they got there. Besides, they had gone to so many delicious foods and interesting places. The girl wouldn't have had enough time to play, and she would probably have forgotten about it long ago. "Why don't we go buy some things first? That way it will be more convenient. Otherwise, we will have to come out again when we get back," Yi Qingjiu suggested. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "Sure enough, my wife is the smartest. Let's go." As they talked, the family of four got into the car and headed towards a large shopping mall near their home. After entering the mall, Jiang Cheng found a stroller and put the two babies in it. He followed the signs to the children's area and bought two sun hats, baby sunscreen, and two sun protective clothes for the two babies. Also bought a beach volleyball. Yi Qingjiu looked at him and smiled. "Can't we buy the volleyball ball after we go?" Jiang Cheng looked at him seriously. "You don't understand. Things in scenic spots are expensive, not to mention that many of them are of poor quality. There are excessive formaldehyde and 3-no products. Those things are not good for children. I would rather go through the trouble of carrying them myself than harm the children's bodies." Yi Qingjiu looked at him, somewhat surprised. He actually knew so much. Jiang Cheng wanted to laugh at her silly expression. He touched her head and said, "You have been treated with honor since you were a child. Of course you don't know the ins and outs of this." The next morning, the family of four got up very early to catch the flight. Jiang Cheng prepared breakfast early and secretly braised 4 chicken legs and 4 eggs. Fearing that they would not be allowed on the plane, he quietly put them in the space. "I was worried that my two babies would be hungry on the plane. To be honest, the food on the plane smelled good but tasted bad, and they couldn't eat it anyway. The cherries in the space have grown wildly again. And the pinealia that I picked from the creek when I went to Yi Qingjiu's grandmother's house has also grown thick and long, and has become an old medicinal herb." Jiang Cheng looked surprised. It had only been a month and he had grown into this. "It looks like it's been a year longer. Besides, it takes 5 hours to fly from Sichuan City to Yue State, so you will definitely get hungry on the way." The two babies knew they were going on a long journey today, so they were particularly cooperative and ate some cakes and vegetable porridge obediently. There was only Yi Qing wine. "I don't know why, but I had a poor appetite and couldn't eat anything. I only ate half a bowl." At 7 o'clock, Suji appeared at the door of Jiang Cheng's villa on time. Last night, Jiang Cheng said that he was going out for a trip. As a buddy, Suji was determined to give them a ride no matter what. Although he didn't have a car, he still had a driver's license. Driving someone is not a problem. Jiang Cheng saw Suji coming, drove out the Alpha, handed the key to Suji and said, "Excuse me." Suji rubbed his head and said, "Brother Cheng, I feel embarrassed to lend you my car because of what you said. It's the holiday now and I want to take my parents out for some fun." Chapter 161, Rescue at the Airport. Jiang Cheng thought for a moment and said, "Brother, wait a minute, I'll tell your sister-in-law. Although she will definitely agree, it's better for me to tell her." A moment later, Aunt Zhang came out dragging 4 boxes of different sizes. Yi Qingjiu followed behind with the 2 babies. She was wearing a loose white suspender skirt and a big sun hat, and looked lazy, like a naive girl. Su Ji looked at Yi Qingjiu and couldn't help but stare in amazement. Is this person really Mr. Yi? This is cardcaptor Sakura. Jiang Cheng patted his head and said, "What are you looking at?" After being slapped like this, Su Ji finally reacted and said with a smile, "Ms. Yi looks really beautiful today. This is the first time I've seen Ms. Yi look so beautiful." Jiang Cheng glared at him. "Can you speak? My wife, is she not beautiful every day?" Yes, Ms. Yi is the most beautiful every day." Su Ji smiled. "Okay, let's drive." Jiang Cheng opened the trunk and put the 4 boxes in it. Yi Qingjiu got into the car with the 2 babies. Jiang Cheng closed the trunk door and got in the car. After arriving at the airport, we exchanged our boarding passes, and the family of 4 boarded the plane. Because it was first class, there were only 2 seats in a row, so 2 people, each with a baby, sat separately. Jiang Cheng brought Niunuo, and Yi Qingjiu brought Yanyan. Originally, Jiang Cheng was worried that the 2 babies would feel uncomfortable due to the airflow and would cry. Unexpectedly, the 2 babies fell asleep as soon as they got on the plane. They are simply angel babies. Yi Qingjiu read the magazine for a while and began to feel sleepy. Jiang Cheng estimated that Yi Qingjiu might be hungry, so he got up and went to the bathroom. Then he entered the space and took out the chicken legs and boiled eggs. Then he returned to his seat, and sure enough, after more than 10 minutes, Yi Qingjiu opened his eyes. Yes, she was really hungry, and her stomach was rumbling. She looked at the watch, and it seemed that it was not time for dinner yet. She regretted it a little. If she had known earlier, she would have eaten half a bowl of porridge at home. Yi Qingjiu pressed the service button, and the beautiful stewardess immediately came over and squatted beside her. "Hello, ma'am. How can I help you?" "I want a steak and a cup of black tea." "Okay, ma'am." The stewardess smiled and left. Jiang Cheng originally wanted to take out the chicken leg and give it to his wife, but when he heard about steak, it seemed that his chicken leg was a little embarrassing to give out. He glanced at Yi Qingjiu hesitantly. Seeing him looking at her, Yi Qingjiu asked curiously, "What's wrong?" Jiang Cheng did not hide it. "Wife, I secretly brought you chicken legs and braised eggs." Chicken drumsticks and braised eggs. It was just a plain ride, and he actually brought food for himself. So thoughtful. Yi Qingjiu felt warm in his heart. "Then give it to me." Jiang Cheng said seriously, "Steak is definitely much more delicious than chicken legs. You should eat steak." Yi Qingjiu stared at him and said, "I want to eat chicken legs." Her husband is a great chef. No matter how delicious the steak is, it can never compare to Jiang Cheng's cooking skills. Hearing Yi Qingjiu's request, Jiang Cheng handed her the chicken leg. After a while, the flight attendant brought the steak. As expected, it was first class and the steak was served so quickly. The stewardess placed the steak and black tea on the small tray of Yi Qingjiu and said with a smile, "Ma'am, your steak is ready." Yi Qingjiu nodded, "Thank you." As soon as the flight attendant left, Yi Qingjiu took out the lunch box that Jiang Cheng had just given her and opened it. A rich aroma wafted into my nose. There were 4 chicken legs, probably one for each person. She decisively picked up a chicken leg and took a bite. "This taste is simply too delicious." Niu and Yanyan were sleeping, and they suddenly woke up when they smelled the chicken legs. Niu sniffed it carefully and said, "Daddy, it smells so good." Yanyan looked at Yi Qingjiu eagerly. "Mom, how could you eat secretly, Tilda?" Yi Qingjiu was a little embarrassed. "Baby, how can mommy be cheating on you? It's obviously you who didn't wake up." After saying that, he took out a chicken leg from the lunch box and handed it to him. Yanyan was very happy and picked up the chicken leg and started eating it. When Niu took a look, he found that his seatbelt was not there, so he hurriedly unbuckled his seatbelt. Jiang Cheng quickly held her down. "Don't worry, we have everything. Yi Qingjiu handed over the lunch box, and Jiang Cheng took out a chicken leg from it and gave it to Niu. "Here, this is yours." Niu took the chicken leg and took a bite impatiently, with satisfaction written all over her young face. "It's delicious, Tilda." The smell of the chicken drumsticks was so strong that people in the rows behind could also smell it. The closer you are to it, the more fragrant it smells. Li Zionen was sitting next to Li Yang and was drooling at the sudden aroma. "Dad, what is this? It smells so good." Li Yang held his eyes. To be honest, he was also very greedy. It should be the food on the plane. "I want one too." Li Zionin swallowed his saliva, his eyes full of desire, and it was obvious that he really wanted to eat it. Li Yang decisively pressed the service button. When the stewardess saw the service button light up, she immediately came over and said, "Hello, sir. Is there anything you can do for me?" Li Yang and Jiang Cheng were seated one row apart, also in first class. He glanced at the front row, but unfortunately the first-class seats were so high that he couldn't see anyone at all. "Please give me 2 meals like the previous one." "Yes, sir," the stewardess agreed. 10 minutes later, the flight attendant brought 2 steaks and 2 cups of black tea and placed them on the tables of Li Yang and Li Zionin, respectively. "Please enjoy your meal, sir." After saying that, she turned around and left gracefully. As soon as the flight attendant left, Li Zionin lowered his head and sniffed the steak on the plate, frowning and looking at Li Yang next to him. "Dad, this is not it." "How is that possible? I want the same one." After Li Yang finished speaking, he lowered his head and sniffed, and found something was really wrong. It was almost coming, so he simply cut a piece and put it in his mouth. It was really disgusting. Actually, steak itself is not a particularly delicious species, but it can't be said to be bad. After all, it's first-class stuff, so it can't be particularly bad. But compared to the rich fragrance in the air, it was really bad. It was just garbage and tasted like chewing wax. "This is strange." He threw down his fork and said to himself, "Dad, why don't you go and ask?" Li Zionin suggested. Hearing this, Li Yang glared at him and said, "Nonsense. Your dad is over 30 years old and you go to ask others what they eat. This is too embarrassing." Seeing that his father was unhappy, Li Zionin curled his lips and said, "Okay, if you don't go, I will." Then he unbuckled his seat belt. Although Li Zionin is in elementary school, he is still a child after all. Li Yang is a little worried about seeing him walking around like this, in case he encounters air currents or something. Li Yang glared at him and said, "Okay, I'll go to the bathroom and take a look while I'm at it." After that, he unbuckled his seat belt and stood up. In these 10 minutes or so, the family of 4 had finished eating the chicken legs, and Niu was still holding half a boiled egg in his hand. When Li Yang passed by, he saw that except for Yi Qingjiu, who had an untouched steak on his plate, only Niu had an egg with a few bites taken in his hand. The surprise on his face was beyond words. Could this fragrance be from an egg? An egg smells so good. This is unbelievable. He pretended to go to the bathroom and then came out. I happened to meet Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng recognized him immediately. He looked just like in the photo, dull and stupid. Li Yang also recognized Jiang Cheng. After all, his face was so handsome. He is also the image ambassador of Sichuan province and became the chairman of Yaochen at a young age. He is indeed a talent. Unfortunately, his wife repeatedly told him to ban Yaochen, and he had no choice but to obey. It was because he had met a tigress. The 2 men looked at each other quickly, and Li Yang adjusted his glasses and went back as if nothing had happened. Seeing Li Yang coming back, Li Zionin became uneasy. "Dad, what did you eat before?" Li Yang said with a cold face, "Egg." "What, an egg smells so good? Impossible." "Really, I saw it. The little girl was holding half an egg." Li Zionin said without hesitation, "Dad, call the flight attendant. I want to eat eggs." "Okay, shut up now. This isn't embarrassing enough." Li Yang glared at his son angrily. Seeing that his father was angry, Li Nengxiao didn't dare to ask for eggs. "I had no choice but to sit aside with my head down." 4 hours passed quickly, and in a blink of an eye it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the plane landed smoothly at the airport in Vietnam. Jiang Cheng got off the plane carrying the 2 children, and Yi Qingjiu followed him. Ding tilde. Congratulations to the host for completing the mission of taking the babies on a plane. You will be rewarded with 20% of Disneyland shares. Jiang Cheng was so excited. Damn, there was such a good thing. Disney isn't that a children's kingdom? Niu and Yanyan would definitely like it. System, Disneyland is actually a part of the Disney Resort. In addition to the park, the Disney Resort usually also includes theme hotels, Disney towns, and a series of leisure and entertainment facilities. The Disneyland that people often talk about includes many theme parks, and different theme parks have different amusement facilities. So Disney is different from Disneyland. Jiang Cheng. Wow, this means that I not only own shares in the theme park, but also shares in the resort. System, yes, host. Awesome. Jiang Cheng was a little excited. This reward was quite interesting. The family of 4 picked up their luggage and walked out of the terminal door. They saw a group of people gathered not far ahead. It seemed that something had happened. Hurry up and call 120. Does anyone know how much 120 is in Vietnam? Don't be anxious, sister. We are all here to have fun. We just got off the plane and haven't figured things out yet. The speaker was a middle-aged woman in her 40s who kept a very good figure. Oh my God, what should I do? The woman cried out in panic. Someone must be sick up ahead, Yi Qingjiu said softly. Jiang Cheng also clearly heard the woman's voice. He glanced at Yi Qingjiu beside him and said, "Wife, take good care of the child. Wait here for me. I'll go over and take a look." At a time like this, probably no one can stand idly by. Yi Qingjiu nodded, yeah. Jiang Cheng took 2 steps forward and pushed through the crowd, and saw a middle-aged man lying on the ground, who looked to be in his 40s. He had obviously fallen into a coma, his muscles were relaxed, and he seemed to have no reaction at all. Chapter 162, Chinese medicine is so awesome. Jiang Cheng walked up to him and pressed hard on the palm of the middle-aged man's hand. The pain of this acupoint is quite strong, and generally people with mild to moderate coma can feel the pain by pressing it. But the man still kept his eyes closed and showed no reaction. Jiang Cheng touched his breath again. It can be said to be extremely uneven, sometimes strong and sometimes weak, and you can feel that the body is struggling instinctively. Then I opened his eyes and took a look. The eyeballs were fixed, the pupils were dilated, and the brainstem reflexes disappeared. It seems that the vital signs have changed significantly, and the person may die if rescue is not provided. The middle-aged woman who had just spoken was almost going crazy with anxiety. She asked people for the emergency number, but to no avail. She turned around and saw him doing a simple check. She seemed to see hope and almost ran over, staring at Jiang Cheng with a pair of eyes. "Are you a doctor? Please save my husband. He is still young, only in his 40s. Seeing that the situation was not good, Jiang Cheng had already started first aid. He pressed the patient's chest hard at a speed of 30 times per minute. "Is there any medical history?" Jiang Cheng asked while performing cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Yes, it's a cerebral infarction, and it has always been a mild cerebral infarction," the family member answered immediately. Cerebral infarction. Li Yang and his family had just taken out their luggage and saw the blockade in front of them, so they came over to see what was going on. When everyone heard the cerebral infarction, the people around him became nervous and started talking about it. "Oh my God, cerebral infarction, it's a fatal disease. Many cerebral infarction patients fall down and never get up again. Yeah, why did you go out when you have a stroke? And why did you run so far? If something happens to you, it won't be worth it. My grandfather had a cerebral infarction. He suddenly fainted. The ambulance came and took him away. He was already dead when he arrived at the hospital. This disease is very scary. Alas, it's probably useless to save this young man. The conditions are so poor, there's nothing he can do. Even if Hua Chua were still alive, he wouldn't be able to help. Oh, how pitiful. He was only in his 40s with elderly parents and young children to take care of, and he is gone just like that. It's the old sending off the young. Yeah, it's really pitiful." When Li Yang heard that the patient was a cerebral infarction patient, her heart rose to her throat. Her father had this disease and was in a coma, no different from a vegetable. Not only did we find the best doctor in the city, we also hired 3 foreign experts. Not only did we spend no less than $3 million, but there was no effect at all. The middle-aged woman was already nervous to the point of going crazy, and after hearing these words, she collapsed instantly. "My child just went to college this year. We haven't traveled in 10 years. We are both sick from taking care of the family. My children finally went to school, and I decided to take a good trip, but who knew I would encounter something like this?" She yelled, "Stop talking, shut up." Everyone was silent after she yelled at them. Li Yang could especially understand this woman's feelings. If this were his father, he would probably be even more desperate than this woman. After Jiang Cheng finished the first aid, he probed the patient's nose with his hand and felt that the patient's breathing became much more even, but he still didn't wake up. Jiang Cheng frowned. There was only one way to wake him up. That's acupuncture. But this is an airport. How could there be silver needles? He thought about it, and it seemed that he had no choice but to stimulate the acupuncture points with his bare hands. To be honest, he had only used his Chinese medicine skills once, and this time he didn't use needles. Jiang Cheng had no idea whether it could succeed or not. With a try-it-out attitude, he used his knuckles to stimulate the patient's acupuncture points with all his strength, trying to speed up the blood flow. The middle-aged woman was frightened by his action and asked in surprise, "Are you a Chinese medicine doctor?" She has always thought that Jiang Cheng is a Western doctor. You should know that ancient doctors have long been extinct, and Bayan Kue is just a myth. Today's Chinese medicine practitioners only know how to prescribe medicine, and you have to take it for half a month, but it has little effect. Yes, Jiang Cheng replied. After getting a positive answer, the people watching the excitement couldn't help but feel disappointed. Why is it Chinese medicine? Oh, you got too excited. He's a Chinese medicine doctor. Big sister, please tell him to stop. The important thing is to go to the airport and find a security training first aid center. Yes, big sister, be careful. You can't move around with this cerebral infarction. Everyone was talking at once, one thing after another. The middle-aged woman already had some concerns in her heart, and she became even more frightened when she heard the incitement from people around her. Li Yang looked at the man on the ground and became even more anxious. Don't move him. My father has this disease. I have experience. Don't move him. Call for emergency treatment immediately. The emergency number in Uiguo is 115. After all, when it comes to development, Western medicine is still the best. Once the equipment is turned on, any problem can be seen clearly. After hearing what Li Yang said, the middle-aged woman's heart sank to the bottom. It's over. I was harmed by this Chinese doctor. Don't touch him, she shouted. At this time, some kind-hearted people had already called 115 to help. The man's eyelids suddenly moved, and Jiang Cheng knew that he had succeeded. If he held on a little longer, the man would wake up. He ignored the middle-aged woman's screams and continued to exert his strength. The woman rushed forward anxiously. I told you not to touch him. If you touch him again, I will call the police. Call the police, he is committing murder. Call the police quickly, Li Yang shouted anxiously. Jiang Cheng ignored them. At this time, the man on the ground slowly opened his eyes. He looked at Jiang Cheng and opened his mouth to say something. But I feel weak and hot and have no energy. He remembered that he felt chest tightness and shortness of breath just now, and thought it was caused by flying for too long. I didn't think much about it, but when I got here, everything went dark and I knew nothing. When he woke up, everyone was shocked. No, didn't someone just say that you can't touch me? Why did you wake up now? Traditional Chinese medicine actually works. Oh my God, I'm really awake. Yes, I didn't expect that Chinese medicine is so good that it can save this situation. You didn't even take a single sip of medicine. This is too cruel. Isn't it true that Chinese medicine practitioners love to give people medicine? Regardless of whether it works or not, I'll prescribe 5 packets of medicine for you. Go home and boil it. Tusk, that's so tacky. Chinese medicine hospitals now basically have all the medicine ready. You can just take it directly. You don't have to go home and make it yourself. Oh my God, I love this young doctor. The woman saw her man wake up, rushed over to him and burst into tears. Just now, she really didn't know what to do. In her 40-plus years of life, this was the first time she felt unprecedented fear and panic. Seeing that half of her body was pressed on the man, Jiang Cheng hurriedly said, Don't press him, he just woke up. Isn't this caused by blood blockage? If it were just now, she would definitely not listen to Jiang Cheng's words. But now her husband actually woke up. This really shocked her. She stood up quickly and wiped her tears. Okay, I'll listen to you, thank you. You are really the reincarnation of Hua Chuo. Young man, who are you looking for a place to stay? I will go to your Chinese medicine hospital to see a doctor later. Yes, I have also been feeling chest tightness and shortness of breath all day. Can you prescribe 2 doses of medicine to help me recover? I always thought that Chinese medicine practitioners were all middle-aged men, but I didn't expect there are young and handsome men among them. Everyone was extremely excited when they saw Jiang Cheng save a patient with cerebral infarction on the spot. The status of traditional Chinese medicine in their hearts instantly rose significantly. Li Yang looked at the incredible scene in front of him with a look of surprise. How is it possible? This is the result of his many years of experience. Not only have the top doctors in the country told him this, but experts from abroad have also said so. This head must not be moved. Not only did this guy move it, but he did it with such force. Logically, he should have died long ago. But now, not only is he not dead, he is actually alive. This is unbelievable, it's simply a miracle. The man had just woken up, and the blood flow to his brain was still very slow. Jiang Cheng was afraid that he would suffer from insufficient blood supply as soon as he got up, so he comforted him. Don't get up yet, lie down for a while. The patient is awake now, but he still needs some medicine to stand up. Unfortunately, this is a foreign country and there are no Chinese medicines. He suddenly remembered his Niju Pinalia, which has the effect of dispersing heat and promoting circulation, and may also be effective for this disease. Besides, I am an old Pinalia ternata expert, so I will definitely get twice the result with half the effort. He said, just lie down and don't move. I'll be back soon. After saying that, he walked quickly into the airport, found the bathroom, quickly locked the door and entered the space, pulled out the pinealia from inside and took out the fruit. Then he took it in his hand and walked back to the man. Eat this, it will unclog your blood vessels. The man looked at the thing in his hand. After all, his life was saved by someone else, so he didn't doubt it and just opened his mouth and ate it. The middle-aged woman hurriedly handed over the water. The pinealia had been growing in the spiritual field for a month and was watered with spiritual spring water, so its medicinal properties were extremely strong. Within 2 minutes of the man eating it, the blood in his body began to flow faster. He felt much better. Seeing that his face had some color, Jiang Cheng asked with concern, "How are you? Can you get up now?" "Yes, thank you so much, doctor." The man stood up with a grateful look on his face. This is his savior. Without him, he might be dead now. This is how cerebral infarction works. If you are in a coma, you are considered lucky, but many people just die at any time. "Doctor, what's your name? I'm so grateful to you. I'm going to go to your local hospital to present a banner and write a letter of praise." The man held Jiang Cheng's hand tightly and became more and more excited as he spoke. Seeing her man full of energy, the woman couldn't help but feel tears of excitement in her eyes. "Yes, doctor, you saved my husband. You are our family's benefactor. We must be very grateful to you. Yes, tell them which hospital you are from and what your name is, so we can go to see you. This Chinese medicine is amazing. No, I want to listen to the compendium of Materia Medica again." Everyone saw with their own eyes a man fall to the ground and be rescued, and they were more excited than each other. They were all waiting for Jiang Cheng to come home. One girl even took a photo of Jiang Cheng, called him on WeChat, and posted on her moments. "I happened to meet a handsome Chinese medicine doctor who was treating a patient with cerebral infarction on the roadside. Our Chinese medicine doctors are awesome." There's also a photo of Jiang Cheng on it. Jiang Cheng looked at the middle-aged couple and said, "It's okay, it's okay. This is a matter of life and death. Anyone who sees it will save it. No need to thank me." Chapter 163, sorry, it can't be cured. "No way," the man pulled his hand. The woman also agreed with what the man said. The other person saved her life, so she should not only thank him, but also thank him very much. "Yeah, absolutely not." Li Yang looked at Jiang Cheng and suddenly had a bold idea. "Oh, that is to let this kid treat his father. I witnessed the whole process with my own eyes. Since he could save one, he can definitely save the second." Jiang Cheng looked at the middle-aged couple and said, "I didn't cure the root cause. This cerebral infarction cannot be cured in a day or two. I'm just treating it as an emergency. If you want to get better, you still have to go to a regular hospital. This is a cerebral infarction, are you kidding? If you don't keep taking medicine for this disease, it will recur in 2 days, even though the pinealia ternata he took is very effective. However, that is not a medicine specifically for treating this disease. It is just a medicine with similar medicinal properties used to make up the number." I know. I can get well right away with just your treatment. Why don't you prescribe some medicine for me? After taking your medicine, I will get well faster." Jiang Cheng looked at him with a bit of a smile. "Brother, I am here to travel. To tell you the truth, I don't work in the hospital. I just learned a few tricks from my second master, and I just happened to use them today. You should go to the hospital for formal treatment." Everyone was even more surprised when they heard him say that he was not a doctor. "I'm not here for tourism. I'm definitely here to witness a miracle." "That's too cool, young man. You're not some old Taoist master in the mountains, are you? You're just some guy from a martial arts movie." Jiang Cheng listened to everyone's discussion and couldn't help laughing. "What are you thinking about? Martial arts? I just learned a few moves from my second grandfather. Everyone go away, go away." "Who is your second grandfather? I'll go see him later." Hearing someone asking about his second grandfather, Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "I can't tell you that. It's a secret. It's not that he doesn't want to say it, but even if he did, it would be useless. Second grandpa is treating the big leader of GJ." After Jiang Cheng finished speaking, he patted the middle-aged man on the shoulder and said, "It's okay, I'll leave first. My wife and children are waiting for me." After that, he ran out of the crowd. When everyone saw Jiang Cheng leave, they dispersed on their own. Now that the protagonist has left, who else can they look up to? Seeing Jiang Cheng running away, Li Yang gritted his teeth and rushed forward. "Mr. Jiang." Jiang Cheng turned around to look at him. "Oh, isn't this Li Yang? I haven't even looked for him yet, but he comes to me now. Hey, isn't this GD's second in command? Why is he here for a trip?" You know me?" Li Yang was a little nervous as he recalled what happened a few days ago. Jiang Cheng was happy to see him looking nervous. Nervous? It's right to be nervous. Yao Chen was banned so badly and couldn't get any big projects. It's hard not to know him. As soon as these words came out, Li Yang's face immediately turned red, but for the sake of his father's illness, he could only bite the bullet and endure it. He gritted his teeth and said, "Mr. Jiang, can you really cure cerebral infarction?" Jiang Cheng shook his head, "No. Ban Yao Chen and still want to treat your own illness. There is no such thing in the world. What the hell are you dreaming about?" As soon as Jiang Cheng raised his foot, Li Yang caught up with him. "Director Jiang, do you have anything else to say?" Li Yang's wife Wang Meng waited with the children for a long time, but he didn't come back. Wang Meng had no choice but to ask Li Zaironen to watch the box while she came up to see what was going on. As soon as he walked up to him, he heard Li Yang say, "Mr. Jiang, yes, I'm sorry. It's my fault. I shouldn't have made things difficult for Yao Chen. Please be magnanimous. My father has been in a coma for a long time, and our family has consulted many doctors." Before he could finish, Wang Meng pushed him hard. "Li Yang, what are you talking about? This was President Du's order, and the purpose was to trick him, so he specifically instructed not to tell anyone. If President Du knew that Li Yang had told this to others, and directly told Jiang Cheng, her position as vice president would be in danger." Li Yang became anxious after being pushed by her. He had finally found someone who could treat his father, so why was this idiot causing trouble? "Wang Meng, are you sick?" "I'm sick, I think you're the one who's sick." Wang Meng was also anxious. "What are you talking about?" "What did I say?" "I said it was your bastard President Du who asked you to come to me and asked me to find a way to block Yao Chen's video website." "You," Wang Meng was almost mad at him. Li Yang turned around and looked at Jiang Cheng. "Director Jiang, please, please save my dad. Please be magnanimous. I will withdraw my words to ban Yu Chen right now." Jiang Cheng looked at him, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. "So, you tricked me first, and you still want me to agree to your conditions before you let Yu Chen go. What's the logic behind this?" No, Mr. Jiang, you misunderstood. You really misunderstood. That's not what I meant." "Okay, I have something else to do, so I'll leave first." After Jiang Cheng finished speaking, he turned and walked towards Yi Qingjiu. Jiang Cheng knew very well that when it came to negotiating terms, one couldn't be impatient, and one absolutely could not compromise until the interests were maximized. In this regard, he seemed to have learned it by heart. Li Yang wanted to continue chasing, but Wang Meng grabbed his arm and said, "Li Yang, that's enough. If President Du knew about this." Before she finished speaking, Li Yang slapped her in the face. "Mr. Wang, I've lived with you for more than 20 years. What can I accommodate you to? If you say east, I won't go west. Haven't you seen that it can cure cerebral infarction? My dad has been lying in bed for half a year. Do you want to see him lying in bed forever? Do you have anything else in your mind besides work?" Yi Qingjiu also saw what happened just now, but unfortunately the distance was too far and he couldn't hear it clearly. She asked curiously, "What's going on?" Jiang Cheng held Nuo and Yanyan in his arms and looked at her with a smile. "It's a small matter, let's go. Don't affect your mood." Yi Qingjiu nodded, "Okay." The two of them went straight to the roadside and got into a taxi. In the car, Jiang Cheng glanced at Li Yang, who was still entangled with Wang Meng on the side of the road, and a smile flashed in his eyes. He had a simple conversation with the driver in English. Although his English was not very good, he could still handle basic daily life. The general meaning is that they are going to Monsalina Pier. Yi Qingjiu was a little confused. "Yes, we are going to stay in a sea view room on the island for one night. Just imagine, living in the deep forest, all you can see is either forest or sea. And all the houses there are made of pure wood, with 2 floors and everything you need. It's very beautiful, and the starry sky is particularly bright at night." Listening to his description, Yi Qingjiu began to look forward to it. She looked at Jiang Cheng with a burning gaze. "Why do you sound like the island in Fantasy Journey?" Jiang Cheng nodded. "Yeah, it's about the same, it's just like that anyway, it's beautiful." He spent a lot of time searching for this last night. Because the price is so incredibly high, not many people stay here, so booking a room is not difficult. The family of 4 arrived and reached the dock. We got on the boat again and sailed some distance before docking at the shore. Looking at the island, Jiang Cheng was stunned. To be honest, he had only seen photos, but this island was even more beautiful than in the photos. Towering ancient trees and arm-thick vines climb upwards. Everywhere you look is green, full of vitality and mystery. Looking further ahead, he actually saw a sea of flowers in the forest. Unfortunately, it was too far away, and he couldn't see clearly. But even though he couldn't see clearly, his intuition still told him that it was beautiful there. Yi Qingjiu was even more shocked. Even though she was the president, she hardly ever traveled. She was either studying or working. Her charming eyes were full of disbelief. "How did you find such a beautiful place, husband?" Jiang Cheng shook his phone proudly. "It's from Popular Science." The two babies were also excited. Yanyan raised her innocent face and said, "Daddy, it's so beautiful here." News looked expectant. "This must be Alice's Wonderland. We will run into Alice here, right?" Jiang Cheng picked up the two babies and smiled lovingly. "Let's go. Daddy will take you to put your luggage." After walking along the beach, I found a crossroad leading to the forest. Following the crossroad, I came to a small two-story villa. Not only is the house made of wood, but even the stairs are made of wood. It looks very much like a cabin in a fairy tale, but it seems more refined than that. Walk up the stairs and open the door. You can see the large floor-to-ceiling windows opposite. Standing in front of the floor-to-ceiling window, the surging sea and the colorful clouds in the sky merge into one. The afterglow of the setting sun shines on the sea, reflecting the orange water. The scene was as beautiful as a painting. Jiang Cheng looked at his watch, and it was already past 4 o'clock. Niu looked at Jiang Cheng with excitement. "Dad, what should we do next?" Jiang Cheng looked at his daughter with a smile. "What do you want to do, Tilda?" "Nano wants to jump into the mud puddle." Hearing about jumping into the mud pit, Yanyan also perked up. Yanyan wants to jump into the mud pit too. Yi Qingjiu stood nearby, speechless. Why do these two kids like mud puddles so much? Didn't you just say you were looking for Alice? What kind of logic is this? How could it change so quickly? Wouldn't it be nice for a family of 4 to stroll barefoot on the beach in the afterglow of the sunset? Jiang Cheng patted the two babies' heads and said, "Good boy, when we get back, let's go to Grandpa's yard and dance, okay?" "Not good. Don't want." The two little babies looked at him fiercely. "Peppa Pig can dance wherever she goes, so why can't I?" "Yes, Daddy, why can't we?" Jiang Cheng was helpless. "There is no one who goes abroad to jump into a mud puddle." "Dad, don't you want to take us there?" Niu said, tears welling up in her eyes. She just looked at Jiang Cheng with tears in her eyes until her eyelashes became wet, but no tears fell. That little look is really heartbreaking. When Jiang Cheng saw his daughter's expression, he knew he had lost. Don't cry. Daddy will take you to jump in the mud puddle." Jiang Cheng remembered that there seemed to be a kind of mud bath here, which should feel similar to jumping into a mud pit. Chapter 164, Let's Go. Jump into the mud together. Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng in surprise. "Do you really want to go? When you first arrive at a place, instead of checking out the beautiful beaches or seeing the exotic local customs like the Aborigines, you go jumping in mud puddles. It's just outrageous. Wife, I remember there is a mud bath here. It is said to be good for beauty and health." Yi Qingjiu looked at him with curiosity. "Mud bath is mud, right? Do you want to take a bath in mud?" How can I describe this?" He has only seen the picture and has never seen it. Jiang Cheng suggested, "Why don't we go and take a look?" Yi Qingjiu nodded. "Okay." Seeing that their mother agreed, the two babies were extremely happy. Great. Niu held Jiang Cheng's hand, looking expectant. "Dad, let's go now." Jiang Cheng nodded, "But you have to change your clothes first." "Okay, Daddy." Niu quickly opened her suitcase, took out her swimsuit, and handed it to Yi Qingjiu. "Mom, help me change clothes quickly." Yanyan also found his swimming trunks. The family of 4 changed their clothes, then left the cabin and started walking along the gravel road. Yi Qingjiu was probably shy and afraid of being seen by others, so she wore a bath towel. She looked at the towering ancient trees on both sides and couldn't help but sigh. "It's really beautiful." Jiang Cheng held her hand and continued walking forward. "There is something even more beautiful. There is a flower valley inside. You should like it. As a girl, there is no girl who doesn't like flowers." Yi Qingjiu turned her head to look at him. His profile was very handsome, with a sunny crew cut and a straight nose. She said sincerely, "Thank you, husband." Jiang Cheng looked at her and said, "What's there to thank me for? I'm your husband, no need to be so polite." The family of 4 continued walking deeper into the forest, and after a few minutes they saw a large sign. Jiang Cheng didn't understand the words on the sign, but he did understand the steaming picture inside. "This should be the place." "Wife, it's right here." He pointed behind the sign. Following the direction of his finger, Yi Qingjiu saw 2 places as big as hot spring pools, and their shapes were a bit like the Tai Chi diagram. When he got closer, Yi Qingjiu discovered that there was a pool of running water, which should be used for people to cleanse after taking a mud bath. The mud on the other side was actually milky white and not dirty at all. That's amazing. Is this really mud? Her eyes widened. Yes, Jiang Cheng nodded. When the two babies saw their dad nod, they jumped down together with a plop. Then we grabbed the mud and started fighting. You hit me and I hit you. We had a lot of fun. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu, who was wrapped in a bath towel, and said, Wife, now that you are here, do you want to feel it? The two babies looked at Yi Qingjiu, their faces full of happiness. Mom, come down. Mom, can you play with us for a while? Seeing the two babies' cute appearance, Yi Qing's heart melted. She took off the bath towel and looked at the two babies. Okay, Mommy, come down. She was wearing a black bikini, exposing her perfect body under the sun. The two of them entered the mud. The milky white mud was warm, and Yi Qingjiu couldn't help but feel comfortable soaking in it. She looked at Jiang Cheng with an intoxicated expression. Well, it feels so good. Her pink little face was particularly bright. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, How is it? Do you feel good? Yeah, Yi Qingjiu nodded. Yanyan came over and took Yi Qingjiu's hand. Mom, how about we team up to fight Nunu and Dad? Yi Qingjiu didn't want to fight with the mud. Dad, let's beat Yanyan and Mama together. Nunu looked at Jiang Cheng with a determined look. Before Jiang Cheng could react, Yanyan had already grabbed a bag of mud and threw it at Jiang Cheng. The mud bloomed all over Jiang Cheng's body, and he didn't know whether to laugh or cry. How nice of you, you actually attacked Dad. Lululu, Yanyan stuck out her tongue and smiled very happily. When Nunu saw that his father had been ambushed, he grabbed a handful of mud, rounded up his chubby arms, and threw them out. Puh! Yi Qingjiu was also ambushed. Nunuo, you actually attacked Mommy. Yi Qingjiu had no temper at all towards her daughter's mischief. After all, his daughter was too young, but he would feel uncomfortable if he didn't take revenge. So he grabbed a handful of mud and hit Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng was hit. He didn't expect that his wife had such a naughty side. He looked at Yi Qingjiu with a smile. Is this the beginning? After saying that, he grabbed a handful of mud and looked at Yi Qingjiu threateningly. Is it too late for me to say it hasn't started yet? Yi Qingjiu blinked and looked at him mischievously. What do you think? Jiang Cheng said, and threw the mud in his hand towards Yi Qingjiu. He didn't use much strength in his hands, as he was afraid of hurting her. After all, boys have much stronger hands. Okay, Yi Qingjiu looked at him with a smile. You actually hit me. Didn't you start it? The battlefield is ruthless. Okay. The two adults were having a lot of fun playing with each other. Seeing that their parents were so happy, Nunu and Yanyan played even more enthusiastically. Before I knew it, several hours had passed and the sky gradually darkened. Yi Qingjiu has tried her best. No, let's go back. To be honest, Jiang Cheng was also tired. He had been on the plane for half a day and had experienced another rescue. Been playing here for a few hours now. He looked at the two babies and said, Come on, let's go back. Good. Okay, Daddy. To be honest, the two babies are already very tired. Then let's go soak in the side and wash ourselves clean. After saying that, he found a position with his back to Yi Qingjiu, jumped up quickly with one hand, and then walked to the running water pool next to him. Yi Qingjiu picked up Nunu and handed her to Jiang Cheng. At the moment, Nunu was covered in mud, even on her hair and eyelashes. It looks like a little clay figure. Jiang Cheng took his daughter and put her in the water. Then he took over Yanyan. As soon as the two babies came in, the water immediately turned white. Yi Qingjiu walked up the stairs and reached the water here. Although it is running water, with 4 people using it, the water consumption is much greater than that of one person. The pool instantly turned milky white. The 4 people soaked in it for more than 10 minutes before the water gradually became clear. Then he walked out and slowly walked back along the gravel road. Li Yang, who was originally planning a good trip, was completely ruined by the disturbance that happened at noon. I called Boss Yang in the afternoon and asked her to give Yaochen all the advertisements and TV dramas she could. I also called several other bosses who I had greeted before. Now I am lying on the bed, exhausted. Wang Meng sat aside and watched him behave like this. She couldn't help but curse. Is it that serious? You're the second in command and you're actually afraid of him. He's just the boss of a bankrupt company. Li Yang glanced at her and said, What boss? That's the chairman. The chairman leads a group. A group has countless companies under its umbrella, but the boss only has one company. There is still an essential difference between the two. Okay, Chairman, what can we do? We're still bankrupt, aren't we? Li Yang turned over and said, Okay, Wang Meng, I don't want to talk to you about this. Please leave me alone for a while. Wang Meng sat on the sofa, holding a small mirror in her hand, touching up her makeup while casually saying, I think if you just threatened him directly, what could he do to you? It's just that you are too timid. You are the second in command, look at how pathetic you are. Li Yang almost laughed out loud after hearing what she said. He is a coward. Wang Meng, you don't really think Jiang Cheng is a good-for-nothing, do you? Let me tell you, based on the information I have, Jiang Cheng is only 24 years old. He has produced the game King of Glory, is the husband of Tengxing Yi Qingjiu, and is also the image ambassador of Cheng. Now he is the chairman of Yaochen. Do you really think he is easy to bully? Before, it would have been fine if I didn't ask him to treat my father's illness. But now, don't you see that he can treat stroke? I wasn't sure I could beat him in the first place, so now I might as well be humble and give him enough face so that he can treat my father's illness. Wang Meng glanced at him with a reluctant look on his face. I tell you, this Jiang Cheng might just be a blind cat that has encountered a deadly news. He is not even a doctor. Do you really believe that he has the ability to cure Dad's illness? He has been in a coma for several months. If Jiang Chengjin was really that powerful, he would have been a member of the Chinese Medicine Research Institute long ago. After hearing what she said, Li Yang looked at her helplessly, as if he was looking at a fool. He has become the chairman of the board himself. How much money can the Chinese Medical Research Institute have? Who wouldn't want to make more money? Besides, he saw it with his own eyes. How could it be false? Okay, don't tell me anymore. I've asked someone to find out Jiang Cheng's whereabouts. I'll go find him tomorrow and apologize in person. Wang Meng glared at him. Although she didn't want Li Yang to go, Li Yang insisted that Jiang Cheng could cure her father-in-law's illness. If I tried too hard to stop him, I'd end up being a vicious daughter-in-law who's preventing her son from fulfilling his filial duty. If the Li family knew about this, they would hate me for the rest of their lives. She threw the mirror in her hand on the sofa and stood up. Okay, let's go. It's time to go to the restaurant downstairs for dinner. When Jiang Cheng returned to the villa, Niu's stomach started to growl with hunger. Yanyan was also hungry. The two of them had eaten chicken legs and eggs at noon, and it was almost evening now. Niu and Yanyan hugged Jiang Cheng's legs and said, Daddy, we are hungry. Jiang Cheng looked at the two little guys and said, You're hungry, why don't we go to the restaurant to eat? Yanyan pouted no. He really wanted to eat Jiang Chengzuo's steamed eggs and spare ribs. Nano also shook his head. No, Nano wants to eat the steamed eggs made by Dad. They are twins from the same mother. Their tastes are always so surprisingly similar. Chapter 165, The Sudden Appearance of a Stray Dog. Jiang Cheng looked at the two treasures, not knowing whether to laugh or cry, and he didn't know if there were any ingredients here. He walked to the kitchen and opened the refrigerator door. Fortunately, there were a bunch of eggs inside and some meat. How about a barbecue? There happened to be a large tile in the kitchen. Grilled meat on tiles. Just thinking about it makes me feel like it would be delicious. Jiang Cheng beat 2 eggs, added a little water, and steamed the 2 eggs. Then he came out of the kitchen and looked at the 2 babies with a smile. Dears, how about we have barbecue? Barbecue. When they heard about barbecue, the 2 kids' faces lit up. Niu had seen barbecue on TV and clapped his hands happily. Great. The first thing Yanyan thought of was the barbecue in Peggy. He asked curiously, Is it barbecue? Jiang Cheng rubbed his head and said, Yes, it's barbecue. Great, Daddy is great. Yanyan jumped up happily. Because they are young, Yi Qingjiu and his 2 babies have never eaten barbecue. First, she thinks barbecued meat is not easy to digest, and second, she thinks barbecued meat is chewy. She still prefers to give her children something soft and chewy. She looked at Jiang Cheng uncertainly. They are too young to eat barbecue at this age. How could that be? He's already in kindergarten, you're just too cautious. Children have to grow up anyway. Yi Qingjiu hesitated for a moment, then nodded. Okay, I'll listen to you. After getting Yi Qingjiu's affirmation, Jiang Cheng turned back to the kitchen, cut the meat, marinated it simply, then carried the marinated meat and the tiles downstairs. There is a built-in grill downstairs. What is called a built-in grill is actually just 2 circles of bricks with some coal inside. There is a tripod on it, just right for dropping tiles on it. Jiang Cheng arranged the tiles and meat, then came up and brought out 2 bowls of steamed eggs. Hey darlings, let's go downstairs and eat some tile barbecue. When the 2 babies heard Jiang Cheng's call, they followed him happily. Yi Qingjiu looked at the 2 babies and smiled helplessly. This is really like forgetting about mother after having a father. She followed her 2 children, and the family of 4 went downstairs and started barbecue on the lawn in the yard. Jiang Cheng got some oil on the tiles, then put the marinated meat on it, and with a sizzle sound, the aroma began to spread. Nuo, who was clamoring for steamed eggs just now, refused to eat them after smelling the aroma of the meat. Dad, this is for you. She pushed the small bowl to Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng touched her head helplessly. You are such a clever little ghost. Nuo pouted with her hands behind her back. Daddy, Nuo wants to eat some meat. Jiang Cheng took the bowl. He took out a clean small plate, put 2 pieces of meat on it, and handed it to Nuo. This is for you and your brother. Eat slowly and be careful of the burns. Okay, Nuo took the plate, but before she started eating, she heard a rustling sound behind her. By this time it was already dark, and the noise was getting louder and louder. Jiang Cheng frowned, wondering if there were any wild beasts in this forest. It shouldn't be. Just as I was wondering, a green light flashed. Then a white Samoyed jumped out. Jiang Cheng thought it was a wolf at first, but he soon breathed a sigh of relief after seeing its fur color. Fortunately, it's a dog. Arya Kingjiu had already protected the 2 children. To her, the children were her life, and no one could hurt them. Seeing that it was a smiling Samoyed, she breathed a sigh of relief. Although this dog is large in size, it does not bite and is very friendly to people. It turned out that Sheng Xinyan had raised one before, and Yi Qingjiu had also seen it a few times. All in all, the image was pretty good. The Samoyed obviously came over because it smelled the fragrance. It looked at the meat on Nano's plate, and after a moment, it actually lay down obediently. Then he rolled on the ground, obviously trying to make Nano happy. Nuo looked at the huge white animal with a hint of curiosity in his eyes. Mom, is this a polar bear? What polar bear? It's obviously a fox. Yanyan finally waited until her sister didn't understand anymore, and then answered quickly. Jiang Cheng almost laughed to death when he heard the answers from the 2 siblings. Yi Qingjiu suppressed his laughter and replied, Baby, this is a dog. It turns out that Aunt Xinyan once raised one. At that time, the 2 babies were only 1 year old, and they had no memory of Sheng Xinyan raising any dogs. When Samo saw that Nuo didn't give him any meat to eat, he kept rolling around, trying to please her. Nuo looked at the cute big dog in front of him and said, Mom, does it want the meat on my plate? Yes, baby, Yi Qingjiu nodded. After getting a positive answer from his mother, Nano put the plate in front of Sam. Eat it and go find your mom when you're done. Samoyed opened his mouth and swallowed the 2 pieces of meat in a moment. After all, it is too big, and these 2 pieces of meat are not enough to fill the gaps between the teeth. After eating the meat, Samoyed licked his mouth, put down his 2 front paws, lay on the ground, and kept sticking out his tongue. The meat is so delicious, it hasn't had enough, so it decided not to leave. Nuo looked at it and said, Daddy, is he hungry? Can you give him some egg custard? Seeing his daughter so loving, Jiang Cheng looked relieved and said, Of course. He handed the inner bowl of egg custard to Nuo. Nuo put the egg custard in front of the Samoyed. It looked at Nuo with gratitude, and after a moment, finished the bowl of egg custard in no time. Then it licked its mouth. Not yet full, it began to roll on the ground again, continuing to please the family. Yanyan looked at it, hesitantly placed her egg custard in front of it, and said in a baby voice, This is for you. These are all my own food rations. All for this big white guy. The Samoyed seemed embarrassed, and this time it actually stood up and bowed with its front paws. Then start eating. Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng in surprise. This dog is so smart. Jiang Cheng also discovered that the dog was indeed very smart and friendly. He walked over and squatted beside Samoyed. After a closer look, he found that the dog's fur was already gray, but it was not obvious in the dim sky. Moreover, its stomach looked stuffy. Obviously, it hadn't eaten for a long time. Jiang Cheng said casually, It might be a stray dog. Stray dogs? There are stray dogs here. This is an island. I'm afraid they were abandoned here by someone, Yi Qingjiu said. Jiang Cheng nodded. It's hard to say. When Nuo heard the stray dog, he couldn't help but walk over and touch it. The child has loved dogs since he was a child. The Samoyed let Nano stroke it, and after that it gently licked her hand. Seeing that she was a child, he was afraid that he would hurt her. Chapter 166, You Are So Annoying. When it licked Nuo's hand, it felt itchy and he giggled. Mom, let's adopt it. Nuo blinked and looked at Yi Qingjiu with expectation. She really wanted to keep the dog by her side. Although Yi Qingjiu has never had any feelings towards dogs, she could not bear to reject this furry creature with a small face. Thinking of it being homeless and sleeping in the open air, he was a little shaken and looked at Jiang Cheng. Is this dog really a stray dog? Jiang Cheng wasn't sure either, so he picked up the phone and called the management office. Hello, a young lady with a sweet voice answered the phone. Hello, it's like this. A Samoyed appeared here. It looks like a stray dog. Jiang Chengdao. It's like this, sir. The dog belonged to our former supervisor, but she left the job and didn't take it away. If it's getting in your way, I'll chase it out now. The young lady's voice was a little nervous. Jiang Cheng smiled. It's cute and doesn't get in our way. The young lady was obviously relieved when she heard this answer. That's good, that's good. Then can this dog be adopted? Jiang Cheng asked. It would be great if you could adopt it. It's actually suffering here, going hungry every day. We feel sorry for it. Okay, thank you. What are you saying, sir? We should be the ones thanking you. After saying that, Jiang Cheng hung up the phone. He looked at Yi Qingju and said, It's a stray dog. You can take it away. Before Yi Qingju could say anything, Nünü rushed over excitedly. Really? That's great. Daddy Nünü loves you. After saying baji, it means taking a bite. Then he turned around and ran like a stray dog. Hello, my name is Nünü. What's your name? Jiang Cheng looked at his daughter's innocent appearance and felt at a loss whether to laugh or cry. The Samoyed wagged its tail, barked twice at Nano, and then raised its neck high. Only then did Yi Qingju discover that there was a tag on Samo's neck. It has always been covered by its long hair, so it is difficult to see. She walked over, took the sign in her hand and looked at it carefully. Then she found that it was called Zixi. The sign also had the manager's phone number and a small line of words engraved on it. Sorry, please feel free to contact me if it disturbs you. Mom, what's its name? Nünü tilted his head with a curious look on his face. Its name is Zixi, Yi Qingju replied. Nünü hugged Samo's face and said seriously, Zixi, we will be good friends from now on. She turned around and pointed at Yi Qingju. This is my mom. Then he pointed at Jiang Cheng and said, This is my dad. Yanyan was unhappy when he saw that she didn't introduce herself, because he had just contributed egg custard. He rushed out, Hello Zixi, my name is Yanyan. Jiang Cheng couldn't help laughing when he looked at the two babies. Okay, the meat is ready now, come and eat quickly. When they heard that there was meat to eat, the two babies forgot about their new friends and gathered around Jiang Cheng. Yi Qingju touched Zixi's head and said, Come on, let's have barbecue together. After all, they will be a family in the future, so she is still very good to the dog. So the family of 4 and a big dog ate barbecue together. After eating the barbecue, it was completely dark. Jiang Cheng looked at Zixi and said, From now on, we are a family. If you want to be with us, you have to be obedient. Do you understand? Zixi sat on the ground, looking like she was listening to the lecture seriously, and barked twice. Indicate that you understand. Jiang Cheng nodded with satisfaction. Now, I'll take you to take a bath, and you can stay in the living room tonight. Woof woof. Zixi is a well-behaved girl. Jiang Cheng touched its head and took Zixi into the house. Since they were here for tourism, language communication was somewhat troublesome, so Jiang Cheng planned to take Zixi for various physical examinations after returning home. After entering the house, Nünü and Yanyan both wanted to help their father give the dog a bath. The two babies really like Zixi. Jiang Cheng didn't refuse. He took the children and the dog into the bathroom and started giving Zixi a bath. Zixi was very well behaved throughout the whole process and seemed to enjoy the process very much. After taking a bath and blow-drying its fur, I realized that Zixi is actually very beautiful, with snow-white fur, a mouth that always smiles, and especially her double eyes, which are full of kindness. Jiang Cheng found a mat, spread it on the ground, and used it as a temporary doghouse. After finishing all these, the family of 4 went to sleep. The next morning, the family of 4 got up and took a boat out of the island. They wanted to buy a bag of dog food for Zixi, as well as a dog leash, a comb, shower gel, and teething snacks. After buying the things, I went to the crazy house in the scenic area in the afternoon. After all, I was here for tourism, so how could I not visit the scenic area? The lunatic house is the most famous building in Dalat. Its exaggerated and weird shape is similar to the style of the Spanish architectural genius Gaudí and integrates the pleasant, natural environment characteristics of Dalat in all seasons. The 4 people walked among the towering, dead trees again. Resting in the belly of a giraffe or getting lost in a giant spider web is as magical as Alice in Wonderland. When he reached a bench, Yi Qingju couldn't walk anymore. Although it was fun, he was too tired. Jiang Cheng was sitting next to her and was about to take a break when he suddenly saw Li Yang. He was alone. Wang Meng and Li Zionen were not there. Jiang Cheng glanced at him. He was really everywhere. He didn't know if this guy had figured things out after not seeing him for a day. Of course, Li Yang also saw Jiang Cheng. To be honest, he came here early in the morning in order to find Jiang Cheng. After all, this is a very famous scenic spot. Almost everyone who comes to Vietnam will visit the crazy house. He had already made up his mind to wait here starting from today. If Jiang Cheng and the others had not arrived by the 6th day, he would buy a ticket back home and go to Yaochen to find him. In short, he must let Jiang Cheng save his father. Li Yang walked over and smiled. "Director Jiang, what a coincidence we meet again." Jiang Cheng glanced at his wife and children and said, "Wait for me here. I'll be back soon." He didn't want to talk about business in front of the children. After saying that, he turned around and walked towards the pavilion not far away. Li Yang followed behind him, nodding and bowing. Jiang Cheng stopped walking resolutely, and Li Yang smiled and said, "Mr. Jiang, you see, I have already informed them. Not only will I not ban Yaochen, but I will also give you the lowest price for any new films or advertisements. I was wrong before. I didn't recognize the great man. Please forgive me this time." "Because of the hot weather," Li Yang said. His forehead was covered with sweat again, and he wiped it with his hand. Jiang Cheng took out a cigarette from his pocket and gave him one. Li Yang took it with both hands with a smile. Jiang Cheng lit up the fire. "I want an exclusive drama for YS. Apart from YS, only Yaochen can broadcast it. As long as you can give this to us, then we can still talk." After hearing what Jiang Cheng said, Li Yang looked embarrassed. This meant he had to cut his losses. YS's dramas were of guaranteed quality and quantity. It could be said that every one of them was a conscientious product. This has never been done for a private enterprise. Now Jiang Cheng wants this. Isn't this creating a problem for himself? "Director Jiang, this is really a bit difficult. Either you want something else, or Shenghua will have a big drama at the end of this year, starring the popular actress Zhao Lian and a top star." "Zhao Lian, that's fine too." Jiang Cheng was so excited that he said, "I want 2 big dramas to start the new year." He knew that Shenghua had another powerful drama, Ju, which was currently being filmed. If he could take charge of 2 big dramas plus Duluo Dalu, the Yaochen website would definitely be a sure bet. Hearing this, the sweat on Li Yang's forehead, which had just subsided, came up again, and he was worried. "Director Jiang, Shenghua only has 2 dramas and you took them all. At least leave some for me. If people ask me about it later, I won't be able to explain it." "Can't explain. An old fox like Li Yang dares to ban Yuchen directly. Is he a coward? Cheating fools. Well, I'm still a little busy. If you're okay, I'll leave first." After saying that, Jiang Cheng stretched out his legs and was about to leave. Li Yang felt heartbroken at this moment. These 2 big dramas took several years to produce, and he originally wanted to make a fortune from the broadcasting rights. But then again, there's no end to the money you can make, and you only have one dad. Li Yang gritted his teeth and grabbed Jiang Cheng's arm. Okay, Mr. Jiang, I promise you, can you help my father with his medical treatment?" Jiang Cheng thought about it and nodded. "Okay, but let me make this clear first. I will try my best, but I can't guarantee that it will be 100% healed." "No, you have to promise." Li Yang was anxious again. "I only have this one biological father." Jiang Cheng chuckled. What he said was true. Who doesn't have a biological father? How can one have 2 biological fathers? He patted Li Yang's shoulder and said, "Don't worry, if I can't take care of you, let my second grandfather take care of you." Speaking of this second grandfather, Li Yang couldn't help but be curious again. "Mr. Jiang, who is your second grandfather?" "Second grandfather Jiang Liang." Jiang Cheng looked at him and said, "It's all right, I'm leaving first. I'll contact you when I return to China." Li Yang nodded and bowed. "Oh, okay, please go slowly." Jiang Cheng was extremely happy, as he not only got high-end advertising, but also 2 big dramas at the beginning of the year. Seeing him coming over in high spirits, Yi Qingjiu asked curiously, "He asked you to treat his father again?" Jiang Cheng nodded, "Yeah." "Weren't you unhappy at first? Why are you so happy this time?" Yi Qingjiu asked curiously. "That's different. Wife, let me tell you, this guy is GD's second in command. And this time I asked for 2 big dramas at the beginning of the year before I agreed to him. Now Yaochen can finally get some improvement. The big drama at the beginning of the year is amazing. It is usually only available on TV stations, and they have to be big TV stations at that. I think these websites have never had such treatment." Yi Qingjiu's eyes curved slightly and she gave him a thumbs up. "Hubby, you're awesome." Unexpectedly, Jiang Cheng could get 2 big dramas at the beginning of the year at once. It seems that he is really amazing. Jiang Cheng raised his eyebrows and said, "Let's go, let's play with the kids for a while and then we have to go back." In the evening, the family of 4 returned to the island. Although traveling is a happy thing, it is really tiring for someone like Yi Qingjiu who sits in the office for a long time. "I went to bed with my 2 babies." Only Jiang Cheng and Zixi stared at each other. He kept staring at Zixi for a long time, and suddenly he noticed a layer of white substance under Zixi's eyes. He asked curiously, "Zixi, can't you see clearly?" After saying this, he pointed to his eyes. Zixi is a very smart dog. Although he can't speak, he can guess about 70% of what Jiang Cheng is thinking by looking at his appearance. It lay on the ground and hummed softly. It seems that Zixi does have some problems with her eyes. Jiang Cheng touched its head, went into the kitchen, fetched a basin of spiritual spring water from the space, and gave it to drink. I hope the spiritual spring water can cure its illness. Zixi was also very sensible. He lay down in the basin and drank a few sips. Although he had been in this forest all the time, the spring water here could not be compared with the water that Jiang Cheng gave him. After a while, he finished half the basin of water. Then feel your eyes gradually becoming clearer. Although the dog's world is black and white, it also has clarity. Now Zixi felt that it was clearer than ever before. It happily circled around Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng could see its happiness. It touched Zixi's head and said, "Okay, it's getting late, go to bed." After saying that, he turned and walked towards the bed. The two darlings were sleeping in a sprawling state, and Nua was about to fall down. Jiang Cheng looked at her little appearance, feeling helpless and amused. He put Nano back, carefully covered the two babies with blankets. Then she walked to Yi Qingjiu. Her eyes were closed, her long eyelashes drooping, and there was no expression on her delicate face, yet she was breathtakingly beautiful. Jiang Cheng kissed her on the lips, then lay down and hugged her. Yi Qingjiu was startled by the sudden touch, and opened his eyes suddenly. He turned his head and looked at Jiang Cheng. "Wu, it's you." Because she had just woken up, she spoke with a nasal tone and seemed very delicate. Jiang Cheng felt inexplicably angry after hearing this. "Wife," he whispered in her ear. "What are you doing?" Yi Qingjiu felt a tingling sensation in his ears. He turned around and stared at Jiang Cheng. "Why are you so nervous? I just called you." The champagne-colored silk suspender nightgown she wore made her skin look even whiter, and her slightly yellowish hair draped lazily over her collarbone. He felt his blood boiling inexplicably. The next second, a pair of hot lips pressed against me. "Wu Tilda." A minute later, their lips parted. Yi Qingjiu looked at him shyly. "The child is still here." Jiang Cheng's eyes seemed to see through her. "Wife, why don't we go take a shower?" Don't want. The next second, Yi Qingjiu was picked up by Jiang Cheng and walked into the bathroom barefoot. An hour later, Jiang Cheng came out holding Yi Qingjiu. Her body was so soft that she seemed to have no strength left, and her delicate little mouth was red. "You're so annoying. You've made me lose all my strength." Chapter 167, Heading to Disney Headquarters. Jiang Cheng put her on the bed. "Okay, it's getting late, go to bed early." Now that Li Yang's problem has been resolved, he has been in UA state for 4 days. Just when he was planning to return home, Jiang Cheng received a call from the Disney Group headquarters. "Hello, is this Mr. Jiang?" The other party's voice didn't sound very standard. Jiang Cheng was sitting on the sofa watching Nunu, and Yanyan combing Zixi's hair. He said calmly, "Hello." Because Disney is so powerful, the box office of the movies it has produced alone has exceeded 50 billion yuan. Therefore, they still have some simple requirements for their shareholders, such as at least requiring a meeting. That's why I called Jiang Cheng. "Hello, Mr. Jiang. We are from Disney headquarters. You became our shareholder on October 1st, so the president would like to invite you to come to the headquarters. On the one hand, I hope you can have a general understanding of us, and on the other hand, I hope you can get to know other shareholders." Jiang Cheng frowned. "It's still so troublesome. They are all big companies, but Maserati didn't let me go to the headquarters. It's like this, Mr. Jiang. Our company is quite large, and even the president only owns 40% of the shares. You hold 20% of the shares, so you are already a major shareholder. Naturally, your requirements are somewhat different from those of other shareholders." Jiang Cheng nodded. "Oh, okay, then I'll discuss it with my wife." "Okay, Mr. Jiang, you can contact me when you arrive. My name is Ellie." "Good." After saying that, Jiang Cheng hung up the phone. He walked to the bedroom and looked at Yi Qingjiu, who was still lying on the bed. "Wife, we may have to go to Country M." Yi Qingjiu turned over lazily, her fair shoulders looking particularly attractive. "Why?" "Because your husband has acquired some Disney shares. We should all go there." Hearing the word Disney, Yi Qingjiu sat up excitedly. "Real? Disney can be said to be the dream of millions of young girls. There is no girl who doesn't like to go there. Even Yi Qingjiu, a female president, has a unique feeling for Disney." Seeing her surprised expression, Jiang Cheng gently scratched her nose and said, "Of course it's true, 20% of the shares." "Are you kidding me?" Yi Qingjiu still couldn't believe it. 20% of the shares meant he was a major shareholder. Yi Qingjiu is not stupid. He does have this bit of information. Jiang Cheng nodded, really. After Jiang Cheng's recent series of surprising things, Yi Qingjiu had no doubt where the 20% of the shares came from. "Then where are we going? I'll only be responsible for taking the kids out to play. As for going to the company, you go by yourself. I won't go." Yi Qingjiu got a headache when she thought about the social events at work, especially those involving foreigners. She finally got a few days off and didn't want to be forced to work overtime. Looking at her quiet smile, a glimmer of brightness flashed in her eyes. Jiang Cheng couldn't help laughing at her clever little appearance. Okay, I'll go by myself. You guys just have fun." Yi Qingjiu looked at him and smiled very happily. That's about right. The two babies had been combing their hair for more than an hour. Zixi became really impatient and ran to Yi Qingjiu's bedroom to hide. The two babies chased after it. Niu looked at it like a little master. "Zixi, don't be naughty. Comb your fur to make it beautiful." Zixi was rubbing against the bed, looking very pitiful. A pair of watery eyes looked at Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng patted Niu and Yanyan's heads and said, "It's okay if Zixi doesn't want to comb her hair. You have been combing it for a long time. You can't force it." Niu still didn't give up and looked at Zixi. "You really don't want to comb your hair? You can become beautiful, Tilda." "Woof woof, Tilda." The only response she got was Zixi's cry, which sounded reluctant. Jiang Cheng looked at Niu's disappointed expression and said, "See, it really doesn't want to be combed anymore. Go and play Rubik's Cube with Yanyan for a while. I'll take you to Disneyland tomorrow, Tilda." "Disneyland?" Niu looked at Jiang Cheng in disbelief. "Dad, is this Snow White's Disneyland?" Jiang Cheng smiled. "Yes, not only is there Snow White, but there is also the Red Queen and the Pirates of the Caribbean." "Wow, Tilda. Just by listening to it, the two babies can't wait. So you guys better be obedient," Jiang Cheng said. "Okay, Daddy." "No problem, Daddy." The two babies walked out obediently. Yi Qingjiu looked at Zixi and asked, "Should we take it with us tomorrow?" Jiang Cheng nodded. "Yes, Zixi is a member of our family now, so of course the family must be together." Yi Qingjiu looked at him in a daze. How could this man be so handsome? He would do this to a dog, let alone her and their two children. Her heart warmed. "Yeah, I think so too." Jiang Cheng smiled and patted her head. "Then I'll buy a ticket for tomorrow afternoon. Due to the time difference, my flight for the afternoon arrived there at exactly 9 in the morning." Yi Qingjiu nodded. "Okay." The next day, the family of 4 got off the plane. While waiting for the check-in, Jiang Cheng called Lu Zai from yesterday. As expected, Zixi was successfully picked up, and Ellie had already arrived at the airport in a business car. A family of 4 walked out with their dog and saw a cute foreign girl from a distance. She was holding a large handwritten sign with 3 words written crookedly on it, "Mr. Jiang." Jiang Cheng walked over and said, "Hi, hello. Are you Mr. Jiang?" There was surprise in Ellie's big blue eyes. Her Chinese is not very good, and she sounds very unskilled. "Yes, I'm Jiang Cheng." Jiang Cheng hugged Yi Qingjiu. "This is my wife, Yi Qingjiu, and those 2 are my children." Yi Qingjiu nodded politely. "Hello." Neither of them spoke English. After all, they were in a foreign country, and the other party could communicate in Chinese. They felt that this was something to be proud of. "You are so beautiful. Are all Chinese women so beautiful?" Ellie's eyes were extremely sincere, but her tone was exaggerated, probably because she was not proficient enough. After all, Chinese culture is profound and extensive, and Chinese is really not easy to learn. When Jiang Cheng heard Ai Li praising his wife, he nodded heavily and gave her a thumbs up. "You have good taste. You are so handsome. I thought you were a middle-aged man, but I didn't expect you to be so young and so handsome." Ellie speaks bluntly. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "Our Chinese men are all very handsome." "Wow, really?" Ellie asked excitedly. She didn't expect that Chinese men were so handsome. Unlike the thick eyebrows and big eyes in her country, the eyes of Chinese men seemed very clear. But there is also a kind of restrained perseverance. In short, when people take a look at him, they think of 4 words, a modest gentleman. "Of course it's true," Jiang Cheng smiled. "Let's go, Mr. Jiang. I'll take you to the resort first." "Okay." Ellie drove all the way to the hotel in the resort, with Jiang Cheng's family of 4 and a dog in 4 boxes. The resort is inside the park, a little distance behind all the recreational facilities. Ellie drove in. The 2 babies were stunned when they saw this fairy tale kingdom. This was their first time entering Disneyland, and it turned out that fairy tales were all true. Nunu leaned against the car window, looking surprised. Mom, it's so beautiful. Yanyan was just like her, with her face almost pressed against the window. Mom, look at that huge pirate ship Tilda. Yikingju patted the two babies' heads and said, Good boy, we'll be there soon. Let's put down the boxes and come over to play. Don't be in a hurry, okay? When Ellie heard that Yikingju wanted to take Nunu and Yanyan to play together, she looked at the rearview mirror apologetically. I'm sorry, Miss Yi. The president knows that you and Mr. Jiang are here together. He is very excited and specifically asked you to come with him. Hearing this, Yikingju felt a little embarrassed. But my children. She doesn't have to go to the park, and so can the children. But they are still 2-3-year-old children after all. They need someone to be with them at all times to look after them, especially when they are in a foreign country where they are unfamiliar with the place and have no one to accompany them. Even adults would feel uneasy, let alone 2 children. Ellie thought for a moment and said, How about this, Miss Yi? I can ask a few staff members to come over and take them to play in the park for a few hours. Do you think it's okay? When the 2 babies heard that they could play, they were very excited. Anyone could play. No, you can. Yanyan is also fine. The 2 babies answered the question in a rush. Yikingju looked at the 2 playful little guys, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Of course you can, but can you communicate in the same language? Although Nunu and Yanyan attend a bilingual kindergarten and are taught foreign languages, for 3-year-old children, all they can do is teach them how to say hello and goodbye. She still finds it difficult to communicate with others. This question is cruel but also realistic. The 2 babies lowered their heads. They really only know a few simple sentences. Ms. Yi, we have Chinese-level employees here. I learned Chinese from them. It's pretty good, isn't it? Hearing that there were Chinese people, Yikingju felt more relieved. Okay then, it's a happy decision. A group as big as Disney will definitely not treat its children unfairly. Although Yikingju really didn't want to go, she felt that if the other party had already invited her and she didn't go, it might make Jiang Cheng lose face. Okay, Miss Yi. The car arrived at the resort and stopped. Several people entered the hotel and went upstairs. Less than 2 minutes after putting down his luggage, Yikingju heard a knock on the door. I opened the door and saw, wow, a woman is wearing ancient Chinese clothing and holding a prop sword. There were 2 Chinese beauties standing next to them who seemed to be 2 staff members. At the back, there was a blonde beauty with blue eyes and a brown wig. She must be Snow White. Yikingju narrowed his eyes. Hua Mulan. Hello, I'm the actress who plays Hua Mulan. My name is Liu Xin. That's amazing. It seems that Ellie is really attentive. When Yanyan saw Hua Mulan, he rushed up to her immediately and said, Sister Hua, take me to fight. Yanyan is a great general. Nunu looked at Snow White with her round peach blossom eyes. 3 seconds later, she pounced on her and said, Snow White, I like you so much, Tilda. Seeing AI Li's good intentions, Jiang Cheng felt a little embarrassed. He nodded slightly at her and said, Thank you for your hard work. Mr. Jiang, Ms. Yi, now we can go meet the president. Ellie has a cute smile. Okay. Since others have done this much, Jiang Cheng feels that he should also show sincerity. Jiang Cheng took Yikingju's hand and said, Come on, wife, let's go together. Okay, Yikingju smiled. Ellie hurriedly walked in front with the car keys in hand, leading the way. The 3 of them got in the car and arrived at the headquarters in about 20 minutes. The headquarters was huge, and Ellie took them all the way up to the 23rd floor. Those who work on the 23rd floor are all the big shots or senior executives from various departments. Seeing Ellie bringing a Chinese couple, his expression gradually became disdainful. Ellie, who are these 2? A tall man with deep eye sockets asked. He was wearing a custom-made suit and looked like no ordinary person. Ellie smiled and explained, They are the president, they are new shareholders. They were invited by the president, and this gentleman is a new shareholder. Hearing that it was a new shareholder, the man frowned and looked at Jiang Cheng carefully. Since they were traveling, Jiang Cheng and Yikingju were dressed casually, especially Jiang Cheng, wearing a pair of jeans and an old man's shirt. He doesn't look like a rich man at all. Shareholders are such people that's a joke. Shareholders are actually this kind of people. You must be kidding. Seeing Paul's bad tone, Ellie said, Paul, vice president. She signaled to Paul to stop talking. After all, he was a shareholder, and it was disrespectful to speak like that. What are you afraid of? You coward, actually let people in their country buy our headquarters shares, shame. What are you afraid of? You are such a coward. You actually let people from their country get shares in the headquarters. How shameful. Ellie frowned and was about to say something else. Jiang Cheng came over, his eyes as sharp as an eagle. Yes, that's right. Everyone in our country has received shares, but you, a person of pure blood, haven't received any yet. It's really shameful. Hearing this, Ellie was shocked. She always thought Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu couldn't speak English. How did she understand this? She even started to argue with him. One of them was the vice president and the other was a shareholder. She couldn't afford to offend either of them. Paul frowned. It was obvious that he didn't speak Chinese and didn't understand what Jiang Cheng had just said. He glanced at Ellie. Translate. Translate. Ellie was completely panicked. Vice President Paul has always been arrogant and looks down on the yellow race, not only the Chinese, but also the Koreans and the island countries. If he knew that Jiang Cheng was insulting him just now, he would be so angry that he would die. Ellie hesitated. Yi Qingjiu took a step forward and perfectly translated Jiang Cheng's words in a clear and loud voice. Not only do you look down on them, but you also look down on your own race. She felt that Jiang Cheng's words were a bit implicit, and she wished she could add a few swear words. Jiang Cheng glanced at him. Chapter 168, Buying a Wedding Dress. The man's pupils gradually dilated, and his face turned red with anger. Wow, people in your country are really rude. Wow, people in your country are so rude. Jiang Cheng stopped Yi Qingjiu behind him. No, we are polite to people. No, we are very polite to people. The implication is that people like you are not counted among humans. Paul became furious when he heard Jiang Cheng scolding him. A pair of deep blue eyes were full of bloodshot. I'm going to give you a taste of me today. Today I will let you have a taste of my power. After saying that, a heavy fist came towards Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng turned around and held the man down. To be honest, he didn't expect that there would be such a person in Disney. Amy saw this happening and became anxious. Stop, stop. Many foreigners came over to watch the fun. Wow. Paul, come on, hit him. Come on, Paul, hit him. In short, the scene was extremely lively, and of course there were people talking about Jiang Chengshinshu. They chattered non-stop, their mouths moving as fast as abacus beads. Seeing that the situation was not good, Ellie called out to the president. The president is an elderly man in his 50s with gray hair, but he has a good temperament and a pair of gray eyes that look indescribably elegant. Seeing the president coming, the crowd scattered like birds and beasts. Are you Jiang Cheng? Let him go first. The president's Chinese is not very fluent. Jiang Cheng let go and looked at him. Can you speak Chinese? A little bit, the president smiled. Paul, you don't have to come tomorrow. Disney doesn't need a racist like you. Paul, you don't have to come. Disney doesn't need people like you who have racial connotations. After that, he led the way. Mr. Jiang, please come in. To be honest, Jiang Cheng was quite surprised. He didn't expect that this boss was quite upright. Paul was fired directly, so he seems to be a good person. He held Yi Qingjiu's hand and followed behind. After entering the president's office, the president smiled and said, Mr. Jiang, your wife is so beautiful. Yi Qingjiu was wearing a white skirt and a pair of sneakers today. She looks very young with a youthful and energetic feeling. Plus, she is a natural beauty. Even though the president is over 50 years old, he couldn't help but take a few more glances at her. Thank you for your compliment. Yi Qingjiu stretched out his hand and took the initiative to show goodwill. After all, he is the president of Tencent. She has seen many ups and downs in the business world. Even if he is the president of Disney, she is not afraid of him. There was a hint of surprise in the president's eyes, and he stretched out his hand and shook it politely. She looked to be no more than 20 years old, yet she could be so graceful and elegant, which still surprised him a little. Wow, my wife was still a little girl when she was in her 20s. Mr. Jiang, your wife is really outstanding, he sighed. Jiang Cheng felt so happy. It's okay to praise yourself, but praising your wife is really. There are two words written on his face, pride. My wife's name is Yi Qingjiu, Jiang Cheng introduced. The president looked at Yi Qingjiu in surprise. Wow, you are the president of Tencent, no wonder. In this way, I think we can have in-depth cooperation. It's my honor, Yi Qingjiu nodded. The three of them chatted for 2 full hours before the president reluctantly sent them out. Paul was preparing to leave with his things in his arms, covered in dust, when he saw Jiang Cheng glaring at him angrily. If he had known this earlier, he would never have offended this Chinese man. Jiang Cheng raised his eyebrows. Don't look at me. It wasn't me who asked you to leave. It was your CEO, who told you to look down on others. Ellie saw the two people coming out and hurriedly took them to the underground parking lot. The three of them got in the car and headed to Disneyland. On the way, Jiang Cheng remembered the look Yi Qingju gave Snow White. That kind of yearning and envy, she is probably every girl's dream. Amy, please take us to the best bridal shop, Jiang Cheng said in a light tone. Yi Qingju's eyelids twitched. What did he say? Is he going to take me wedding dress shopping? Okay, Mr. Jiang, Amy nodded. Hey, you haven't even asked me yet. Yi Qingju was anxious. Jiang Cheng pulled her delicate hands over and said, Wife, I heard there is a world-class bridal shop here. Let's go take a look. After all, time is running out and the wedding is only 2 months away. There was light flowing in his eyes, as if someone had scattered a handful of stars into them, and Yi Qingju got lost in them before he was careful. Seeing her staring at him blankly, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but flick her forehead. You're in a daze again. This girl, why is she always staring at me in a daze? Ah, you hit me. Yi Qingju looked at him shyly. How could that be? I haven't shown enough time to pamper you yet. It's just a loving reminder, Jiang Cheng said glibly in a serious tone. Why is he so flirty? Hateful, Yi Qingju had a blush on her face, which looked very beautiful. Ellie looked at the two of them with envy. Wow, are all couples in your country so loving? Both? No way, the two said in unison. Ai Li laughed out loud at the two people's amusement. I envy your relationship. People here are very open-minded, unlike Miss Yi, who would blush. Oops. Blushing was discovered. Yi Qingju touched her face and pretended to be calm. She couldn't be a coward, right? Well, it's not that bad. Isn't that how you get along in Country M? She regretted it the moment she said it. What a mouth she has. She has also watched some American movies in which the actors always kiss right away. But she is different, blushing as soon as they meet. Sure enough, Ellie burst into laughter after hearing her question. She said in not-so-fluent Chinese, We are all like this, Kess. She pouted her lips as if someone was really kissing her. Jiang Cheng laughed and looked at Yi Qingju, whose face was red. Wife, you have to learn to adapt to the local customs. Yi Qingju was almost embarrassed. Hey. Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile. He sat against the light. The lines on his face were particularly delicate, and his eyes were sparkling. Yi Qingju's heart accidentally skipped a beat. He felt thirsty. This time it's her turn to be thirsty. Before she could finish her words, a pair of warm and soft lips came closer. Tilda. Ellie looked at the rearview mirror. Where was the shyness she felt just now? This dog food is really fed handful by handful, without caring whether others are full or not. After a moment, their lips parted. Yi Qingju lowered her head with a shy look on her face. You're annoying. Jiang Cheng laughed. His wife was so cute. I can never kiss that soft mouth enough. The bridal shop is huge, bigger than you can imagine. There are hundreds of black models wearing various wedding dresses on 3 floors, covering an area of 500 square meters. Walking in, it felt like entering a sea of white gauze. The feeling inside was shocking. Jiang Cheng felt relieved for a moment, thinking that his decision was indeed the right one. The clerk came over, saw that Jiang Cheng and his wife were Chinese, and started speaking Chinese, although not very fluently. Sir, madam, are you looking for a wedding dress? Jiang Cheng nodded. Yes, this is my wife. She is the most beautiful woman in the world. She deserves the most beautiful wedding dress in the world, so please bring the best one. Yi Qingju's heart suddenly shook. Jiang Cheng's words were like the echo in a valley, lingering in her ears. He actually gave me such a high evaluation. It turns out that I am so beautiful in his heart. Sir, we have many beautiful handmade wedding dresses here. Why don't you come with us to pick some? The blonde waiter looked at him with a sincere expression. Okay, please lead the way. After saying that, he took Yi Qingju's hand and followed the two people. Yi Qingju was still a little dazed. Thinking back to what had just happened, his palms became slightly sweaty and wet. Jiang Cheng held the soft little hand and whispered in her ear, Wife, you are nervous when trying on a wedding dress. What will you do on the wedding day? I'm not nervous, she pouted like an angry little rabbit. The two shop assistants were talking in low voices in English. They had been in business for so long, and except for the royal family, no one had ever been so generous. They wanted the best right away, without even asking the price. Everyone couldn't help but envy Yi Qingju for having a husband who loved her so much. You have to know that no matter how beautiful a wedding dress is, you can only have one wedding in your life. Spending a fortune just to make a beautiful woman smile can only happen in TV dramas. The two of them went up to the 3rd floor under the guidance of the waiter. The wedding dresses on this floor were different from those on the 1st floor. Basically, every one of them was of the highest quality. The diamonds on it are shining brightly, emitting dazzling light, which also means they are very expensive. Jiang Cheng walked to the model in the middle. who was wearing a one-shoulder wedding dress with diamond embellishments on the shoulders, the perfect waist, and the thick and soft white gauze trailing behind. Every detail reveals this grandeur and luxury. Jiang Cheng was very satisfied with this wedding dress. He nodded and looked at Yi Qingjiu beside him. "Wife, go try it on." I have to admit that Jiang Cheng has a good eye. Yi Qingjiu noticed this as soon as he went upstairs. She looked pleased and said, "Okay." The waiter hurriedly and carefully took the wedding dress off the model. Two people dragged him to the fitting room and helped Yi Qingjiu put on his clothes. The moment she came out, Jiang Cheng's eyelids almost burned. The wedding dress was almost tailor-made for her, without a piece of extra fabric. Her skin was as white as cream, and she smiled faintly with a pair of bright eyes. "Does it look good?" Jiang Cheng felt his heart skip a beat. "Good, beautiful, worthy of being my wife." Quietly, "This wedding dress looks so beautiful." Yi Qingjiu's face turned red. "You are so unruly." She went back to change out of her wedding dress, put on her own skirt and walked out, then looked at the waiter. "How much?" The waiter looked at her nervously. 1 million. Of course she knew they were talking about 1 million US dollars, because this was country M. So a wedding dress costs nearly 7 million. Although 7 million was just a drop in the bucket for her, Yi Qingjiu couldn't help feeling a little distressed. But when she thought that it only happened once in a lifetime, she decided to buy it. She wants to be his most beautiful bride. She opened her mouth. "By the way, inside, is my wife feeling sorry for the money again?" "I feel sorry for Mao at this time." Jiang Cheng pulled her behind him and said, "No problem, swipe the card." Yi Qingjiu smiled. She knew that he was afraid that she would feel bad about the money, but what she wanted to talk about was the money issue in the Shanghai Stock Exchange. "He hasn't chosen his clothes yet. Are you the only one getting married? Don't you want to choose a suit?" She raised her beautiful eyebrows, showing all kinds of charm. Jiang Cheng slapped his head and said, "How could I have forgotten about this? I'm thinking." Yi Qingjiu smiled and looked at the waiter. "Hello, we also need 1 set of men's clothing and 2 sets of children's clothing." She always remembered his words that a family should be harmonious and orderly. Although Niu and Yanyan are not here, they also want to witness their parents' wedding. The waiter extended his hand and made a gesture of invitation. "Ma'am, this way." After saying that, he led the way for Yi Qingjiu. This time she took him away. "Wife, I think I can just do it casually. After all, your husband is so handsome. To be honest, I don't feel bad about spending money on my wife. But when it comes to myself, especially a set of clothes that cost 7 million, I would be lying if I didn't feel sorry." A villa was taken into custody. "It doesn't hurt." "No," Yi Qingjiu held his hand with a determined look. "Her man must be the best." The two walked to the men's clothing area, and the waiter pointed at a model wearing a gray haute couture suit. "Ma'am, this suit is a set with your wedding dress." Yi Qingjiu looked at it carefully. "Light gray, low-key color, nice. Exquisite workmanship, nice. The most important thing is that it comes as a set, which is even better." She raised her chin towards Jiang Cheng and said, "Go and try." Jiang Cheng looked at her with an embarrassed expression and almost gritted his teeth and said, "Okay." It was easy to change into a suit, and Jiang Cheng walked out of the fitting room in 2 minutes. The clothes fit well, with smooth lines and delicate and neat stitching. Combined with Jiang Cheng's short hair, he has a strong aura. This is completely different from his usual image. Yi Qingjiu was inadvertently stunned. So handsome. It was the first time that she looked at Jiang Cheng so unscrupulously. "It seems like I can never get enough of it." Jiang Cheng looked at her with no milk and laughed. "Wife, why are you distracted again?" Yi Qingjiu blinked. "Do I have it?" "She is distracted there. This guy really is." While Jiang Cheng was changing his clothes, the waiter thoughtfully brought dresses for the boy and girl. They are also designed by top designers and have perfect shapes. Yi Qingjiu nodded. "Yeah, very good." Jiang Cheng took out a card from Country M and handed it to the waiter. "Pay the bill." Ellie didn't go in with them because she was afraid that she would be eating dog food. The feeling of being single, really, everyone knows it. She waited in the car for a long time, but when she saw that they still hadn't come out, she hesitated for a while and finally went in. As soon as I entered the door, I saw 2 people walking out hand in hand. Because the wedding dress is very large and they already have a lot of luggage, it would be really troublesome to put it on there. So the clerk decided to send it back to Jiang Cheng and the others. "Where are we going next?" Amy asked. "Let's go back, the kids have had enough fun," Jiang Cheng said. "Okay, Mr. Jiang," Amy replied, and the 3 of them got in the car. Chapter 169, Dean Zhu's phone call. Niu and Yanyan were having a lot of fun. When they saw Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu coming back, they ran over excitedly. Niu pouted and hugged Jiang Cheng's arm and acted coquettishly. "Daddy, I still want to go on a boat ride." Yanyan hadn't gotten over the excitement just now. "Dad, I want to take a boat ride too. The Pirates of the Caribbean ship is really fun. The ship is in the cave. When you sit on it and put on glasses, it is full of visual effects." The two babies were really not satisfied and wanted to do it again. Niu's pair of clear black and white eyes seemed to be able to speak, and Jiang Cheng had no resistance at all. Jiang Cheng touched his head and said, "Wife, let's go on a boat ride with the children." Yi Qingjiu nodded, "Okay." To be honest, she also wants to sit, and she also wants to play. Ellie smiled at the staff and said, "You've worked hard, now you can go and have a rest." The actress who played Hua Mulan squatted down and touched Niu and Yanyan's heads. "I have never seen such well-behaved children. They are so smart and obedient." Another Chinese staff member in work clothes also laughed. "Yeah, just now Niu was playing because she ran too fast and fell down, but Yanyan came over to help her blow the air, coaxing her sister like a little adult. If my mom wasn't too old, I would have wanted a younger